Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran and I'm here with River Brown, John Tortorelli, and we have a special guest in the studio, Ryan Hammer, for episode 497 to talk about NBA Summer League and everything that's been going on and some other NBA topics, but for the most part, this is going to be about young prospects, young up-and-coming teams, and this podcast is going to be split into two parts. So the first part was with Ryan, and the second part is with Drew and Dehls, just so the schedules align, because right now we're in the studio early, and then Drew and Dehls get off work later, and then we'll record with them. Ryan, how you doing? It's nice to have you in the studio.
Hey, man, I'm good. Shout out Jersey. That's how we do it. Yep. I'm happy to be here. I'm a Summer League sicko, so this fits me pretty well. So I'm happy to be here, though. I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. We wish you were there at Summer League with us, but this is the next closest thing, so I'm absolutely thrilled. We're in studio today. We're back in action. And Summer League, Griff, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Summer League was fun, man. I had a good time. Saw a lot of good basketball. I think that's what's really important, to go out there and just, connect with fans and be able to just enjoy, just hooping. And Summer League is different because it's not, you can tell when people really like basketball if they go watch Summer League or they watch Summer League, because it ain't the typical NBA. You got the flashy stars, the dunk and dunk. No, this is really just hard-nosed basketball. It is low-key bad basketball, but at the same time, it's still entertaining to a degree. So I was excited to go out there. Happy to have Ryan on here.
Absolutely.
We know Ryan for some time, man. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, he's a great college basketball content creator. And for the NBA draft, you can go on his page and you'll see big boards. He just came out with his new podcast. So he's very tapped in. You have been doing your thing in the college basketball space for a while.
I'm legit a sicko. That wasn't playing at all. That's sadly, but also happily, what I do all the time. Like you said, Summer League ball is for people like us in the room that watch games like that, but because it is not for the week. But I'm here for it, so I appreciate the kind words. Yeah,
34 turnovers in that Bulls game.
34?
I did not watch it.
I think they broke 34. Another record. They had the highest field goal percentage was 72% in a quarter. They were just doing all type of shit.
In the next game.
So with Summer League, we're going to get into the takeaways and players or teams who impressed the most. For me, just to start it off, I felt very enamored with the Bulls in that one game they played where Yuki Kawamura had a double-double.
Yep.
He is just a tone setter, a pace setter, and I feel like with the Bulls, in the regular season, they played at such a fast pace, and that transitioned into Summer League with Mataz Buzelis and Senge getting out in transition. Freeman, the point guard who played alongside Yuki in that game as well. I think that they really pushed the pace, and Yuki is one of the most fun players to watch. He's not the most efficient player. He's shorter in stature, but he's so quick, and he's a really gifted passer for his size. But I like what the Bulls have going on with their two wings with Mataz and Senge. I know Senge had that highlight where he got dunked on.
It should look bad.
And it is.
That's a low light.
It's one of the worst pictures to ever hit the internet.
And he played well too. Actually, he had a 20-piece too. That's tough.
It was an embarrassing moment. And when I saw the dunk back, it didn't even look like he made that facial expression because the camera didn't have it. Mm-hmm. So it's just an unfortunate set of circumstances. But I do think he's going to be a good pro. So the Bulls were impressive. That's just the team I had a lot of fun watching. But I'm really impressed by the Timberwolves' young core. I think Terrence Shannon Jr. is ready to take that Nickeil Alexander-Walker role. He is a great rim threat. He can shoot from the outside. He's a good passer. He can rebound the ball. He has tremendous bounce. And then Joan Behringer, I feel like defensively, he was all over the place, and how well he can move for his size at 6'11", he might not get that much playing time this upcoming season with how deep the Wolves rotation is, but I do think that they have something legit. And then Rob Dillingham just had his strongest showing in Summer League with 21, 7, and 7. And I think him, why are you laughing, Riff? Why are you laughing?
Bro,
now he's throwing a little smirk in here. Rob Dillingham, Rob Dillingham's name comes up.
I do think it's nuts if you were impressed with Rob Dillingham watching all his games.
I said last game. He was impressive.
Oh, because you said you were impressed with Minnesota.
I was going to say, I heard him say last game was his best showing.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that part. I just heard the 21.
It was his best showing. He had 21, and he had 7 assists. But I do think Rob Dillingham, out of all the prospects, he has struggled a little bit with his size, getting into the basket and finishing around there. I don't think the problem with him is actually getting downhill and getting to his spot. I think it's actually just finishing around that area, and his decision-making can be a step late. So to me, if I'm going into the season is looking at the young core, I think Terrence Shannon Jr. is going to play. There's no doubt about it. Rob Dillingham, for me, is still a wait and see. I think he has to prove himself And if he doesn't end up cracking the rotation, that's going to be a problem. But I think the hope is that he is, because they need another dynamic ball handler. But that was my biggest takeaways to just the teams that impress. I like Minnesota's young core a lot.
Yeah, I think and I think could like relate to this a little bit. I think the thing with small guards is it's not really, because I don't think his problem is getting downhill. It's those little bumps that he takes while getting downhill throws him off. Like me, and I don't play at his level. I'm not saying I play at that type of level, but me being a similar style where I like to go downhill, when you feel that bump multiple times, that push off, it puts you at a different angle trying to go to the rim and trying to finish at the rim. And I think that's where the mistake, not the mistake, but that's where his problem is. He gets that little bump. Now he's fading away on layups, or he's, all the way at the other side of the angle trying to get this finish off. So I think really just keep trying to get in the weight room, because a lot of these guards, like his stature, Trae Young, to a highest degree, Darius Garland, they struggle with efficiency and just finishing in their first couple years. And I think it's tricky because Minnesota does need that type of dynamic ball handler, and I don't think Rob,
explosive scorer.
I don't think Rob is ready for that at the moment. But definitely watching Terrence Shannon, definitely have to be impressed with how he played. Just really Minnesota's whole team. I felt like the tenacity and the intensity they played with was like they were in a regular season, like they were regular season geared up. They played nonstop. Jalen Clark, all them boys. I felt like they played every quarter with that same intensity, that same motor. And I think that's important, because that's what you want to instill in your group, instill in your program. I think a lot of those guys are going to get a lot of run this year. So I think shouting out Minnesota was cool. The teams I didn't have really teams more players. I thought Nick Clifford was amazing. I thought
he's amazing.
He was one of my guys coming in, just a guy who completely could do a little bit of everything. He could rebound for his size. He was able to hit the 3-ball in summer league. Not a ton of attempts. I think it was about 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken. But it was a high efficient clip. Was able to get to the rim, make smart plays. Just a high IQ basketball player. And if Sacramento was in a better position, I think this would have been dope. He could have easily jumped in, been a product for them for the playoffs. But they're in this weird position where they're going to be like the Bulls of the West. But I think Nick Clifford was dope. Chris Livingston for the Bucks played really well in his summer league. And he for me, it felt like he came out, I want to say last year or 2 years ago, he came out of Kentucky a little bit too soon. He was a freshman, didn't play too well his freshman year, kind of came out, was undrafted, if I'm not mistaken. Went to the Bucks, didn't really do too much last year. This year, showed out in summer league. Hopefully that could mean more run for him throughout the regular season, because I think he's probably going to be one of their few young core players, because the Bucks, as we know, they don't have a ton of young talent. So I think Chris Livingston being 20 to 21 years old, having a good showing in summer league, I think that was important. Dylan Harper was amazing in his limited minutes. Just his ability to get downhill was very important. His ability in transition was really good. The ball handling, the isolation, his ability to get to his spots, I think is huge. His physical frame at that young age, 6'4", 6'5", 19, 20 years old, about 200 pounds, strong, has an NBA body. That's really important for him. And I think for him, him and Fox, however they're going to figure it out, they're going to figure it out. But one thing's for sure, I think Dylan Harper is going to be ready for that NBA physicality, just because of the way he plays with his body.
Absolutely.
You mentioned Rob before too, and Dylan is such a contrasting, obviously physical styles, but even guys like Trae and Garland, they work on absorbing contact and how to play off that, bounce off guys, and where Trae is even as a Hawks fan, it gets annoying sometimes, ridiculous at times of drawing the fouls and being able to shoot off balance and fading away, where Rob is not used to that. And I think the adjustment he has had to go through, the transition to the league and that kind of physicality and length and stuff like that is just different than what he experienced in the SEC back in college. And there was a weak draft class, so him going top 10, never really made sense at all. But we were talking earlier about, for basketball reasons, Todd Pettiford and guys like that. That guy would have been a late first round pick if he stayed in the draft this year. Rob probably would have been a late first round pick if he was in this year's draft, where I think he has higher expectations. And I think going through the right development, even playing a lot of G League minutes would help. And I think Terrence Shannon too, we all said 100%, he has to play. They have to play him this year. He did this shit last year in summer league as a rookie. He did it again this year. He looks way, way too good. Way too good not to play, especially losing to Nikhil Alexander-Walker.
It sucks when you be I'm not saying Shannon is, but it does suck when you're in that bridge of where you're too good for the G League, you're too good for summer league, but you're not good enough. You're not good enough for the league.
They're a good
so
team,
you're just
and he's NBA ready
middle.
too.
Yeah,
he came into the league NBA ready.
You were right. He was not only competing, but he was a great contributor in the conference finals those last 3 games. Once they started to play him, Terrence Shannon Jr. was one of those guys who, like you said, last year was awesome. Comes back again this year, and I felt the passing and the transition play was a big element, because For Minnesota, you want Ant to still be a 2 ideally while having more opportunity to grow as a passer. I felt like there was almost a world, and I know our guy James talked about this, where Terrence Shannon can play with him in the backcourt and would be a good enough passer. There's a lot of different names I had. I want to stick to 2 sophomores and then 2 first-year players. The first guy is the leading scorer in Summer League. He shot the ball incredibly well, and that is Kyle Filipowski. I love Utah kind of getting him to be more of that point forward, where the playmaking shots were on full display. The rebounding was great, and I felt like given where he was coming out the draft to where he is now, he's become like a real key foundational piece of that young core. So it's great to see him hitting the 3 ball well.
It's a huge year for him too.
Yeah,
like going in there, they have no idea what they're doing. I feel like Jazz.
Absolutely.
Is he their best young player?
Yeah, he plays just like Laurie. Like,
is he their best young player?
Spitting image of Laurie.
Collier, Keontae, even like Walt. Like
I think Kyle's better than Keontae.
All 3 of those guards I think are honestly gonna be on similar level this year. Walt might take a second, although he's like ready to rock. Right? I love Walter Clayton, but
KG is he's on thin ice personally.
You think so?
I think so. Just the way he performed last year, like, and then the year before, and then when Isaiah last year looked better than him. If Walter comes in and he looks better than him, it's like, all right, buddy. Like
Walt's gonna look better than both of them. I think Walter early on in the Jazz, that's one of my dudes I wanted to highlight too. Like Walt, they're gonna be like, oh shit, like this is our guy right here. Like we have to rock with him, and all 3 of them are gonna have to play a lot. But like that's a good question actually. Like Filipowski, is he their best young asset? I still think Lowry is obviously their best asset in general.
I would say so too. I feel like it's a big year because Utah is kind of, whether or not the report's been fully reflective of the way they feel about Walker Kessler, there's a clear kind of situation where they have 2 centers and they're probably best playing the 5. And if they're not playing together, I wonder if Utah picks Filipowski over Kessler and maybe they cash in his trade value. The other sophomore who I liked a lot, doesn't get a whole lot of recognition, is Christian Da Silva. Shot the 3 ball very well. Love his off-ball play, and I felt like he was the perfect fit for an Orlando team that needed more of those connective role players offensively. And then my honorable mention will go to Keyshawn George because I loved the way that he played, but the efficiency wasn't fully reflective of how he looked, how comfortable he was as a shot creator. So I want to give him an honorable mention shout out, and then Chrissy Youngblood of the Thunder. He's like a powerful guard. He doesn't have the most height. He's only 6'4" roughly, but I love the shooting, and he was all over for the Thunder.
He played like power forward in college.
Yeah, and he shot the ball well enough, maybe not enough attempts to truly be like a 2, but I kind of felt like he's a good enough shooter to play there. As for the first year players, there were a lot that stood out, but the first guy I want to talk about is another Orlando Magic player, Jace Richardson. I felt like coming out the draft, his lack of size led to him falling to 25, but he was finishing through contact, making some really tough floaters. The touch looked great, and then he was kind of showing the ball handling, just how quickly he can get to his own spots and rise up. And then after that, there were a lot of other guys that I can shout out, but I feel like Jace Richardson's the one, along Tristan Da Silva, that stood out to me.
Yeah, Jace was nice too, and I have like some doubts, but he's so smooth, so efficient. I hope he gets to play like they're gonna be good. They have DB Desmond Bane now, obviously. So like, how much are you gonna get? I mentioned Walter Clayton before. Love him. AJ Mitchell was probably the best player in Summer League. Maybe Filipowski has been, but between like the Utah games they played before Vegas too, like AJ Mitchell can hoop. Everybody knows that, I think. And if he wasn't in OKC, he could be like a potential 6th man of the year as soon as this year.
I saw that.
I just don't know where. Like they're not gonna just sell him for nothing for no reasons, and they need him whenever they get off other guys and stuff.
Like OKC does.
Which sucks, and that sucks, guys. AJ Mitchell should be awesome right now. I think he'll have his time, but it kind of is what it is. Another first year guy, Kobe Brea.
Yeah,
he might be one of the best shooters on earth already. I felt that way in college a little bit, but I'm like, you know what? It gets the NBA, maybe things will change a little bit. That man has got a heater, and like, there's no way the Suns don't find a way to play him because he's literally one of the best shooters on the planet.
Getting him and Rasheer Fleming in the second round with those seconds in the KD trade is awesome.
Did you see how like Kobe Brea plays a lot like Devin Booker? They were making like that comparison with the video and stuff.
It's a lot.
Like the skill set and the movement.
Kobe didn't have a ton of that creation at Kentucky because that wasn't his role, and they were deep. But like even in Summer League, there were moments where I'm like, he looks real smooth on the ball, around screens, off ball movement, and stuff like that. Like D-Book has a lot, but it's tough. I mentioned Walt before, Nick Clifford. We said it before. That dude is. I can't believe he fell so far. I'm not happy he went to the Kings, but I'm happy because he's gonna play a lot. So you're gonna get to see it. There's not a single aspect of the game he's not good at. Like not a single one, which is absolutely bonkers to me.
Another guy that was playing really well was Ron Holland too. With Detroit, and I think that's important for Detroit, who decided to go, the more internal route this offseason. I felt like, bringing in obviously Duncan Robinson is cool and stuff like that, but for the most part, they're gonna rely a lot on their internal growth with their young players. Again, Jaden Ivey back. Duran had a good end of the year last year. Cade was incredible last year. Asard played well. Ron Holland played well in spot minutes. Was a good defender for them, good in transition. And this summer league is going to be important. This offseason in general is going to be important for him because he's going to get a ton of run next year. And I thought he played really well in summer league too.
He's got to shoot better like he has been.
Yep.
Like him and Reed Shepard were two guys that like didn't have great rookie seasons, but they were top 5 picks. So like, what are you going to show in summer league? And like right away, both of them for the most part from Reed, but like Ron especially, like he looked like he was like Kawhi in summer league type level, which obviously
he looked like he's too good for summer league, right
which
now.
Is great. That's what you need to see out of top 5 pick. Yeah,
Didn't Reed like score like 20 straight points,
something like that?
Yeah, he was getting those shots up for sure.
Reed was wilding.
Is he gonna crack their rotation also? Like, I don't know if he's ready for that. He's more. You said before about Terrence Shannon, like definitely too good for the G because he showed that last year when he got moved down. He's too good for summer league clearly, but like, is he good enough to play, especially on the Rockets rotation? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that brings up an interesting question of like, what young players in summer league are their teams banking on them to play pivotal roles in the regular season? Like Reed Shepard, I think is at the top of the list.
I don't know
for that.
He has to be. They need him long term also.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that?
What players in summer league right now are their teams banking on them to play pivotal roles during the regular season?
The Wizards for sure. And the Raptors.
Yeah.
They're
first round picks.
Both of them were full rotations.
First of all,
playing.
the Wizards' full rotation got smacked one day. I forgot.
By the Suns.
Yeah, by the Suns. They
cooking.
smacked
That's
fire at it. And I'm like,
but
they were going toe to toe with the Nets rookies, and I'm like, at
I feel
some
like
point,
the Suns, low key, they need everybody.
Malawach,
to hit. They need everybody.
Malawach, Kobe.
Yes. They need Malawach to hit.
Yeah.
They need Kobe Bryant.
He was
to hit.
testing the studio space.
They need Fleming to hit. What did you guys think about Malawach? Is he one of those guys that you're grouping into this prospects you're concerned about, or not?
No.
He's exactly what I thought when he was at Duke. He's raw as hell. But the flashes are evident. The flashes are there. But he's gonna be a super raw prospect. So I don't expect too much from him his rookie year. I wouldn't say he's one guy I looked at and I felt differently because I always felt like he was raw. But dudes like, I want to say Rob, he would be at the top of the guys I'm concerned about.
They're looking at,
because they need him to kind of be that
There's
next
pressure
guy.
on Rob. They gave 2 first round picks to get him.
And there's pressure on Reed too, and I felt like Reed probably could have shot the ball a little bit better, but also they gave him free. They gave him the keys.
Rob and Reed are probably in that same together because they're both on like those contending West teams that are have guys. They're kind of deep, so like where do they fit in and stuff like that too.
And then like an aging like starting point guard, like Mike Conley's 38, he can't start anymore. It's like, you have to be thrust into this role, or else Terrence Shannon's going to be in
at least push him behind him a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the Rockets rotation. I don't know how Reed's going to get a ton
He's
of
not
minutes.
going to. That's what I'm saying.
There's a need for the skill set of a
No,
shooter.
for sure. They need a guard.
passer.
But he's not good enough overall. He hasn't been good enough for them to be like, we have to find a way for him. And he needs to do that.
They brought in DFS. They brought in KD. They still got men, Fred, Tari, Jabari, Şengün. That's like 8-9 guys right there.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So like, he's going to probably get his minutes, but if he's not hitting the ball, if he's not shooting the ball well, the leash is going to be short.
Yeah, Raphael Stone came out and said that they're expecting Reed Shepard to play a major role in their team this upcoming season.
See about that.
So
you gotta say that.
Yeah, he has to basically, show out. The same thing with Rob Dillingham. Like I think Reed Shepard and Rob are in the same boat where if they don't play well and they don't meet that expectation, and I'm not saying they have to set the world on fire, but they just have to be contributors, then their long-term future with that team is very much in flux.
Yeah, they're also like volume guys too in a way. Like Rob, they were both really like ridiculously efficient in college, but like college is different. It's free flowing and they're 10 times better than everybody on the floor. Where in the NBA, like if they're in for 10 minutes on a night, they need to make that efficient and make it count. And that's what's the hard part is they can't get into a rhythm or flow very often. And that's just the nature of the league.
First 2, you get 10 minutes, you're done.
Exactly. And that's the nature of the league having too much talent. Another guy I thought I'm a little concerned about, he actually production-wise was okay to John Salon with the Hornets.
Yeah.
Production-wise, on paper, I think he looks fine. He just looks uncomfortable still. And like when he's putting the ball down, I'm like, this is not.
It's either going to be really good or a disaster.
It's like he just head down rim.
And
it doesn't matter who's in front of him.
And like he even looked better internationally. There were better flashes. Like he just looks kind of reckless and uncomfortable a lot, but he's forcing a lot, and he's huge too. Like he's a literal monster. He should be good. It should be easy for him, but he's overcomplicating things and he's doing things to a point where they're gonna go to like Liam McNeely at the 3 and move someone else to the 4 instead of him playing and stuff like that.
Yeah, Liam McNeely looked really good, and
he did.
To build off that Salon point, the 2 sophomores that I wasn't big fans of coming out the draft were Cody Williams and the Jazz, and then Salon. Salon has a lot of untapped potential for what that means. Like the shooting, you'll see glimpses. The ball handling, you'll see the flashes. The athleticism can pop. But it's also every other time he gets the ball, he's passing up a good open 3 for a step back complete air ball.
Parking lot 3.
And it's summer league, but like,
short.
and a lot of guys do that.
Yeah.
But like, that's what like Cam Whitmore was doing when he was in summer league, and like where he's
it's
got
like
now.
he makes the game harder on himself. And I
Yeah.
also am not incredibly optimistic on the Hornets player development staff either. I feel like the guys that have blossomed for them, like Brandon Miller and LaMelo, they're more prepared and kind of ready-made NBA products to where they're still raw, but they're able to produce off talent alone. With Salomon, I'm worried about the Hornets being the team that can get the best out of him.
Yeah.
And I want to mention one more prospect. This was the second rookie I was alluding to, which I forgot to name. Trey Johnson looked awesome.
Oh, so
His
good.
scoring is incredible, and I felt for him to look as comfortable as he did, it really kind of did indicate for Washington, he's going to be, from the time he steps in, their number one player to
I'll about to say, you talked about Filipowski before. I'd say that Trey Johnson is their best young asset over Sar.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think
I
Trey
agree
Johnson.
with that.
First of all, Asar, dude,
He played really well. Didn't he set a record for blocks in summer league?
no, sorry,
in terms of block,
he'll be fine.
But like, all right, so I'm watching the Nets game, and he could do nothing with Drew Timme. Like I'm talking about
Drew Timme.
he can do absolutely, and like Drew Timme was a college
we should have shouted him out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Drew
Timme's
Timme was a dog in college,
Yeah.
but yo, Sar could do nothing with Timme. I'm talking about post up in the paint, floaters. Like Timme had everything. He was giving Sar to work, and this is why for Washington, it's weird because on one hand you want to like what they have because they had Bub. Bub was good. Keyshawn George, Sar defensively was really fine last year. Then they just picked up Trey Johnson. But at the same time, you watching Washington, you're like, all right, Trey Johnson, Bub Carrington in backcourt. They kind of play the same. There is no real playmaking chops from either one of them. They want to go get their own bucket, right? Cool, fine, whatever. But that's probably going to be your long-term backcourt, or at least for the most part, your young backcourt. Sar, offensively, still trying to figure it out. Doesn't know what he wants to be in terms of a 4 or 5. Defensively, I think he's fine. He doesn't really have to worry about that too much.
Yep.
But still struggles with guys who are a little bit more up top strong and have a nice little post work and they can kind of catch them for fakes a lot. Keyshawn George, really good. But then you got Bilal over there who obviously doesn't need to play here, but still trying to figure out his way offensively, which is why I think Washington, it was dope that they brought in those type of veterans. They already have Marcus Smart. Yeah. They brought in CJ McCollum. Like they have Chris Middleton.
It's a weird team also.
Yeah, like they brought in a ton of vets to just be like, yo, please help these young guys
to
help
not
them
look
grow.
terrible.
They're
Like they did
for a
last
year,
year.
and their contracts will expire, and ideally those younger guys get more PT.
I feel like with their
yeah.
young players, the beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Because I think on any given play, one of those young players has a flash that you're like, yeah, I believe in this guy. Like for me, it was AJ Johnson. I think AJ Johnson, like the way he moves and slithers his way around the court, I'm just like, this guy looks like
he moves like a man.
He's a star. He looks like a star. He can play the part. But I think the Wizards have a lot going for them, but they just have to see who takes the next step. I think Trey Johnson is the perfect like offensive player to build around, and he definitely has the most upside offensively of anybody on that team. And oddly enough, like he's a great athlete, but just his lateral quickness and agility is what needs to improve. But in terms of like straight line speed and verticality, he is a great athlete. It's just about like being able to change directions and pace. That's where I feel like
defensively that'll be a big thing also.
Yes.
And like I think the best thing about the Wizards in general is that it's kind of like the OKC was a few years ago, where they're just like taking the best players possible. They're like, this guy Sar's here at 2 for us, Trey's here, let's just take him. We didn't think he'd be here or something. They don't need, like you said, like with him and Bub, sure, it's probably not ideal, but like in 3 years, it's probably not going to be their starting 1 and 2. Maybe I think Bub will probably be on the bench, and like maybe Keyshawn's playing the 2 and Trey's developed play, whatever that's going to be.
Yeah.
But like they're in this great spot of like they have a good young core. We call them like the league pass Wizards because like they're a good league pass team to watch. Yeah. And then they just keep getting the best players possible. Don't worry about fit, and you just figure it out. And OKC did that. Granted, it's Sam Preston OKC, but
I would ideally you would want a natural point guard next to Trey because I feel like a lot of the summer league stuff was just like you most of the time you play either guys that are trying to get back in the league or year 2, year 3, 4 play like guys you played in college. So Trey, I feel like a lot of his stuff is tough shot making for sure, and he's really good at it. But like going to that next NBA level where you're playing a lot more better athletes, better defenders, I would like a natural point guard next to him to where a lot of things, because I felt like Washington watching them in summer league, a lot of things wasn't easy for none of their guys. Like they didn't really have a offensive anything. It's just a lot of things. So I feel like getting that point guard would be dope. Not to say Jordan Poole was that or nothing. Like they didn't really have that before. But that would be hopefully something they get in the long term. Maybe Mikael Brown Jr. comes next year. You know what I'm saying?
That would be the perfect fit.
I feel like the Jazz, like we talked about them and like how Kyle Filipowski might be their best young player. We totally like forgot about Ace Bailey.
I don't think we forgot.
Oh my God, I did
Because he barely played.
Yeah,
Like,
he also
I forgot about
played.
him. Like a lot.
He's very raw. I feel like this year Filipowski.
He's not their best young player.
Yeah.
I don't think he is. No.
Ace isn't their best. You're saying, or Filipowski?
Ace.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you lower on Ace?
I like Ace. I just like everything needs to be perfect for him to reach his ceiling, and he is a good young player. There's so many physical tools. It's just like little things about like nothing off the court and mentality. It's a lot of like some defensive lapses of mentality, but his handle and like tween handle is not like his wiggle is not really there for the style that he plays in. He wants to be that KD and Ingram like scorer and player on the wing. Like I just don't see him getting to that level, but I still think he can be good. But the problem is that if he's not amazing, people are gonna be like, yeah, bust. Which is whatever. Let people say whatever they
Like,
want.
what if he's Michael Porter Jr.?
Then I want to ask
great.
you the question: in Will Hardy's offense, do you feel he can emulate the role that Lauri Markkanen's played?
I don't think he can do what Markkanen does. Markkanen has developed like a deep bag and like even some two-way impact. Would you just said that MPJ I feel like is a very good like actual attainable goal.
He still can't, dribble. He can't create for himself.
MPJ can't do anything.
Can I say something to the MPJ point? Because I feel like that's sort of like I would be not upset. I'd be annoyed at that because if you are the MPJ of after multiple back surgeries, I feel like then at that point it's like I kind of wanted better for Ace Bailey because I feel like the talent coming into this draft, the talent was hyped up. He got picked top 5 just because of sheer talent. It wasn't any numbers based the way he played because he didn't play that well at Rutgers. Dylan Harper was the one that popped off the screen every time they played. Ace was good.
He had his moments.
Yeah, he had his moments,
Indiana,
but for the most part throughout the year, you saw a lack of separation that he had with his ball handling. He couldn't do it too much. Didn't get to the rim at all because he wasn't as fast and he also wasn't as strong. He relied on heavy, tough shot making from the mid-range. Not even from the three-point line, a lot from the mid-range. And defensively, like you mentioned, the traits are there. Like when he's locked in, he can play defense very well. But a lot of times there's lapses on the off ball. There's lapses in, jumping at pump fakes and stuff like that. So I think if you tell me, Ace Bailey, Michael Porter Jr., after the injuries and stuff, it's like, but damn, I kind of feel like I wanted a little bit better than that.
That's my point, is that people are going to be like, oh, he's a bust, like, because he was supposed to be a superstar, all this drama, whatever. He actually has some kind of like similar traits, I feel like, physically to what MPJ had before the back issues, where he's like thinner, lengthier, makes like crazy defensive flashes, a lot of dunks, good rebounder, and like MPJ lost that a little bit, where maybe Ace has a little bit more of that, but he's not as steady of an offensive player and shooter and stuff like that like MPJ is, so it's a little give and take, but you're right. I bet that's right. He'll probably end up as a player like that.
Yeah, a lot of these players have age on their side. I feel like a player that doesn't is Dalton Connect. I was very disappointed with Dalton Connect.
Cole Swider played very well.
Yeah, like Dalton Connect has been so awful.
I
Cole
love
Swider's a summer league like standout like every time.
Every year too. Yeah. Keep going.
He knows his role. Shoot the ball.
I love Dalton Connect, so we keep going.
Like, Bronny James was better than Dalton Connect in summer league as well. Like Connect has just not been able to shoot the ball well at all.
Yeah,
and I just feel like with what the Lakers need, he just doesn't fit what they need. If he's not going to hit his shots consistently, they need defense. That's not really what it's going to bring. I just feel like at one point this pick looked really good, and the Lakers looked like geniuses because they took the NBA ready prospect. And now it's like, well, that's the other side of it. When you take a prospect that is already pretty much ready and there's not much of a development or talent there to improve drastically, you kind of get stuck with this is a player he is now. And I feel like, I don't know, like if I was the Lakers, I would have just let the Mark Williams trade go through. I would have just
It's so tough. When a player gets traded and it's rescinded, there's two ways you can respond. On one side, you can take that as motivation, as fuel, and you become even more impactful. On the other side, it's like,
it affects
fuck
you
this organization. I don't want to play here. We saw that with Dante DiVincenzo, and he was in a Bogdanovic trade in 2021, but he got hurt in that postseason, so it was really tough to gauge. But with Dolan Connect, it kind of did feel like after the trade went through, he maybe didn't want to be in Los Angeles. And I did feel watching Summer League, the shots that he were taking were good looks that just weren't falling. And then you have Cole Swider in the corner who's just knocking down looks. He can't to his spots. It's really tough. I like Dolan Connect a lot. I know you were high on him too.
I'm terrified for him. I'm terrified. Like, he was such a good creator too. Like he actually was at Tennessee. I'm like, this man is lethal. Like people are watching him versus like Zach Edey in that Elite Eight game. he put up like 37, and he does it every other night in college. I'm like, this brother right here can do whatever he wants, and he will do it on the NBA floor. And like you're saying, even in the NBA, he finds his looks. He just looks out of place and uncomfortable and a little not less confident maybe. I don't know what it is, but I'm scared.
I will say for a shooter in Summer League, and this is the case with Reed Sheppard, because Reed Sheppard was awesome in the G League last year. He only shot like 32% in Summer League. When you're a shooter, it's tough to really evaluate a player off a 3 to 4 game sample size. So that's kind of where I stand on it, where it's like, definitely noteworthy. I want to see how he plays to start the season, but I'm not going to like kind of get too concerned about it, because the fact I know that shooters will have their slumps and they'll also have their hot streaks.
I also think it's an adjustment. Like Dalton Knecht wasn't no catch and shoot, stand still 3-point shooter in college. Like this was a bona fide walking, I'm going to get a bucket every time. So to come into NBA and, being a guy that's now you have to, adjust to that type of role, it probably takes some time. And I think it definitely hasn't been all sunshine on that end. You want to see progression every moment from him. But I think, like you mentioned, the Summer League hasn't been the best, but the Lakers are going to need him. They're going to need him a lot, and I think he knows that. Definitely, like him supposed to be in Charlotte, now not in Charlotte, definitely probably thought, well, damn, this team don't even want me. Why should I go all the way hard for this team? But, I think right now it's just a shooting variance thing. His is just lasting longer than others. And hopefully he goes into next season and he plays a lot better.
How many more Summer League games do the Lakers have?
Probably one, and then the little playoff thing or something like that.
If they make it.
So if Dalton Knecht doesn't drop like 30, I'm going to be disappointed in that last game.
You definitely want him to be dominating Summer League for sure.
Like
he shouldn't be.
He
should by his standard, he should be shut down from Summer League right now.
Yeah,
he should have put up 30 and then 20 and then be like, yeah, you're done. But
exactly.
Not, so.
He should have done what like Mataz Buzelis did.
No, he should be doing what Terrence Shannon is doing. I swear to God, that's what he should be doing. Like guys that age, they're a lot more old. They should be dominating Summer League,
especially when like guys come in right away. Walt, Nee, Clifford that we mentioned, like it's easy for them. It's not easy for Dalton Knecht.
Yeah, it should be when you are at that age where you're a little bit either you're a senior or you're a little bit older.
With a year of NBA too.
Yeah, Summer should be it should be a walk in the park.
The player who I think of, and he was the 4th overall pick, is Keegan Murray. As a rookie, he's coming to win Summer League and at 24. Dalton Knecht wasn't as good of a prospect. He didn't go nearly as high in a much worse draft class. But like that's the type of feeling you should have about a prospect at that age. You mentioned some guys you're concerned about. There's two to me, which the first of which you did mention, AJ Johnson, like the highlight plays, the athleticism, the transition play, it stands out. But in the half court, we have not seen any growth. And I felt that Washington was the right fit for him to take that step forward. So you want to see that ideally when the season starts. The other player who, when the Nets took him with the 8th overall pick, I was like, all right, I like their player development staff. I think Sean Marks is a very good GM. I'm not going to be critical.
His form
of this
is nice.
And then Washington playing Summer League. I've got a lot of friends that are Net fans, and they're hyping up Jaeger Demon when he hits 2 threes. But I'm watching him play, and I'm saying to myself, what he does so well, it's mitigated by his lack of advantage creation because he is afraid to dribble and actually tack guys off. And I felt like the first Summer League game, I'm talking to Riv, I'm like, I don't think he's dribbled inside the 3-point line like once this entire game.
He takes some tough threes.
He's passive a lot. He was like that at BYU where
his form is very nice though.
It's not, and you know what? He was a terrible shooter for majority of the season at BYU. So the shooting is a big swing skill. But to your point, like when he gets downhill, he's like I've met him a couple times now. He's like legit 6'9". He is massive, and he has some visionary like point guard skills. It's just like. That when he played against good opponents like Houston and Iowa State and stuff like that, he had a game where he shot like over 10 and he had like 4 turnovers. Like he just completely shut down. He got better versus the good teams later on in the year, but it's a concern if like they took him at 8. I think it takes time with a guy like that.
Funny enough about that. So I was talking to a friend about this. This was earlier in the year, we were talking about the prospects, and he was asking about Jaeger Denham, and I was like, well, he's going to BYU. Like we'll see, 6'9", good passer. They'll probably play him at the guard position. Right, so his first 4 games where he gets nobody, he popped. Next night you see him in mock drafts, he's top 5. So my friend was like, "Yo, bro, like he's legit," and I was like, "Dude, relax. The schedule is about to ramp up. Wait and see. Don't jump to conclusions." He jumped to conclusions, right? Jaeger went on like a 10-15 game stretch of just nonstop bad basketball. Then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, bro, you might not be a lottery pick. And I'm like, see, I told you, wait and see, because that's when you play at those types of schools, the schedule, it starts and it goes up. You start to ramp up, it gets you comfortable. And a lot of times you see in those first 5 to 10 games, a lot of these, one and done players or these rookies or these high profile players, they play really well against those bad teams. And then you start to see when they get the competition gets a little harder, They don't struggle, but the numbers don't look the same.
It's different. My question is, because it ended up working out going to the draft, the top 10 pick goes to a good team.
Still,
he's going to start this year, given the layout of their team. Would it have been better for his long-term development, just as an NBA player, right? If he stays at BYU and plays with AJ and plays off of him as a sophomore.
I wanted
an extra year.
I wanted him to stay. I felt like him, Kanan Catchins, who was over there, AJ when they come in. First of all, I thought they could be a really good team that can compete for the title. I also thought like it would have been another year of development because BYU has a good development team over there right now. But at the same time, he went top 10. So it's like, does he go top 10 next year? I don't know.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Unless he gets drastically better. But
especially with AJ and Richie Saunders,
his role is going to diminish. You just take the. And first of all,
I feel like a diminished role, it might suit his play style more.
I agree,
100%. If you get more efficient,
yeah. But that top 10 money is different. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
He would really have had to rely on that development of Kevin Young in the pro system, which it could have been there.
But they were going to focus on AJ. Like now, the focus is.
I'd be like, okay, and I think they're going to be better off this year with Rob Wright and without him. Like Yegor was really good. I also think he played at Real Madrid beforehand. If he would have stayed at Real Madrid and had the same statistical season he had at BYU, where like couldn't shoot the three, had some hot and cold, he probably would have went like top 5. And people would have been like, oh yeah, he's a raw international prospect. Yep. But because he was at BYU, a lot more scrutiny. But he's still a long-term prospect is my point.
My thing is that the top 10 pick, it's like life-changing compared to like being a second-round pick, right? Sure. Of course.
That BYU money is life-changing too. I ain't gonna lie.
That's a fact too. Yeah. They was paying.
Got some investors. But the other side of being a top 10 pick is the spotlight that it puts on you and how much pressure. Like I said before, they're going to start a rookie at point guard no matter how you just win it. And we know that rookie guards, especially if you're undersized, which Demon isn't, he's 6'9", but we tend to see them take longer to develop, and he's a project. I feel like him being the spotlight, the center of attention, the main developmental spot, the main developmental piece of the Nets this year. That's why I'm worried for him.
Luckily, he's playing on the Nets though.
Yeah, but John, that's what I'm saying.
Like 18 games, no one's gonna really care.
If he waits another year, there's no guarantee he ends up in Brooklyn. He could end up in a bad situation next year that makes it look completely worse.
Just G League, no
yeah, just like,
and they the fact they have him, Ben Saroff, Nolan Traore, who else they take? Drake Powell and Danny Wolf. They took 4 playmakers out of their 5 picks. So they're not going to tell him like you're playing 30 minutes a night and we need you to be the generator and do everything. Yeah. I think he's going to have almost a more refined role than he had at BYU, which is kind of crazy.
And nobody's going to have the task to score because Cam Thomas is there. So they don't have to worry about that.
A lot of assists, easy assists, especially on the NBA. 3 dribble bucket, that's assists.
What the Nets have to be more fearful of is that all of their draft picks might not hit. I think that all of them are in.
Drake Powell's going to hit. Drake Powell's going to hit.
He's the solid.
To what level though?
I like Drake Powell.
Just a good role player. That's what he was going to be.
But
Nets drafted terribly.
Nolan Traore, he was terrible.
Once again, look,
he was awful.
Top 5 pick.
He looked the part.
November,
before the year,
October, November, just top 5 pick.
Like how we talk about your boy Mikael Brown now. Like it was like Nolan was like next year.
They were putting him in those. He was the 4th, 5th.
International is different, but yeah.
Which kind of surprised me because of just how far the shooting is, and when you look at like the production. It was brutal looking at his profile.
Oh man, it got bad. Like it got worse and worse.
But I felt like Nolan did look the part. Looked a little bit bigger. He looked a true 6'5". He also had a ankle injury in the first game, and he
has real burst to him.
He finished the game and he looked very quick. And I felt after that the shot looked ugly, but you can still kind of carve out a role.
He shot the ball really well internationally the last third of the year, which scouts were like, I know they were like, all right, you know what, maybe he's getting back to where we need to. Like, what's going on here? But guys that don't shoot the ball well when they're young like that, especially as guards. Like they finish that well. They tend to not break out shooting wise.
They have a few nice finishes.
I'm talking about last year. Like he was. It was literally like just a portion of the season that just put him up. Like no, we were gonna bank on.
So that leads into an interesting question because with you being so tapped in with the draft space, how often do you see a prospect's knock is they can't shoot and everybody is always banking on he'll just improve his shooting. Like, how difficult is that, and how often do players actually improve that skill?
People don't realize how much it comes down to what kind of coaches they're working with. Used to play at you were talking about before playing experience. You know that you're with coaches who are teaching you the right mechanics and the right actual game situations. Those are major things. Take Ryan Dunn for example. When I tell you Ryan Dunn was one of the worst shooting prospects I've ever seen, that I was still he's gonna go first round because he should, because he's that good of a defender. The first day in the NBA, he was shooting the ball. His mechanics were different. Everything was completely changed. Dyson Daniels, when he worked with the shot doctor, his name is in New Orleans, his shot changed. And he got to Atlanta, all of a sudden the guy can shoot. That stuff matters. there's also projectable traits. Like it happens all the time. It's a short answer, but there's projectable traits. Free throw percentage is a huge one. The types of looks you're getting. Are you off the bounce? Are you a lot of catch and shoot in only certain spots? Like what's your role been like in college and things? And there's a lot of factors to it. And I feel like there's never a true science to it. But it's interesting. It's super interesting to watch guys like Ryan Dunn go like, wow, I'm crazy. And then watch Dalton Connect shoot 12%.
Like even Herb Jones had a year in New Orleans where he shot the ball really freaking well.
That's Fred Vincent, and he goes to Detroit, and all of a sudden the Pistons are a playoff team. You gotta start talking. I saw your video on like what are like the LSU like wide receiver, like what's like the point guard factor of the NBA, and we know that's obviously Kentucky.
Oh, wing U is Duke.
The wing U, but Virginia, Trey Murphy, DeAndre Hunter, Ryan Dunn, got some other guys.
So that's defense U. That's defense U.
Defense, I loved your pick.
We said MSU because they have Jaren Jackson and Draymond.
Yeah,
it's efficient of D-boys.
They have Tillman with there too.
And Tillman was the one I was thinking of. There's someone else too.
Yeah,
he's a good defender. That's right. That's true. The NBA. There's another defender from MSU, a big.
Denzel Valent. I'm just kidding.
Oh God.
Adrian Payne.
He was a 4. Yeah, he was a 4.
Rest in peace.
They produce very efficiently defenders, and FSU was the other one I said.
FSU was a great shot.
Aaron Henry.
There you go.
Aaron Henry.
Cassius Winston.
Those Virginia wing players. My thought was that they've all been developing. Look at Trey Murphy, DeAndre Hunter this year.
I think Kentucky's guard you. You know, you go.
That was an easy one. Yeah.
Kentucky's. They
I forgot what we did. Guards. We did like guard, wing, big, shooting, and defense.
Who do you have for big?
You can go like Kentucky and Duke produce so many draft picks that like you could say them for everything.
For sure.
So we tried to like differentiate. I said Gonzaga because of the way they've efficiently done it, and the same with shooting. They have shooters galore.
All their bigs are skilled, no matter what.
Like even Timmy, but even like guys like Chet, Sabonis, like they've done. Brandon Clark is decent. Like they've done a pretty good job putting out bigs.
I like that.
Georgetown for bigs all time probably.
Yeah.
Georgetown
used to be a great school, man. Never happened to Shane.
Hopefully they'll be back. This is a make or break year for them.
It always is.
Talking college ball. Here we go.
We're going to talk about now Hansen Yang because he was the media darling of the draft cycle. I felt like, especially after he was drafted. In Summer League, when you're in person, you can feel the energy for players differently. So when we went there for Cooper Flagg's game versus Bronny, the entire stadium, the crowd was sold out. There was not an empty seat for Cooper Flagg, and he was electric. But when I say that no player got a bigger pop than Hansen Yang at Summer League, I mean that. No player got a bigger pop. Hansen Yang, he had the Asian community supporting him out there.
Shout out to him.
Yes, and they were loud, and they were making their presence known. And he has real skills that I feel like are Nikola Jokic-esque, not to like sound like a repeating record, but I feel like with Nikola Jokic breaking out in the way that he broke out in NBA, we're now going to start getting this variant of centers that play a lot like him, where they're having the ball at the top of the key, they're initiating offense, they're making bounce passes off of cutters. So Hansen Yang showcased all those skills. I think the only thing that I can knock from him is like his rebounding, but overall, his shooting touch from the outside, he shot the ball really well. He is a really gifted passer. And Hansen Yang, I think, is going to have a real role in the NBA. And we're going to see what happens with Portland. I've already saw some images and memes of like how this is the Nurkic and Jokic thing all over again, with Klingon being Nurkic. Right. And then,
it's definitely intriguing that they did. Apparently, they've been tracking this guy for like 2 or 3 years. Like one of the few teams that.
And I believe
Schmitz. Mike Schmitz is the head of their scouting.
Yes.
He Draft Express, the ESPN draft. He used to run that with Cavoni, but he used to really run it. He was watching Hansen Yang a lot when he was like 15 and 16. Then he got the Portland job, and they've been eyeing this man up for years.
Yeah, so
Mike Schmitz is the best.
We saw him at Summer League. It was really funny. I want to say what's up to him.
It's weird though, because they did draft Klingon last year in a weak draft, but Klingon I thought was a exceptional defensive prospect coming out. Played really well at UConn. And of course, they won a title. And then you go and you move up in the draft. Well, move down. Yeah, you know what I mean. You trade down to get Hansen Yang, who I think showed real. For me, I see Jokic, but I also see like Andrew Bogut. I see like Marc Gasol. Like I see a type of those skill sets. Like people forget Andrew Bogut is one of those few bigs that also could pass. Really good defensive big. I see a lot of that in Yang, and I think the rebounding is troubling. And for guys nowadays that height, you know, they do tend to trouble with rebounding. It's very weird. We don't get those same 7'1", 7'2" guys that can rebound the shit out the ball outside of Wemby, of course, dude 7'6". But yeah, his form is nice. I think that's the good part. Like, you don't really have to fix too much. I think it's a good shooting form. I think he's really good with touch. I think he's a really good passer, good in pick and rolls. He can move his feet well. I think that's important.
Nimble
he's
for
very
size.
nimble, very mobile. And I think you don't want a stiff 7'1" guy. That's not something you don't want. And I think that's important that he can move. Very intrigued to see what Portland does, because now you have two twin towers. Because Klingen's about 7 feet tall too, less nimble than Han. So I think a little bit more of a statue as opposed to him. Interesting to see what Portland does, because it's a young core. I think collectively we all like Shaden, Scoot, Kamara. It's a really good young core. Excited to see how they look. Just how are they going to play that whole big man dynamic? But I thought he played really well in the Summer League, and he gave you some pop that you like to see for Portland. And on top of that, to add on, which I think is really important, Portland's like a small market team. You bring an entire Asian fan base over.
On the West Coast, too.
Basically, the West Coast, which is probably closer to them anyways. That's big. That's huge for the market. Yeah. That's exciting for them. So that's also another thing that can put, butts in the seat.
That's actually a really good point of, like, the Asian community is huge in, like, San Francisco, Bay Area, LA, all around the West Coast, Seattle and stuff, because it's like the way to get there from that side of the world. But he's good, dude. Like, I haven't watched him in like a year and a half at this point. I'm like, man, is this guy going to be able to do this in the NBA? He's like, I'm watching him play in the CBA. I'm like, who is he playing against? Like, I don't know, but he looks like Zach Edey size-wise in the CBA, because he's like, they're so, like, they're just not, it's not a good league. He looks really good at the combine. I'm like, oh, shit, like, we might be on to something here. Yeah. And then in Summer League, he's looked really good. The fans love him. Like, he doesn't, like you said, but he's not, like, super smooth shooting. Like, he's good enough. His mechanics are good. He doesn't need to be, like, the shot creator like Jokic is. Nobody's ever going to be Jokic. I truly believe, like, we'll never see a player like that to that level again. But what you said before of, like, guys like him, talked about Şengün that are in Sabonis, all those guys that are in the league now. Derek Queen is another guy who passed a lot. Amari Williams played at Kentucky last year, passed a lot. Like, there are guys at every college and high school bigs that are doing this now, and it's going to be it's a prototypical thing now to be like, yep, that's a 5. You need a 5 who passes. That's the way NBA sets kind of are starting to function and work and stuff. But he's good. I just like, I don't know. I feel like his ceiling is like a Şengün type guy. He's very different in terms of, like, he's bigger and Şengün is like really smooth and crafty. But in terms of quality wise, like, maybe he could be a borderline all-star one day. I just like, it's tough. I want to like love him and be all in, which I do like him. But like with Klingen, like you said, and even Rob Williams still on their team, right?
He's still there.
Like, Klingen and him are very, very different, which is good. Like, Klingen is like a defensive monster, lob threat. You know what you're getting out of him, and like Hansen Yang is a little different. Good passer too, though. Yeah, he's not bad.
Yeah, I feel like we're moving in an era where like centers can run offense, and it just helps the space into the court so much, because when you have a center up top, now you have so much space for cutters to roam free, and there's nobody in the back line defending those cuts. Yeah. So I feel like it just opens up the floor so much.
It's going to open up the floor for Scoot so much.
Yeah. And that's what I was thinking when you made this pick.
I'm praying.
Shaden and Scoot are two players that, since they were drafted, had incredibly high expectations given what Portland needed. They had just traded Damian Lillard when they got Scoot Henderson. And so all the pressure is on them to create. But now when you have, like you guys both mentioned, the NBA shifting to this offensive image where you're structuring it way more from the top of the key and having 7-footers. We saw him hit 3 threes versus the Pelicans and shot fairly well in Summer League. That's what opens up the offense and having your center run at the top of the key. And those actions kind of allow those guards to co-create without having the pressure and the added responsibility. So that's why I love the fit in Portland for them specifically. There is that other element where Donovan Clinton last year was very good as a rookie when healthy, and it's hard to play them together because defensively you're having one of them guard 4s. You don't love that, but what I like a lot about Jan Hansen was that we saw him in Summer League. He really looked a full 7-2. He looked huge.
He's huge.
And then having that shot blocking and gives him a very solid floor.
He has good instincts, like you said, defensive instincts. My question for y'all is like knowing especially the NBA community, what is, like, Portland takes him a lot earlier than he could have gone or would have gone otherwise. Probably would have went maybe day 2. But they are at 11. They moved back back up to 16, whatever it was, to get him when they could have taken him later, whatever it is. So there's a lot more pressure that people like realize. I feel like, what is a success for him? Like, what does it mean in the end of his career for Hansen Yang to be like, yeah, that was actually a good job by them and a good draft pick by them by going up and getting him?
I picked 16.
Because I feel like people are saying the way people look at him, everyone loves him. They're saying if he's good at all, it's a success story. But like they were at the pick 11, and then they went back and
Right.
got him super early. So like there's a higher standard than people realize. I think.
I agree with
I
that.
feel like a Marcin Gortat type career.
Gortat.
Yeah, Gortat early on was
Solid.
like behind Dwight. He had some years where
Elevated John
he was
Wall.
very productive. Yeah, Gortat was really good. The Gortat's
Made a screen.
Yeah.
The screen is named after him.
Exactly. Like
Riv's got a frown on his face.
that's
like,
the
he
ultimate
hasn't- he hasn't
compliment.
What do you
agreed
mean
with what I said.
elevated John Wall?
John Wall
I thought you
has
heard the screen.
yeah.
What do you? No,
Because
I know
of the
Gortat
Gortat
screen.
screen.
Yeah.
They
What do you
were
mean
great.
elevated
the pick and
John
roll,
Wall?
The pick and roll fit between them was
amazing.
when John Wall had his best seasons.
Elevated strong.
Did John Wall elevate him?
All right,
A
you
lot of
want
other
me to
bigs
use-
could have done it,
you
to be
want
fair,
me-
but yeah.
You want me to
Yeah.
use I could use a synonym. Him and John Wall were a great fit together.
There we go. I like that.
That's
I
a
like
great
that a lot
fit.
better.
All right.
I like that a lot
I think
better.
so like this how I would measure it. A success is if Hansen Yang becomes a good player and he's getting invaluable rotation minutes to where like he and Klingon are both split in like 30 to 22 minutes a night, 24 and 24. That center rotation is good and Blazers don't have to worry about the starter or the backup. I would say the ultimate success story is if like he's just better than Klingon. Like,
Yeah,
he's
like an
just
all-star,
yeah,
yeah.
he's just much better than him, and it's like no, this is our center. And I think there is some shades of Alperen Şengün and Hansen Yang's story because Alperen Şengün came from the Turkish league,
MVP.
where he was an MVP in the Turkish league, and people questioned the legitimacy of that league, even though it was a pretty good league internationally. It is, and he went in the teams in the draft, and I thought back then he was easily a top 10 prospect in that draft, and he becomes an all-star, and he is an undersized center. He's not a true 7-footer. He's more so 6'9", 6'10". Hansen Yang, in his CBA in both years, I mean, he averaged a combined like 15 plus points per game, almost 16 a night with 10 rebounds,
Blocks,
4 assists. Yeah, he got blocks. He was very efficient. Like if we're talking about the advanced metrics of all these prospects coming into this draft, Hansen Yang is near the top in terms of BPM and just total impact metrics. He's at the very near top. So like I think if he succeeds, it would be him becoming a starter ultimately on Portland.
And they can look at the Rockets. Look at people talk about the Rockets with Şengün. Like, can they win with him as the 5? Are they going to close lineups with him not in the game, especially with defensive concerns? And like that could be the opposite with Hansen Yang. Like they could be like, well, you know what? In 3 years, we can close with him because we need him offensively, and he's good enough defensively because he's freaking massive.
Yeah, so I think Hansen Yang, he just has a lot of traits that I think are just going to translate. And what I thought was most impressive was just his nimbleness for his size. I like Zach Edey is gigantic, but he's very slow.
Yeah.
And like
He's a
his
prodding
length, just recovering to certain things helps side defense. He cannot get there in time. Where I think Hansen Yang, just offensively, defensively, things are just much more fluid for him.
7'5"
His passing,
dudes, man.
his passing to me was what stood out most. But of course, being able to be fluid enough as a defensive big is so often the most overlooked part of their game. In order to be that kind of engine or that funnel piece, you need to also be capable in the defensive end. He more than is capable. I think to answer that question that you had about what would be like a fair outcome, they got a very valuable pick from the Grizzlies, the Magic's 2028 first, which is unprotected. It may be a pick in the 20s, but it's noteworthy to move back. I would have to say the success story for Hansen Yang would be not just being better than Donovan Clayton or just as good because he took a center last year in the first round, but really to me, if he's like an above average starter, I feel like that would be the expectation because the center position is very good at the top, but if you can be a top half starter in the league, I feel like that's more than good enough.
Yeah, and like pick 16, I don't. There's like charts on this and like data and analytics to show like what's the above average outcome, below average for each pick. I think if you're a starter in the NBA for like a majority of a season, that's already like above expectation for pick 16, which is pretty crazy because so many guys just like get phased out so easily.
Right.
But to your point, I feel like even more than that, just because of especially now he has legit hype around him. Like, all right, well here we go. So
Yeah, it's legit international hype.
people think he's gonna be
Everybody buying
Jokic.
into
People
him.
are legit like, yo, y'all doubted Jokic too. He got drafted during a Taco Bell commercial.
That's
I'm
the
like,
big
all right,
tariff.
That's what people do with
The big
Giannis
tariff.
for the
the big tariff.
They did that with Giannis for the longest time. Bruno Caboclo, 2 years and 2 years.
Yo,
what a name.
they had Thon Maker, my
Toronto-
dog, too.
Yeah, Toronto missed out on Giannis because they traded the pick, which got them Kyle Lowry all those years before. Then it was Bruno Caboclo was going to be their Giannis, and the same went for so many other prospects. I think of Thon Maker's one that comes to mind, but he wasn't even the best.
He could win the
example.
MVP right now, okay?
Yeah.
If you put him back in the league.
There's a lot of guys like
There
that.
was a whole scandal about his real age.
Yeah, he's not.
Don Maker.
Yeah, he's
I
probably.
did that
like-
about Buddy Hield too.
He's from Bahamas though, a little different. I feel like, but
they said they were.
Thon Maker's probably not the age that they said.
Did they ever figure out what his age actually was?
I think it was like 5 or 6 years ahead of whatever it was.
Wow.
What?
He went. Have you ever seen his high school tape? He played at a school
called
like the Basketball Institute or something like that. I'm like, that's not a real place. First of all, in Canada, like a prep school.
They have him at 28 right now.
Yeah, it's probably like 33, 34. Yeah.
Yo, how do you just
the high school tape is the craziest thing in the world. Like, it is unbelievable. And his whole family, they're good. I still firmly believe that Thon Maker like should have been a good NBA player. I don't know what. I still don't know what happened. I don't get it. Don't get it.
No, yeah, the Bucks had some talent.
They really did.
They tried to replicate it too.
Parker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Another one.
They had a lot. Giannis was really not supposed to be the guy that developed into.
And then they started trying to replicate Giannis. I feel like.
Yes.
Yeah, which is wild.
It's the same thing that happens with Kawhi. Like every 6'7", small forward variant is Kawhi.
Yeah, that's 16-year-old high school phenom. Called him a phenom.
What a monster.
So we're gonna rank the top 5 most interesting young cores in the NBA.
Harry Giles.
So this is different from top 5 best young cores.
Okay,
it's interesting young cores. So it's basically, it's a personal list. You think this young core is interesting, you have them on your list. I'll start off with my first one. I'm not gonna go like in order. These are just teams I have, 5 teams. I think the Phoenix Suns young core is interesting for the fact that there's a lot of pressure on them to produce right away. Malu Watts, Kobe Bria, Rashard Fleming, Oso, Ryan Dunn, Mark Williams. I feel like they need to get a lot out of those players and maximize them. So there is even a semblance of a chance that Devin Booker has a chance to compete there long term. And I think in this draft cast specifically, I like Bria a lot. I like Fleming. It really just depends on Malu Watts and how fast he can develop. And I think they're an interesting young core because if they could develop and they can prove to be a really good support system around Devin Booker, maybe this Suns team can compete sooner rather than later, and maybe Devin Booker's not just wasting his time in Phoenix.
That's a very valid pick. My number 5, I guess I could start off that way. The team we're just talking about, it's the Portland Trail Blazers. Coming out the draft for each player we briefly mentioned, Scoot Henderson and Shane Sharp, I was very high on them, and I felt the picks that they've been making the last couple of years, Donovan Clinton I loved, and Hansen Yang, there's so much questions about who that prioritize, and that's kind of the theme and the structure of my list. It's what young players' development are you prioritizing compared to their contemporaries? And I feel like for Portland, they've accumulated a lot of young talent, and they've built the right way. I didn't like the Drew Holiday trade, but if you look past that and just talk about the young core, I love the way that they've built this roster with these high-quality, versatile wing defenders, and Denny Advia and Tumani Kamara kind of fit into this group for me as well. And then you have so much athleticism and a good amount of kind of versatility and rim protection in the front court. So I feel like the job they've done, it's been really good after Dean for the most part.
Yeah, my fifth one's the Wizards. It's pretty obvious. Like obviously they're going long-term build, etc. Mm-hmm. I believe in the way they're doing it and the type of players they're trying to put together, the value they're going for, and the archetypes. I think everyone knows that it's going to take a little while, and they have belief that they will be good. So it's like it's less like intrigue and like, will they be good? I'm not really sure. It's more intrigue of like, what are they going to become, and like, how are they going to end up filling it out over the years? And they're obviously, I think most people know they're a pretty interesting young core. So
5 for me is kind of the Nets, in the same way how you kind of said, what are they going to do with all these guys that are quote unquote projects? Nolan, Yegor, like I feel like Ben Seraph, like I feel like Danny Wolf and Drake Power, you're projecting to be just good quality rotation players for you, and I think that's important. Also, adding Cam Thomas into this mix, a guy who doesn't have a ton of market, kind of has a one-dimensional game style. What are you going to do with him? And I feel like even guys like Day'Ron Sharp, Noah Clowney, like they just have a bunch of young players, but if you rank them with other young players in the league, they're probably more towards the bottom of the rotation, bottom of the list. So I think with Brooklyn, it's just about finding that guy, which I think they think it's going to be Yegor Demon, however you say his name, and just kind of putting it all together because they trust in their staff. And Jordy Fernandez and his group is just about putting in the right product and getting the right development for these projects to work.
I started calling him Demon, by the way. He told me his name is Gyomin.
Really?
Russian, they pronounce it Gyomin.
Yegor Gyomin.
But he said, like, I let BYU, like, Americanize it and, like, Demon and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, the fuck?
Yeoman.
Gyomin.
Like there's
Gyomin.
D-Y-O-N.
That's crazy. I was like,
it doesn't spell exactly nowhere near how you pronounce it.
I was like, oh, all right. Okay.
Demon.
He's German, or he's Russian. He's Russian, right?
Yeah, but I think people are still going to call him. Or they started saying Yeoman on the broadcast. I don't know, but his name is,
somebody's going to say
Americanizes Demon. He knows that. He said it's going to be Demon for sure. And
yeah. Demon is just simple. Do you play it is. It's just simple. I mean, Demon. You would never guess it's Jimin.
No shot in hell is guessing.
And he doesn't care to correct it either. I mean, he corrected it to you, but like behind closed doors, he hasn't went out there and said, "Yeah, it's Jimin."
I guess he understands it's just a lot easier to say Demon.
I mean, that's how it spells, right? That's how it sounds.
Comfortably how it spells. Like, it ain't spelled like how he said it. No,
I've been saying it all year long. Demon. Jump.
Like, who? Who
happens every year.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah.
Especially with these international players. My number 4 team, like I said, it's not a list, but would be the Charlotte Hornets. Just like when are they going to be good? I think they have enough talent to do it.
You're right. You're right.
Like,
you're right.
It's funny as hell.
It's just the way you said it, because you're so right.
Lamelo Ball, Brandon Miller. They brought in
Concanapple.
John Salon.
There we go.
I thought Diabate,
what a weird
had
team.
some good minutes.
Yeah.
Like they have a good young core.
I could not care less about the Hornets, honestly. But you're so right. Like what in the world are they? I don't know.
Like when are they going to be good? I feel like now they finally have the talent. Like I know years before it's like, oh, LaMelo, B. Miller, Mark Williams. This is shaping out to be really good. And now I feel like we're in the same cycle where it's like I'm kind of getting a little bit excited for them again. And it's just like, okay, will it be materialized? Are they just going to be a team that's just going to be bad despite the talent they have? I don't think they have bad players. I think they have some good young prospects they could build around. But when is that going to materialize?
Do you guys think LaMelo they can win anything and be good with LaMelo? I am so out.
What do you mean by anything? What do you quantify as good?
Win a playoff, be a legit playoff contender, playoff series. Like they could win a playoff series, but I would, if you gave me even odds on that, whatever, like 50-50, I'd be like, no shot.
Is that because of the Hornets, or are you just not that high on LaMelo?
Both. I don't think LaMelo is ever going to contribute to winning.
Is this like
his habits and his Trae Young fandom
are very LaMelo beef?
Trae Young's a baller. What can I say?
There we go.
We'll talk about the Hawks.
His habits and play style are just his like shot selection, his decision making. He has so much skills, and they could fit in. Like we were talking about this with Carson in Las Vegas, and I was like, the perfect fit for him being a place like Los Angeles and the post Kawhi era. But I'm like, right now, his game, there's so much to tap into. But the Hornets, they kind of give him the freedom to take whatever shots he wants, and I feel like that's been negative for his development. And like you said,
too, it's like,
and it didn't help that Charles Lee came in there and just said, just start jacking up threes now. It made LaMelo take even more bad shots.
He's never gonna stop that now. You can't take that away.
He probably does like a Ty Lue guy to kind of like rear him in, like, all right, buddy, let's have some structure here.
Like with LaMelo's variance, there's no in between. Like if he gets in a playoff series, it's either he's going to shoot the lights out of the ball, or he's going to be like terribly inefficient and be like a complete negative. Like that's the type of shot he takes, and the variance that is in his game right now. That's why I don't know. Like it's tough because I mean the major knock on him coming out of college.
Shit.
What?
Dame is returning to the Portland Trailblazers.
No shot. All right.
3-year deal.
This is what we're talking about. What are they doing?
3-year, $42 million deal.
That's a cheap deal.
I'm taking the Blazers off my list.
That is a cheap ass deal, though.
Hold the phone. That's cheap.
Why are they doing this?
Wow.
So, all right. So they have Drew. Wait, low-key, they're not terrible.
They will play next year, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
He will.
Forget about it. I was about to say,
it's really like a 2-year. It's a 2-year deal for real. Wow.
I don't understand why you have Scoot Henderson.
He's going to retire.
He's retiring.
This is a farewell tour. This is a farewell tour.
Retiring.
Let him teach Scoot and Sharp.
He's walking into his mentorship role.
We've done this for like the Jazz are a good example of this. Like the veterans blocking the development of the young guys. They're taking playing time. They're taking responsibility. And to a degree, it's limiting their development.
But Dame won't play. So
Dame's not going to play.
Well, next year he won't.
Even in 2 years,
he won't play.
The next 2 years after.
In 2 years, when their team is young and they want to get good. In 2 years, they're gonna be my next team on the list. Obviously,
you're not starting. You're not starting 2026, 2027.
That's my point. That's my point because they're gonna want to be good with Scoot and everything. They're gonna want to be good.
This is interesting. Another contract, TJ Watt, Steelers.
I saw that in the first show. I was gonna wait.
What's it?
3 years,
123 million.
I like it a lot.
That's good.
Yeah,
I love a 3-year deal.
Keep it simple.
He's the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history.
So this is interesting.
41 a year, is that math right? 40, 41.
Yeah, that's
it was 123 for 3.
A lot of money.
Was that the money?
3 for 123. I believe.
A lot of money.
Couldn't be me.
So this is interesting. I want to talk about the Dame thing in a little bit after we finish our top 5 young cores thing. The LaMelo conversation is interesting because I don't know. Like even pre-draft, he wasn't a winning player, didn't have those habits. Like that was the biggest knock on him.
I mean,
he didn't play.
He played
defense.
that same exact way he does now. Same exact way.
Yeah, that was a major knock, and he's talented. There's no doubt that he's talented, but that's why before this past season, one of my takes was I think he's the most overrated player in the NBA because all those numbers they equate to what?
Nothing.
I think that's a problem, like almost like legacy wise. Also, so many guys put up crazy numbers in this generation where people look back and like, oh, like we talk about random guys, for like Brandon Roy came to my head and whatever, and like Grant Hill, and like kids now will grow up and be like, yeah, but LaMelo put up much more than him forever. I'm like, you don't understand the difference in that, where people overrate inflated stats, and like that's how I felt with RJ Barrett for a while, and still feel like guys like that. Not to randomly shade RJ Barrett.
Yeah. RJ's an empty stats player too.
Yeah,
though.
it's
Not saying LaMelo's completely empty stats.
But putting up 20 a game in the current NBA is
There's
not.
inflation. There's scoring inflation today, but I felt like you can even look back, like you can see Jarek Stackhouse scoring 30 a game on some pretty terrible teams, and be like, there's a level to it that long term down the line you can be able to sift through what's more impactful.
Fair.
With LaMelo, it's led to nothing. I think where he's overrated is like the Halliburton discussion, where it's eye tests versus counting stats. I remember we were doing like a redraft for Objectively Biased, and I had Halliburton going above LaMelo at pick 2 from the Warriors, and the reaction was very visceral. It was like,
How long ago was it?
This was in like November of this last year. It's like November, December when the Pacers were
Halliburton
under
was
500.
getting very underrated.
Halliburton was not even
Worked
like
that well
100.
for you.
I know. Halliburton wasn't even fully healthy at the time, and the Pacers were struggling, but I was still saying to myself, I'd rather have Halliburton. I think that's where LaMelo gets overrated a little bit. But
Who are the poster childs of empty stats now? I feel like RJ Barrett comes to mind.
Too many players.
Zach LaVine comes to mind.
So many players.
Zach LaVine is so efficient. I'm not calling that empty stats.
There's an emptiness to that.
Maybe you could say it's less
Efficiency?
impactful.
No, to his overall production in general. Even if you're efficient, doesn't mean it's not empty.
Yeah, but I feel like when you look at empty
He's
stacks,
done
it's
stuff
usually
so few
inefficient
guards
guys that just
have.
put up a ton of points.
Usually is, that's fair. But
I
I
would
think
say
there's
it's less impactful.
There's a sure.
Of
Fine.
overall
That's
stats.
Do
kind
your
of like what
numbers
we're getting
lead
at.
to wins?
You're right about that.
If you pull up a list of like guys who like the leading scorers in the last like 2 years, you're gonna be like, no way.
Like Bradley
For a few of
Beal,
them.
Washington, is that like
So empty.
Empty stats.
Look at when he went to Phoenix. I don't know what he averaged, but it was obviously
at like
far
17,
less.
18, yeah.
Exactly. That's what he should be.
Yes.
Maybe a little more.
It's tough to say empty stats.
Bradley Beal's the
I
answer.
can't say Zach.
It's
Bradley
tough.
Beal.
Bradley Beal's the answer in
It's
Washington.
Because not many
Cam
people.
Thomas is probably at the top.
Not
of that
many
list
people
too.
can walk into a situation and put up 30. Like I can't just definitively say that. You know.
Empty stats to me is really a player who's in a good situation that may score 20 a game because somebody has to, but it's not efficient. It's not like impactful.
Like Jalen Green.
Jalen Green is the player I was thinking of.
Woo.
Because and this isn't even shade at Jalen Green necessarily, but when you're put in the perfect situation,
You have
the
that much
Rockets
aura.
were, and
Shouldn't
you're
be
just
that bad.
inefficient, but someone has to score 20 a game. I think of Kelly Oubre all those years in Charlotte.
There we go.
I wouldn't.
We get some names.
I would not say Bradley Beal. I wouldn't say Bradley Beal is the poster child. Maybe he's
TJ
the biggest
Warren
name because of
in
the
the bubble.
contract. But guys like Bradley Beal and Zach LaVine, if you put them in the right role, they'd be incredibly impactful. I just feel like
Right,
when
but
you
them putting up
pigeonhole
25 to 30 a
It was
game
an
is
empty year.
empty.
Empty year.
empty year, but it's tough to quantify the difference between the
Because
year and the
I
play.
think
don't
I
know.
think like Bradley Beal, he was impactful for the Wizards when they were with John Wall.
For sure.
They made the
Correct. That's
playoffs
number
and he was
two.
really good.
And he's one of the best Wizards of all time.
I think right now at the top
That's
of
not
the
a
empty
fair
That
stats,
is shit.
But
Yeah.
all right, they're going to the finals 3 straight years in the 70s. Come on,
You
now.
gotta respect Wes Unseld.
at the
I'm fucking
top
around.
of empty stats, I think RJ Barrett comes to mind. Cam Thomas comes to mind.
I'm glad you said
Empty
that.
stats. Jalen Green comes to mind.
I don't think about good situations at all. I think about guys that are in bad situations, like Beal was, and then he gets put into a good situation, and then all of a sudden, everything gets taken away because he's not that dude.
I would say I think of that as well, but I don't think that's as deserving as a player that's in a good situation.
But aren't
That
most
just-
empty stat players on bad teams though?
Jalen Green
point.
shouldn't be able to shot chuck on a good Rockets team. They should have refined him real quick.
Like it's
And they
basically
kinda
like
did at some point.
Cam Thomas averaged like
I
25,
don't know.
26 and had no market.
I guess the empty stat thing is
The
more
poor
of like
stats,
when
yeah.
your numbers overrate who you actually are.
That's fair.
That's a good way
And
to
for the most part,
Super
the Bradley
opinionated,
Beal's
too.
30 points probably overrated where he should have been. Cam Thomas's 25 overrates what people think of him. It's like that. It's like the mindset of where you are with it. Like, and it says like probably Jerry Stackhouse. Probably people thought like, yo, he's one of the best scorers in basketball. It's like whoa,
I would say that was empty stats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the team
the reason why I have a different perspective on this is because of how much hate these players get. Like Beal,
That's
like
also a fair
it's
point.
funny. I saw a video today, like FaZe Dad popping champagne and throwing a celebration because the Suns, like a big diehard Sun fan, going crazy because they got rid of him.
well,
I feel like
his contract was
the contract was abysmal.
Wasn't there?
Because he had
Tommy
inflated
show.
stats.
It wasn't
his
his fault.
agent. His agent
It wasn't his
deserves.
fault.
His agent deserves a spot in
Yeah,
That's a
Springfield.
fact.
That being said, players like Beal and Levine get so much hate. Levine doesn't get hate. I think Levine gets underrated. Those Bulls teams around him are very mediocre.
Levine doesn't get talked about.
That's also a fact.
Whenever people speak about him, I feel like we don't appreciate him as one of the best scorers in this era.
I feel like most people just say he's injury prone.
Yes.
Oh, like for the most part,
what's the criteria for that?
He's one of the best
shooters,
shooters, one of the best
period?
Athletes, one of the best finishers.
What's the cutoff period?
Like 2018.
No, I'm asking a number of players.
Well, I feel like that's kind of the
current guys,
basically.
Most,
yeah.
But John, I'm asking like the cutoff for the players.
So
like you said, he's one of the best.
He's one of the number. You're looking for a number.
He's one of the best scorers of this era. Does that mean he's in top 15? He's a top 10 player.
You say like top 25.
You can't tell me he's one of the best scorers of the era. He's like 40.
Among the shooting guard position, I would say he's top 5 scorer.
Wait, what?
Woo! Let's get some names.
Right now, you're saying?
Yeah,
you can't. Yeah, you have to. He's the same player.
The last 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're I don't know. So like I'm thinking about once I pull up the scoring stats.
D-Book, Donovan Mitchell,
Anthony Edwards,
Harden. Shea counts a point guard. Let's count Harden. Last 4 or 5 years, I would say Levine's been the better scorer. Levine's been the better scorer in Harden last 4 years.
Yeah, but when you say you're of the generation, like
you
don't even think about it. I mean,
like
it's Harden.
2020.
Well, Harden ain't this generation.
I know it said 2018. If you want to start 2018, I'd say he's like top 5, top 6.
If you want to start 2018, Harden clears Levine.
Yes, that's why I said 2018. That's why I said 6. That's why I said 6.
18, 19.
Including Harden.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know his cutoff for him.
You narrowed it down to just shooting guards.
He did do that.
When you said at first he's one of the best scorers.
He did do that.
Because you're asking for me to quantify.
Nah, if you say one of the best, you can't just limit it to one position.
Yeah.
If you say like one of the best, you have to look at all 5 positions.
I'm not going to sit here and BS.
No, because he doesn't want. It's fair because like you don't want to throw a creating scorer guard next to Giannis and Jokic and guys like that because it's not going to be comparable.
Yeah, but if you say
one of they're so much better, that's
but just talk guards and don't cut it to just 2 guards.
Yeah,
you got to put guards.
Jalen Brunson's over him.
There you go.
I agree.
There you go.
Yeah, give me a year on Trey.
To me, the roundabout.
Give me a year.
The roundabout point with this is that I'm not calling Zach LaVine empty stats player. I'm not saying you guys are either. Yeah. But because of just how good he is of a scorer and just how complete his scoring repertoire is, I mean, talking about one of the best 3-point shooters, one of the best athletes, one of the best mid-range shooters, and one of the best finishers.
And his teams consistently are better when he's not on the floor.
You love to do this with the on and off data.
That might be a good barometer for inflated too.
But he has like a 10-year sample size. Like it's not just like
10 years is unfair.
He takes like long shot clock.
He was hurt
a lot
for
of
like
usage.
the first 3.
Like Zach LaVine will get remembered in a positive way.
Yeah, I think it's a weird case where he's efficient and he's productive.
He's not a playmaker. That's what it is.
Not a great. No, not.
It just takes too much of
average. Yeah.
The Bulls teams that
he's a buck getter. That's what he is.
One Bulls team that was good in 2021 before Lonzo's injury.
For 40 games.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I'm playing to your point.
They were better when he was off the floor that year. Yes.
Like fact check.
What was his best team that Levine's been on? What was the best team?
I think 2021 Bulls.
Yeah.
And they weren't. But
DeRozan was a star on those teams.
Point. Yeah. And like he's never been on basically a good team ever.
No.
Honestly, no.
And that's gotta be partially on him.
What year was that?
Yeah.
2021.
Only partially though. To your point.
You know, this is where I have a hard time.
Would you put LaVine over DeMar DeRozan as a scorer?
I was thinking that before. I was like, they were on the.
He's a more versatile scorer. He can
like
do it
DeMar is more effective.
DeMar's a better player. DeMar's a better player.
DeMar's
but that's where it's such a tricky. It's such a tricky conversation. I feel like LaVine's kind of almost an outlier because you made a good point before. If it's not impactful, it is empty stats. I don't look at LaVine as the most impactful, especially as number 1. Not number 1 at all. Number 2, not the most impactful because of those complementary skills like passing, off-ball defense, and all those ancillary skills that are so important for number 2. But like when you quantify just scoring, it's like, damn, like he's so efficient. I can't put him in that same bubble as a guy like maybe. I think Bradley Beal is a name you could throw out for empty stats, but it's very tough for me to put a guy that's like 64, 65% true shooting.
I can't put Beal in empty stats if LaVine isn't.
Beal's like I said, Beal has been the poster child of it for me for a while. RJ Barrett is another great example in that in both places that he's been in his time.
Yes. Yeah, RJ for sure. I think
he'd be shooting like 30% from 3 half a time.
So okay,
Not this year, but
the year with the Bulls, this has been LaVine's career.
Yeah, you fried.
Overall, on and off.
You fried like shit.
-11 first year, -6.3 second year, -2.6 third year, -5.8 fourth year. Fifth year was a +4.7. Sixth year -4.1. Seventh year +2.6. Eighth year -0.7. Ninth year -1.7. 10th year minus 4.2. And this past season with the Bulls, before he got traded, he was a plus 9.2. It was the most positive he's been in his career. And then with the Kings this year, in 1,170 possessions, he was a minus 10 with the Kings. So there's only been 3 instances in Zach LaVine's career where he's been a positive on and off.
Which isn't it's not always fair, but when it's so consistent like that year after year, like it's a good point.
Like I just feel like there can't be nothing to it. Maybe there's nothing, but maybe there is something there.
Yeah.
Cam Thomas is a good one. I feel like.
I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just. Go ahead.
Like he was a minus 10 with the Kings.
Right. Yeah, it's also a small sample size. The way I look at this is separating scoring from the impact of the overall player. I feel like the scoring is different than the overall player. I don't look at Zach LaVine as put him in the perfect situation.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. I felt like,
but his role would be very refined down to like 19, 20 a game.
Yeah, like a lower.
So
lower
that emptiness score is the whatever 4, 5, 6. Whatever
he'll still probably get his 22.
But I don't know. Is there something?
Probably like 24.
Is there something to be said about like him being so productive and efficient,
54,
but
83.
no team is ever looking to get him?
That's always been strange. I mean, but like NBA front offices kind of get that. The bucket getters, they let them go.
He shot
except for Beal.
40.
He
shot 44% from the 3-point line in 7 attempts.
No, yeah,
like when you compare him to
efficient.
Devin Booker. Devin Booker's one of the best scorers
D-Book
in the NBA's history. He's a better shooter than D-Book.
Yeah,
he's a better athlete than D-Book.
Yeah,
D-Book's a better playmaker though. Also,
a way better playmaker.
That's where the
D-Book
and like that makes him a great
player.
That makes him. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right. I see what you're saying.
Like as a scorer,
I see what you're getting at. I see what you're getting
at.
And you can throw empty stats a little bit out the window when you talk about best
he's
scorers.
He's the Kevin Martin of this era. LaVine.
Was Kevin Martin the empty stats player?
I can't even. Like I remember watching, but I just can't.
He just scores 20, but like they don't win games. That's it.
All right, but here's the thing with just winning games. Like, are we just putting that solely on these players because they score a lot that they have to win these games? Because I feel like a lot of these
guys, it's like a quarterback thing in the NFL.
A lot of these guys
wins.
we're talking about, their teams were legit ass cheeks.
That's like Beal. It's the same thing. We're like, but the point is that if Beal scores 27 a game for the Wizards, the emptiness is the Sixers. It's not all empty. He's obviously still a 20-point per game scorer in the NBA. It's just like there's a lot more emptiness than there is to other guys. It's the same thing. That's funny. Like the quarterback win stats in the NFL is a similar thing. I feel like there's a little more grain of salt in football, but it's similar.
I don't expect these high-profile scorers that don't pass to go get wins consistently.
Yeah, I think
we missed out. There's a big breed of empty stats players. It's centers who are poor finishers. I'm not gonna say they get me bounds per se.
DeMarcus Cousins.
I'm thinking of guys like Andre Drummond, DeMarcus Cousins to an extent, but not fully.
Nice.
Not fully.
I'm just asking.
And maybe even Hassan Whiteside for a year or two. Like
Brian, don't get me started on
his
the
stats were
quarterback
kind
win
of weak,
stat.
so I don't even.
Well, Hassan Whiteside's leading the league rebounding and blocks.
What was he, like 14,
you guys are in
14?
And then like
no,
he had
I don't
3
think
points
we
on
disagree.
blocks one season.
I can't call blocks an empty stat. Like
no,
that's tough. Yeah,
that's different. But like
rebounds are one of the most guys that get like a lot of rebounds.
Poor finishing big
tall,
that gets his own misses.
You better get your own rebounds all the time.
Hey, somebody get him. Like I can't.
I understand, but
like,
people are like,
no,
that's the DeAndre Ayton thing. Yeah. That's a good example of empty stat. A lot of empty stats for me. DeAndre Ayton, and
like Chris Humphries double.
People point to Ayton now and Lakers fans, and they're like, but DeAndre Ayton is nice. Like he's been averaging a double. He's one of like 3 players to do that in every season or whatever that stat is. I'm like, yeah, DeAndre Ayton's double ain't no like, he double. That's not like that.
Empty stat is that Thaddeus Young stat where he averaged like I think he was like.
So would you put
like
Ayton at empty stats table?
Yeah, I said I would.
In Portland for sure.
I would say to a degree, him and DeMarcus Cousins are. Hassan Whiteside. I feel like Andre Drummond's a good example of
Hassan Whiteside's a good one.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if Boogie belongs in that tier.
Because Boogie was inefficient. I want to be careful. Good passer, one of the highest turnover rates in the entire NBA because he wasn't the most consistent decision maker. Correct. That's part of it. Kind of like the Beal point. When I think of empty stats, like the first name I think of is Jerry Stackhouse putting up 30 a game. And I think Beal's an extension of that to a lesser degree because we saw him on a super impact.
Can't even say respect Jerry. I don't.
I think the
Vanderbilt old coach. That's all I know about.
I don't think quarterbacks is a win stat. Wins is a quarterback stat. I don't think so. I just think there's too many variables in a football game to like just place the win on a quarterback because like for example, let's say the quarterback gets his kicker in a field goal range and he misses a game-winning kick and they lose.
There's so many. Me and my certain group of friends argue about this all the time. And first of all, 2 of them are Eagles fans. That's why this comes up. And
Eagles fans are the only ones defending them.
And I love Jalen Hurts too, but like it's hard to like keep being so nice and positive about it when their fans are like that. But they like there's so many factors in a football game and on a football field of things that like offensive line on the offensive side alone, playmakers and offensive line and scheme and coaching style, the other team you're playing against, a million different things. People are like, it goes back to the Justin Herbert thing and like people who I think he's a great barometer for people's just like thoughts as an NFL fan and for quarterbacks. If they think Justin Herbert's not good because he hasn't won anything, they're absolutely bugging. It's that simple.
Yeah, like I think there's good arguments to be made for Jalen Hurts being an exceptional quarterback that just don't involve winning. It just seems like that's the only thing people grasp to when they want to compare these quarterbacks. They just say, oh, he's just better because he wins. And it's like there's better arguments for why you can maybe argue he's better, but it's not wins.
The biggest falling point of NFL discourse is how much we tend to reduce it to the individual, not the collective. Because like you said, there's 22 players in the field at one time. Yeah. And each player has, to a degree, certain responsibilities that if you're in a role where everyone around you is doing their job at a high level, that shouldn't be reduced to one player. It should be the entire
and there's even 44 players because you're like offensive defense, you have 22 on each side of the ball for each team, whatever that is. And like it goes like a Joe Burrow is a good example. He wasn't going to win MVP last year because like they weren't going to. They had to make the playoffs. Like it's a whole thing, whatever. But he had one of the best seasons you've seen in a long time. And people that think like I have friends, they literally say like I'll take Hurts over Burrow because Hurts did one because of this and that. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that because Burrow borderline could have won MVP last year.
Burrow had his best season and they missed the playoffs. And I saw that too, where it's like comparing Jalen Hurts the year before in 2023, the Eagles won 11 games. They had their second half collapse. And their defense was very bad. One of the worst in football. Awful. It was the worst in football.
Hilarious collapse.
The Bengals defense was the worst in football. And that was used as the case of Jalen Hurts brought out that team to the playoffs, but Burrow didn't. Well, are we going to completely overlook the offensive line differences between two teams?
Yeah,
I mean, that's where I'm like, what are we doing?
I was going on a little bit of a deep dive on that, like specific comparison, because the 2024 Bengals versus the 2023 Eagles. Well, the Bengals had a bad defense and Burrow didn't make the playoffs, and the Eagles had a bad defense and the Eagles did make the playoffs. Okay, well, there's some data in there that proves as to why like every facet of the side of football matters. Number one, the Eagles by ranking were worse than the Bengals, but not by actual allowed points per game. The Bengals defense allowed 25.5 points per game, and the Eagles defense allowed 25.2 points per game. So the Bengals defense allowed more points per game on a per game basis, and that accounted for over 5 points for the totality of the season.
Really?
0.3 is like, is it
0.3 really average out to 5 more points?
Yeah, because 0.3 times 17.
Oh, wow.
Because 17 games, 20. So it's basically 5 more points that you're giving up per the entire season. But even then, that's not the biggest reason why I think the Eagles won 11 games versus the Bengals winning 9. Field goal kicking played a huge factor in it. It's the biggest factor.
Shout out to Jake.
The Bengals,
they were out of nowhere.
The Bengals were 28th in field goal percentage this past season. The Eagles were 5th in field goal percentage in 2023. That right there in itself is the reason why the Eagles were able to win more games. Just those moments, because the Eagles, Jake Elliott went 14 for 15 on field goals, 40 or 50 yards away from the field goal post.
He was a demon that year, bro.
Evan McPherson went, I think, 6 for 12.
He sucked last year out of nowhere too. Like, I don't like that's crazy.
The Bengals and the Eagles, they both played in 11 one-score games. In those 11 games, the Eagles were 8-3 in their one-score games.
Hurts clutch, baby.
And the Bengals were 4-7. But here's the thing. When looking at some of the variance in those numbers, the defense got some stops late in the games for the Eagles, where you look at the Cowboys game, they stopped them 2 times. Once turnover on downs, once was a fumble. Versus the Bills, Jalen Hurts, 5 touchdown game. He was incredible in that game, and he had the game-winning touchdown in overtime. But to get into overtime, the Eagles were down by 3 points. Jake Elliott had to kick a 59-yard field goal in pouring rain to even get the Eagles into overtime. The Bengals versus the Ravens, when Joe Burrow threw for 5 touchdowns, they had a game-winning field goal opportunity, 53 yards, and McPherson missed it. So Jake Elliott making that kick and sending the game into overtime versus McPherson missing it was the difference between a win and a loss.
That's a crazy pull.
Yeah, that is a win-loss swing. Yeah. Versus the Chiefs, the Eagles got to stop on the Chiefs to win the game. That defense got to stop. But 2 plays before, Mahomes threw a pass perfectly in MVS's hands that he dropped, and that could have been a swing that the Chiefs could have won the game. And the Bengals game, when they played the Chiefs, the Bengals defense got a defensive pass interference, and that put the Chiefs in field goal range, and Harrison Butker hit the game-winning kick. So there were moments where Joe Burrow was not on the field in control of the outcome, and that's why they lost.
Football is the ultimate team sport. Special teams, special players.
Yeah.
And it goes back to...
And I'm looking at the numbers overall, like, because I did this yesterday.
Shit's hilarious.
Or are you on the other side? Do you think like wins are a quarterback stat? Like raw in itself, like this guy wins more than this guy. It's like he's better, obviously.
I think it's
never that simple.
I think it favors in people's
discourse and
I think sometimes people use it to favor their opinion when it's fitting on their side. Yeah, when it's convenient.
That's totally fair.
I'm not one of those Eagles fans that are very big on Hurts wins us all these games. Hurts has
better winner.
I gotta be honest. I knew you were an Eagles fan a minute ago, but I forgot you were when I even brought that up.
Yeah, so, I don't. So when the Hurts, like, I'm very calm in the fact that I know my team is just so much better than everybody else's team. So I don't even have to go in there and be like, oh, Hurts wins that, this, that. I'm not the big, so I don't do that.
Yeah. So like I'm looking at it versus the Patriots in 2023. The Eagles got a stop on defense to win the game.
Pick the Patriots
versus the Cowboys. The defense got 2 straight stops to win the game. Versus the Bills, Jake Elliott sent the game into overtime. Versus the Chiefs, the defense got a stop to beat the Chiefs. Versus the Seahawks, they lost because Hurts threw a game-losing interception. Versus the Giants, the defense got a stop to win that game. And versus the Cardinals, Hurts threw an interception, game-losing, but it was like with little time left on the clock. And almost half of the Eagles' one-score victories, the defense was the unit that was on the field the last, and they were able to get the stop to win. In those one-score games, Burrow versus Hurts, which was 11, they both played 11 one-score games. Burrow averaged 315 yards per game and 35 touchdowns with 7 turnovers and a 120.2 passer rating. Hurts in those one-score games averaged 261.7 yards per game. That's total yardage, including his rushing as well. 29 total touchdowns, 13 turnovers, and a 93.6 rating. So in those one-score games, Burrow had over 50 more yards, more touchdowns. He had 6 less turnovers in those games and a plus 26.6 passer rating. And it just goes to show like the kicking played that big of effect on the wins and losses. And in moments where the Bengals defense was on the field last to get a stop, they weren't able to pull out the victory and get a stop. So there's a lot of variance in like one-score victories as a whole. Yeah. And I don't think it boggles down just to the quarterbacks. And like even with the numbers that I mentioned for Hurts in these one-score games, Hurts was incredible. It's not like Hurts was really good in these games. It's not knocking him.
Yeah, he rocks.
But it's like they didn't win because of Hurts. Solely. He played because the Eagles won. Jalen Hurts didn't win one-score games. The Eagles won one-score games. Just like Joe Burrow didn't solely lose one-score games, the Bengals lost one-score games.
There is a factor.
There's a healthy medium to that, though.
I was just about to say there's a factor of like Burrow has gotten a Super Bowl. He's won at a decent rate. I brought up Herbert before as another really good example of a guy who hasn't been able to win. At some point, there needs to be translatable wins because that's the goal. That's what they're doing. And especially a guy like Justin Herbert is a great example. He's had 2 different regimes and styles, and now they're like starting to put the weapons together and the pieces of like, okay, if he can't win, it doesn't have to be right now. If it's this year or next year, if he can't figure out to win at a higher level, like there's something about him, obviously, in that aspect of like, it's not just all like I'm big at analytics, data, numbers also. Yeah. And you're totally right. I'm with you. But it's like, there's a point of like, why can't we win?
There was a year, I think the 2011 Chargers, they were first in offense, they were first in defense. They missed the playoffs because they were 32nd in special teams. Yeah. That's why. So, like, every facet matters. So, it's interesting because the Bengals this past season in 2024, they had a +3 point differential on the season. The Eagles in 2023 had a plus 0.2 point differential. So, the Bengals point differential was actually better than the 2023 Eagles. They just got 2 less wins, and it's because of those close ones. Yeah. Those close ones. It's because of the field goal kicking plays a part. When you're 5th in percentage and field goal percentage, and another team is 28th, those points matter, and it just goes to show like how everything matters, and that's the thing with football. Everything matters.
66 players on the field, really. It's crazy.
Yeah, everything matters, but people just boggle it down to wins. But back to this young player list.
We never got the report.
Ranking the top 5 most interesting young cores in NBA.
Where are we at?
I mentioned the Suns because they need to prove themselves. The Charlotte Hornets.
Oh yeah, I was next.
The Charlotte Hornets were the other team I mentioned.
Chicago, baby. Chicago is number 4 for me because It's a tricky. It's not even tricky.
What's intriguing? Honestly, what's intriguing?
It's not intriguing. It's interesting in the sense of who's their guy. That's for me. You have Josh Giddey, right? You have Josh Giddey, and he's
the first name he mentions.
That's the guy. That's the guy they're gonna pay the most.
Is that your guy?
No, not at all. But I feel like Chicago has this weird. Let me not say weird. They have a different vision for Giddey that we all have. For a sense of we kind of understand the type of players. I think they think bigger. They think he's going to be a much better player down the road. And that's fine if you think that he played a little bit better because just he had the ball more in his hands for you as opposed to OKC. OKC is a winning formula. And I think him not being able to play in that type of winning formula kind of should give you that side eye like, all right, well, maybe not. But now you have Noah there. You have Matas Buzelis. I think Noah was kind of one of those project players also that was coming from overseas. And then Matas also is a guy who popped a lot of flashes, but played on like one of the worst. They're not a G League team. I forgot what they're called. Yeah, played on like one of the worst Ignite teams.
Terrible.
Yeah, they were worse than D3 college teams. Like
I think they won a couple.
They won like 2-3, but it was tough.
It was him and Ron Holland. Just like
it was worse than Jalen Green team. It was bad, really bad.
Oh, yeah.
But Matas, he showed flashes last year. But with them, Chicago, for me, the interesting part about it is you drafted Noah, who's a project. You have Matas Buzelis. You have Josh Giddey. But there's no ascending trait, I feel like, with either three guys. And I feel like for them, it's just about rounding out and bringing in more talent and bringing in more youth and finally picking a direction, because that's really the intriguing part about all this. When is Chicago going to pick, for real pick, and stay true to that direction? And when they start doing that, maybe we can see how good the development is, because they did develop Kobe White really well. Ayo Dosunmu has been a really good role player for them, and I think that's important. Lonzo got there and was good before the injury. Still a okay, good player, but he obviously just got traded. So it's really going to be interesting to see how they just because Chicago, one thing about them, they'll put butts in the seat always, no matter who's on the court, because they sell out. They're like a top 5 sellout team since like 1998 or some shit like that. The market is nutty. On top of that, they know how to make the play in. As we can see over the last 2 or 3 years,
they're the biggest tweener team ever, and at some point, they're already years behind of when they should have done this. They need to just kick the curb and be like, everyone get out, everyone get the fuck out, and then like we have to just completely reset. And they're unwilling to do that because of the market they are. I think.
Yep.
That's kind of what the Knicks were too, and like it took them so long, the Knicks, to get back to being relevant at all. And then finally, they're at an idea of like things ended up being really good timing for them, but I feel like Chicago's in what the Knicks were like 5-10 years ago.
Yeah, you think about it, the Knicks have been able to have this ascension because they hit on arguably the best bargain free agent deal in history with Jalen Brunson. Like, Jalen Brunson, for as good as he was in Dallas, nobody thought he was going to be an All-NBA performer, MVP caliber type of player. So, like, the Knicks were able to hit on that type of move, and you either have to hit on a move that is, like, so clear it's like an outlier, or you have to hit on the draft and like draft a clear blue chip prospect.
He was only coming to the Knicks, by like the Bucks with Giannis. So he was only coming to the Knicks too. So like, there's a little bit of like, well, what else is everyone else supposed to do about that? Like you can't just get.
Was the biggest domino, but so many things had to go right for the Knicks because they had Dolan step away, was focused in the sphere, and then you have Leon Rose coming. He's made a series of great moves, and Brunson was the most important one. For the Bulls, it's really like you highlighted. Anyone can win 37 to 42 games if you try to. The difference is that most teams don't try to, except the 4 teams that do it every single year.
The small markets can afford to be like, we're going to be asked for 2 or 3 years, or 5 years even, like the Wizards are doing now. And teams like the Bulls and the Lakers are just very, very similar.
Is Washington a small market?
In basketball-wise, it is.
I would say it's one of the bigger markets.
I think it's like a mid.
It is, but I think in terms of the NBA markets, it's not. Yeah,
it's a small market.
Because I'm thinking like they're in DC and shit.
There's less pressure on them because of the basketball success or the lack of it they've had. Where teams that have had it, or they're in LA or something like that.
Is Atlanta considered a mid-market?
Small. Mid-market,
one of the bigger markets.
They're considered mid, especially for basketball too.
Okay.
Because they've been mid.
Felt that heavy.
I guess I just judge
that's the answer.
I guess I just judge off the size
of the city. I get that.
Also, like
it's a whole like TV demographic thing too. It's crazy.
Atlanta's it's the Georgia Bulldogs and it's the Atlanta Braves. That's what Atlanta is.
Exactly.
It's more of a football city.
I think so.
College football. This overall in Georgia.
Yeah, people tell me that they don't care about the Falcons either.
Because funny enough, John, for that, Indiana is more of a college basketball state.
Now it's just basketball.
Yeah, now it's bad. But before it used to be just straight college basketball.
I don't know. Pacer fans get turned up.
They
now
do, but yeah. Before it used to be.
They did with like PG.
They've had so many great teams. The VO team.
But they don't have a dedicated market like they do now.
If you notice, where all the old legendary like basketball movies come from, Indiana. Love it. They love it over there.
Gotta be high school basketball just as big.
It's crazy.
Oh, for sure.
One of the next teams I had the Wizards as a team that is an interesting young core.
Yep.
I just think they've taken a lot of swings. Like obviously the players they've drafted, but then bringing in Cam Whitmore in there, it's like that's a swing that maybe it pans out. But then again, he's going to a place that like there's no opportunity
I'm not giving
at all.
Up, ever.
So
y'all
the Wizards are
interesting.
Cam
Reddish too.
No. It's
sorry.
Like the Tom Baker.
I don't like Cam.
That was not cool. That was not cool at all.
That's
at what you
Riz
just did, bro.
Cam Reddish.
Cool.
Yeah, you hit him low.
Yeah, he's supposed
Cam
to be
Whitmore,
the greatest,
Cam
man.
Reddish.
I'm never trading my Cam Whitmore stock. I'll take that shit till it plummet like
down to the
grave.
grave. Down to the grave you go.
Until that shit is zero.
Until Cam Reddish says, "I'm retiring."
No, you'll never catch
AJ Griffin.
Cam Whitmore.
AJ Griffin.
My Cam Whitmore stock. I know if I
one.
say Cam Reddish, there's never a Cam Reddish.
The Blazers, you mentioned them too for all the reasons, and I think they're interesting. And then the last team I had was an easy one, but just the Spurs. I just think they just are. I think there's clearly going to be star talent there with Harper, Bryant, Wemby, and Stephon Castle.
Yeah,
I think there's a realistic chance they could take that leap this year and really become a threat. But there's no doubt in my mind that this is going to be one of the scariest teams in the league.
Somebody tweeted AJ Mitchell is better than Stephon Castle.
No, he's not. AJ Mitchell's nice.
Killed me
AJ
though when I read
nice,
the tweet. My last two teams, because I had Washington, Chicago. I had Charlotte up there for sure. More was just my interest for Charlotte was more just how many of these guys are actually going to be there the next 2 or 3 years. That's really how I feel about it. Like, is LaMelo going to be the guy for this young core? They're going to just be like, you know what, Brandon Miller, your turn. Is Brandon Miller going to be here? And they're just like, nope, whoever we draft, your turn. Like, they're just one of your teams is up here though. Well, your team is up here for me. It's the Atlanta Hawks. It's interesting because what we saw last year. And probably, I want to say the conversation started like 2 years ago, potentially Trae Young leaving Atlanta and him being traded and him maybe not being the guy. Then I feel like Atlanta went on just a whole different rehaul of just bringing in different guys that can benefit next to Trae. They tried the DeJounte Murray experience. Did not work. Ended up getting back Dyson Daniels, which worked wonders.
Hallelujah, we got it for free. Oh my God.
Don't ever forget I told you about that Dyson
Daniels.
Oh
my God.
And then they brought in Zachary Richichet, who was really strong for his rookie campaign. And Jalen Johnson kind of broke out onto the scene last year. So now it's just an interesting dynamic where I wrote down all these 5 players. This might be the starting lineup. Trae, Dyson, JJ, Richichet, Onyeka. Obviously, Porzingis there, so it's probably not. But just those 5 young players led by Trae Young. He's one of my disappointments.
They just drafted also. They got dogs.
He played well in Summer League though.
Buffkin the first game.
There was a game he shot like 5 for like 30 or something.
We're not talking about.
What we're not gonna do is inflate the damn stats.
What I text you about Buffkin?
He's 0 for 10 right now. Buffkin.
He was rough, but he looked okay as a ladder. Oh man, I don't know.
He looked slow.
I was a very big.
Looked like he couldn't get separation.
I didn't want him.
He was supposed to dominate. He did not dominate. They did give him the keys, and he just. But that's the topic for another day because Kobe Buffkin hasn't gotten the same because he's been hurt. Like me and John was looking this up. He's been hurt the last 2 years a lot, so doesn't have enough game film to him. But for me, Atlanta, man, it's just like they've made these moves. They're prepared to try to make a run in the East. It's just the make or break year for Trae Young in a sense. Like, is that the thing? What are we gonna get from Dyson Daniels next year? What are we gonna get from Richichet? Jalen Johnson coming back. They were, if I'm not mistaken, they broke dead even for the most part when Jalen Johnson did play last year. Then he went down. Yeah. So what do you like? This is a exciting year, I feel like, for Atlanta and this young youth. Because even if they do move off Trae, I still feel like they'll be in a good position because they do have good young talent.
I want to piggyback off that. I had the Hawks number 4. They have a very interesting team coming this year. I think one of the biggest things that maybe isn't talked about is that they lack ball handling outside of Trae, and they should have it to some degree. And that's part of why I watched that first Summer League game of Kobe Buffkin. I'm like, all right, 29, a lot of people at the foul line. But what I liked out the draft.
15 for 15.
Yeah. What I liked out the draft was his ball handling. I feel like that was one of his best skills. And then you kind of coincide that with Jalen Johnson, played 36 games, 5 assists, and you wonder just how much that can be activated with Porzingis spacing the floor at the 5. And then, like you said, Richichet and Dyson Daniels, what they become on the offensive end. We know what they are defensively for the most part.
I love, man, ever since he got to Ignite, I love Dyson. When they traded DeJounte and got him, I was like, there's no way we just got out of this. We just got out of this the worst situation possible. Yeah. We got lucky, but we fleeced the Pelicans because that's what happens with this relationship. But they're building the Hawks. I'm like, I actually don't like how much hype the Hawks are getting. I get it because the East is like open and it's how these teams get built now. Like the Patriots have gotten built and stuff, but like a lot of times these teams disappoint. That happens and that might happen, but the way they're building this team is how they needed to from the start with Trey. They got the Eastern Conference Finals. They tried to piggy off that team, but they did that for too long. And now they're at a team that has tons of length and versatility, defensive versatility, especially athleticism and shooting and secondary playmaking around him, which is what you need to succeed. And that's why the Magic were the biggest rumored team to trade for him. Everyone was like, it'd be perfect because they had a bunch of big athletes and a need for a guard. And even if it was small like that, that's why Garland was rumored and stuff. And the team is built to succeed with Trey, the best that it's honestly ever been, better than when they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, because that was like, somehow he got to the Eastern Conference Finals thanks to Ben Simmons. So it kind of is what it is. But I'm excited for the team. I think that I can't believe the offseason they had. It was literally a week long. All of a sudden they trade 22 for Porzingis. Yep. They traded from 13 back to 21 to get 22 to get their guy they were going to take at 13. I know for a fact they were going to take him. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it's just
And you got a 2026 first round pick.
And we got a free pick.
What a insane.
Even though I love Derek Queen, we won't slander him. We'll slander the Pelicans.
Maryland
now
boy.
that the dust is settled, do you still kind of regret that, or you're just happy that they fleeced the Pelicans and got that 26 first?
I regret them not getting Derek Queen. When I saw Derek Queen was about to get drafted, I was like, oh my God, there's no way this is happening right now. I'm going to go crazy. No, I'm happy with it. It's fine. We don't need a Kongwu. We have guys, even like Mo Gay is good, and like we'll be fine. We don't need Derek Queen.
What is his name?
Mo Gay.
Muhammad Gay. He's actually solid.
G-U-E-Y-E.
No,
his name is Mo Gay. His name is Mo Gay.
I'm with you.
Maybe if you just saw it surface level, you probably say Guy.
Let me see.
Yeah. G-U-E-Y-E.
Muhammad Guy, but no,
do you want me to wrap it up real fast? My list. I gave Wizards the first one. And
you're cooking. Guy. I would have definitely did a Guy.
Wizards and Blazers for sure, for obvious reasons, like we mentioned with the young guys. The Spurs, because I think that not only are they obviously great, their young core, how good can they be? Like, can they be a legit dynasty? I don't know if that's as simple in the current NBA like landscape, but how good can they be? And I think Dylan and Wemby are going to be the duo for the next literally 6, 7. Shouldn't have said that. 7 or 8 years. But
something I wanted to get off my chest as it pertains to the Spurs young core. Castle Harper guards with Wemby, so it kind of leaves Fox in flux. But here, I'm not heading in the direction you think I'm heading.
Okay.
I think that the framing of having these 3 guards has been all negative when I think it's a complete positive.
Yeah. Castle can play the 3.
I look at other
100%.
teams, not too far, not to go so far in history, but as of recently, the 2020 bubble OKC Thunder having Chris Paul, Shea, and then Schroeder off the bench. That was their identity, having the 3 guard lineup
the Suns
and leaning into that
campaign.
They can if they get enough shooting out of it.
Yeah.
The problem is Castle and Fox is shooting, and even Dylan at times, but Dylan is not going to be the sharpshooter.
None of them are knockdown shooters.
That's going to be the problem. I think Fox will get phased out at some point, but like you said, Stephon Castle in college was not a 1 guard, not one bit, not at all. And I don't think he is a 1 guard at his best role. I think he's more refined and efficient as a 2 or 3 playing next to those guys. So and also even if you don't play all 3 of them at the same time, especially in year 1 for Dylan, maybe if they're a really good playoff team, he's the 6th man. He could be a 6th man of the year.
I think for them to have 3 guards that can create advantages in a half court, I think is a luxury. At least for this season, I think it's a major positive for the Spurs that they can have 3 players that can take pressure off of Wemby.
Yeah, it's tricky because Dylan, I love his game, but the biggest question is his shooting because he has some bad misses in there. And you wonder if him and Castle are playing off the ball, just how much that affects Wemby's development.
I feel like it's kind of the shooting is definitely there. I feel like it's kind of his first step. I don't feel like he has much juice off that first step. He's more of a guard he's going to get to his spots by overpowering smaller defenders.
It's like Cade, yeah.
Yes. But in terms of just having that burst and just beating somebody, I don't know if that is
I'm not worried about
at the top.
He'll be okay. And he's big enough, his long strides.
Yeah.
He's like a generationally good rim finisher for anybody, especially a guard. But then again, Fox gets downhill, they'll be okay. But I think it comes on Wemby, honestly.
They do have a lot of downhill guys.
Yeah, and it comes on Wemby's health and stuff and whatever. But
it's also
they need Carter Bryant to be a good shooter. They need Jeremy Sohan to be. They need him to be better. They need Vassell to be lights out all the time, never off. They need Keldon to shoot the ball better. They need a lot of shooting and things to go their way.
What I want to see from Fox, I just want to see him be more of a downhill guard again.
Yep.
I feel like he settles for a lot of mid-range jump shots, especially over the last 2 seasons. He's settled for more jump shots than usual.
Here's my question to that, and that's why I'm not super high on the Spurs just jumping up into like a top 6 because the shooting is questionable and they have a lot of logjam in terms of just guys who want to go downhill. Like Castle wants to go downhill. Dylan Harper wants to go downhill. You're probably gonna have the best shooter in your lineup is probably Wemby. So I think that right there, like you want Fox to go downhill more, but I feel like he's probably gonna have to settle a little bit more for jumpers. Like teams are gonna leave Castle open. They're gonna leave Dylan Harper open for the most part. They're gonna leave guys like Sohan
they have
open.
To, yeah.
Yeah, like they're just gonna have to. So it's like the team still lacks that shooting threat that you would like to see. Like outside of probably Harrison Barnes and Wemby, Vassell, which Vassell isn't like a knockdown 3-point shooter either. Like you don't have too much guys who can just stand there, come off the move, and shoot the 3-ball.
They should be able to find those guys relatively easy also, but like they don't have them right now. Like for the most part, I think Vassell could be like. I mean,
they're going to dominate the paint. No, they're going to dominate the paint this year.
That's why
they need Wemby just to be like a literal joke and like play 65 plus games, and then he like I don't know. I think he's borderline top 5 player in the league already.
I agree with that.
He'll probably win 40 games for sure.
I would say
enough.
That ain't enough.
In the West,
everything for the Spurs. Most importantly, Wemby staying healthy. Obviously, the blood clot was unexpected. It wasn't like an actual injury on the court that he sustained. The thing which I guess it goes back to is there's so much young talent on the Spurs team. There's some guys that are going to get phased out. I think of Keldon Johnson. I would argue maybe Jeremy Sohan now with Carter Bryant coming in. I do feel, given how good of a shooter and scorer that Dylan Vassell is, they shouldn't be quick to phase him out because they do need that. But I want to go back to my list. Number 5, I had the Blazers. Number 4, I had the Hawks. Number 3, I had the Philadelphia 76ers. The VJ Edgecombe pick really makes things interesting. I think he was the right fit. Number 2, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves. A lot of young talent they're expecting on to kind of segue into the next era. That's the last person I'm thinking of at the same core. I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of players to segue and kind of sustain this contender in the post-Gobert era, and Mike Conley as well for that matter. And then number 1, I had the San Antonio Spurs because this team is the best young core compared to the Thunder. The Thunder NBA champs. I think it's already established what they are. So I think the Spurs are the closest thing to getting there.
Wrap my list real fast. It's funny. My number 1 is the Hawks, just because personally, and I'm just excited to see what they do. Especially the young guys will be the swing guys, the swing skills for them. My number 2, I put OKC B team because they have so many guys. And talk about intriguing. Something has to happen with like Topic, even Aaron Wiggins who doesn't play a ton, AJ Mitchell, all these guys like Thomas Sorber they took who already has an injury, so he's probably not going to play a lot this year for them, their first team. And like I'm just like, what are they going to do? Likely they just keep pushing off guys that they owe big money that they don't want to pay.
Got paid too. Also,
all 3 of them got paid. So what they're probably going to do is when guys are up for payment, like Aaron Wiggins, I think next year, they're gonna push him out and be like, great, we have AJ Mitchell and Topic to come play. When they're due their payments, whoever we drafted 2 years ago will be the next guy, and then let's keep doing that.
Because Case and Wallace is the next up. I'm assuming.
I forgot about Case. I think Aaron Wiggins is next.
No, he got paid already.
Oh, he did.
$330.
Right.
They're set up perfectly.
Case and Wallace, forgot about him too. I love him. He's the best. Like
they paid their 3 stars and they're set perfectly just to assuage like the second apron because Hardenstein will be gone eventually. Sorber will, in theory, be the fill-in, and they can do that with every single position because they keep It's insane to think they have AJ Mitchell. What's up?
No, go ahead.
It's crazy to think they have AJ Mitchell, Nikola Topic, and then all these other guys are finally like
and
Chris
then
Youngblood on
later years.
They keep.
They're just gonna keep doing it, and they take guys in the second round that end up being good because it's just like if you want to be good long term, you just hope you get drafted by the Thunder. It's that simple.
Yeah.
My 5 is Washington, Chicago, Charlotte, Hawks, and the Pelicans was my number 1 just because of the simple fact that
they're interesting.
They're interesting as hell because they brought in guys that they're trying this 2 timeline thing. I really feel like they're trying this 2 timeline.
Jeremiah Fears finally had a good game last game too.
Yeah, you see, I ain't even jump off of it because he hasn't been the brightest I wanted to see. I mean, his downhill speed is there, his pace is there. Just hasn't been able to be a good finisher.
The rim reads were I felt the biggest concern.
The what?
The rim reads.
Oh yes. Yeah, no, it's hard. That team just isn't
He's young
good.
though too. He should be finishing up high school this year.
He should, and that's the beauty of life that he can develop. I'm just unfortunate that he might have to develop with the Pelicans.
Yeah. Him and DQ though, I'm with you. Him and DQ, they got like Zion too and DeJounte. Like they have a little bit of like swagger or to them also.
Or there, but like.
The fit is basketball fit.
I don't care. I got Derek Queen and 0 fears. Okay,
fair enough.
Yeah, I do.
No, I think that they have enough guys who are like clearly these guys are so good and talented. Like, please put something together. Just figure something out. I also think
they'll be in good position if they want to rebuild, though. I think that's a good thing. They'll be they'll be in cool.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
I think they got their pick.
I mean, you got Trey, you got Herb, you got Zion. DeJounte coming off an injury. Jose Alvarado's a good backup. Jordan Hawkins, we'll see. Like
they really should imagine they just said Zion, DeJounte, and Vets go packing. Let Trey Murphy be the all-star that he can be, and then we'll prioritize Fears.
Yeah, your best Misi hopefully get better at finishing at the rim.
Yeah.
I think
he needs to.
I think the Pelicans are very, very confusing. You said something. What was your teams? Because you said something. I had something to say.
5 had the Blazers, 4 had the Hawks, number 3 had the Sixers.
Yes, that's what it was. The Sixers.
And Justin Edwards, can't forget about
him. And Janai Broom.
And Don Barlow.
And everybody else.
Adam Bono.
Yeah, there we go. Interesting team.
And Jared McCain. Hey, hold on.
Jared McCain.
McCain, Maxey, and VJ.
Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe.
Trendon Watford.
All similar sizes, similar positions. Interesting to see how that works out. They still are desperately looking for a primary playmaker, and I love how Maxey, he was he was getting interviewed at Summer League, and he was like, been working on my playmaking, just working on being able to make the next read, being a point guard, and I love that because in Kentucky, that brother was just a bucket, straight scorer. I'm not really looking to pass that rock. Still kind of does that a little bit in the league, plays his best next to Embiid. Another interesting about that situation, Embiid, we still don't know what's up with that leg. PG just got surgery on his leg. Got hurt in practice, I'm not mistaken. So the guys that are kind of propelling to lead this roster is going to be Maxey because we don't know what them other two guys health-wise, what is they going to look like. Yeah. Also, you mentioned Justin Edwards. He looked good to end the year. So definitely an interesting team.
Am I crazy to say that I think the Sixers with McCain, Maxey, and Edgecombe, it's even more of a long-term question mark than Fox, Castle, and Harper?
Yeah, because they're smaller.
And I think you don't know. You do know about the quality is good. They're a lot smaller. Where you'd rather play 3 big guys that can't shoot over 3 small guys who can.
Because worst case, Castle could play the 3.
Yeah, agree.
VJ
can play the 3.
He plays bigger than
force.
6'4".
Yeah, man, he's a force.
But
how tall is he? 6'4", 6'5"?
6'4", 6'5".
But he has like a 7'2" wingspan or something.
Yeah, he does not play.
He can move too. He plays well above. He was guarding like 4s in college. He was like, I got it.
But Harper's bigger than McCain and Maxey. Fox is bigger than Max. Both of them actually. I think he's bigger than both.
It's not a far off comparison between the 3 and 3 though. It's actually a good conversation.
That's the question because McCain was best on the ball, and you have Maxey. So
Maxey's best on the ball.
How did they?
Jared can be good off ball, I think.
I agree with that,
but he can't defend 2 guards. So
Maxey can be good off ball with Embiid. I don't know with another guard. I think Maxey, he plays off Embiid.
I think McCain's
really well.
a perfect 6-man. Like he'll win 6 man of the year, like a Peyton
Pritchard. And then VJ off ball.
Actually,
the shooting isn't all the way there. Great cutter though. Great.
But with Maxey, that might work.
If he's improved the playmaking for sure.
So let me ask you. We saw 20 games of Jared McCain, was the best rookie in those 20 games. What do you think his realistic ceiling is, given what he was pre-draft and what you saw as a rookie?
I said Peyton Pritchard before. I think that's perfect role for him. I don't think that's his ceiling. I think he can be better than that. Depends on the team. I think for Philly, they're never going to give up Maxey or VJ. There's no reason in the indefinite future. There's no reason to. So, at some point when they want to turn to winning, they're going to make him the 6th man because VJ is not better than him right this second. We'll see, whatever. But I think skill-wise, too, Peyton Pritchard, 6th man of the year. A lot of other teams would have ended up starting him.
I think you need VJ to start for the defensive intensity.
Right, next to Maxey, that works.
They need all of the things.
That's a great 3-guard rotation, though. If you have those two,
VJ may not give you that offensive punch that McCain gives you, but you need a defensive identity out
Philly
there.
For the longest times, athleticism, motor, toughness. He brings all of those.
But like you said, I think second guessing because McCain looks so good on the ball, playing out of screens and high ball screens and stuff, and playmaking. I'm thinking there's a little bit of untapped potential there a little bit, but it ain't going to come in Philly.
You don't think so?
Maybe, but with Maxey's so good. Oh my God, he's
if
so
Embiid's
good.
healthy, I would agree. If Embiid's not healthy.
Does this not scream
maybe
like maybe a little bit of a better comparison? Walk with me. Toronto, Fred, Lowry, Norman Powell. Just more size relative.
Yeah, more offensive.
That's not bad, though.
Yeah, you know
I just feel like Norman Powell was never a starter on Toronto.
Yeah, I just mean the height and the size, all 6'4", 6'2", 6'3".
They figured it out.
Yeah.
But they had, other guys in team quiet and whatever, so.
How about Goran Dragic, Isaiah Thomas, Brennan? Who was it, Brennan?
Eric Bledsoe.
It's Eric Bledsoe. And then Brandon Knight.
Even Bledsoe, he kind of reminds you of VJ where he plays bigger. Goran was bigger than all of them. He's 6'4", 6'5", long arms. And then Isaiah Thomas is the lone short guy.
At some point, they're gonna have to either Embiid's gonna want to leave or free agent or I guess you retire. Whatever happens, and PG will be gone at some point. They're gonna have to start paying those guys by that point too because they're not gonna let go of Embiid.
I mean, you can't trade Embiid.
I disagree.
I don't think you can with his injury concerns.
Oh, because no one's gonna give you.
I don't think nobody's gonna give you
agree
exactly what you close to the value of what he is. So you're kind of just like,
what would you want for him? Like, what was
for the ID? Like,
if Philly was like, you know what, internally, let's think about it. Let's listen to packages. What package gets them to be like, okay, let's
for a healthy Embiid, I need like 3-4 first.
He's not healthy ever.
So then, like, I'm gonna get.
What are you asking teams? Like, teams come to you. I don't know. Spurs come to you. What are you asking? They're not going to do that because
I need one of them young players.
Which one?
I need Harper or Castle.
Oh, they ain't
their
do
existing
backcourt. I don't think they would do that straight up.
We hang up the phone.
Yeah, I think you can
Castle?
find a team.
Philadelphia has need more players in their backcourt.
I think you can.
No, if I get Castle, I can move McCain right to the bench. Respectfully,
still have a lot of guards. If 4 guards, no one.
You could ask for like a Carter Bryant or somebody in picks.
Yeah,
I think they go the picks route. If they just say like, "Hey, someone give us 4 picks and like 2 young players, we'll take it."
You have Castle and VJ on the wings defensively, boy. I'm good. I'll be honest. Like,
fine with that.
I could take Carter Bryant too. Like, but you know, I'm good with that.
Then you get more picks.
Because Carter Bryant, I love Carter Bryant's defensive intensity, but like
he shot like 12%.
He's a horrible offensive.
He could not shoot in the summer league.
He can't shoot, but he really like he don't. They don't put the ball in his hands for a reason.
The positivity he's getting in the media is deserved, but it's all crazy. You're only seeing positive things.
You're only seeing the defensive.
No, the box scores are turned off. Yeah,
it's the same thing with Danny Wolf.
I saw offense at times he doesn't touch the ball.
4.5 points a game.
Yeah, he was like terrible, and then like
he had
such
the
a gifted
funniest
passer.
fucking play. He pump faked a 3, and then Drew Timmy turns his back to him, waiting for the rebound, and then Danny Wolf hits him with an overhead skip pass, and Drew Timmy gets whacked in the back of the head. He's waiting for the shot.
I think it's just transition for Danny.
It's tough. I don't think you're ever gonna get the value back. Well, close to the value back, you know. So it's like,
I don't think I don't think Philly would ever be happy because they know he's an MVP. Whatever.
Top 66 player of all time. You saw the list?
What'd you say?
What? You didn't see the ESPN list?
Well, ESPN's garbage.
It's like a top 66 player of all time. I think you.
I sit here and do the math. 66, sure.
I remember the number.
He won an MVP, I guess, even though he shouldn't have.
The list is horrid. But
Dude,
you know?
The list is so stupid. They had Paul George on it.
Whoa.
Why'd they do 66?
This is why I think it's dumb.
He might have been number 66.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was 66 on the list.
What kind of list
they
is
had,
this?
not that these players didn't deserve to be on it, but Paul George, Paul Pierce, Jimmy Butler were all on it. SGA was not on the list.
I mean, his one season is already better than anything they've ever done.
Like SGA was not top 100 at all.
I guess they factor.
Did they put like Luka on there and stuff?
Yeah.
Then SGA has to be on there.
You should have said Luka.
Luka over Paul George all time already.
SGA over Luka.
All time?
Yes.
SGA has an MVP.
If they both retired today, then yes, but
you're hurting. I know, but yes.
No, but Luka has more All NBAs and
by
stuff.
one, but that shit doesn't matter.
It's about one. It might be by two.
Is actually by one?
MVP trumps.
No, I don't think it's just one.
I thought it was like 3
years averaging 30 games.
SGA has 1 or 2.
SGA has 3.
SGA has 3 All NBAs.
I'm tripping. I'm bugging.
But even then, the MVP trumps all of that shit.
No, especially when they're that close. But if he only had 1 season or 2 versus 4 or 5,
he's been 3 straight All NBA first team.
All right, respect. That's crazy. All first every time.
Luka's 5-time All NBA
in the last 3 years.
What's that?
Which is
3-time All NBA.
Oh, okay, so he's 2 off, but the MVP
and this year was more.
Yeah, and the title.
Final
game.
Yeah, brother, it's over. Like,
I mean, I like Shea a lot, so
sure you
just wait for Trey's MVP.
What do you mean? Shea is like a Kobe clone. He plays a lot like Kobe.
Who does?
What? Okay,
Shea.
I
Kobe's
forgot Kobe's your favorite player
of all time.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
SGA should not. This is where I go back to, like, in 20 years when you look back, you're gonna be like, man, look, SGA did more than Kobe. Like, he had maybe not titles or whatever, but like production wise, like he was just as good if not better. But like, it's an era. I don't know.
He needed to be there for Kobe. I feel like to really appreciate.
Kobe was at 11.
Shit, I was there.
Yeah, I feel like Kobe is easily a top 10 player of all time. I think
you heard him say that's fair. Attack.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, 11 is one of the greatest players of all time.
3 days nonstop
about Kobe.
How high you got Kobe all time?
He's 4th for me.
And Derek Fisher.
Derek Fisher.
Okay.
Ryan.
Hold on. Fisher, bro, for 3 days, bro.
Answer me this question. Don't let these goofballs.
I don't know where I put Derek Fisher all time.
Exactly how you asked us.
Is Derek Fisher underrated or overrated?
Or properly rated.
No. I didn't.
That
has
to be. You can't be rated.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't ask properly rated. I
answer.
asked overrated, underrated.
I'm gonna give you an honest answer because I'm not copping out at all. I am not tapped in with the NBA like that level to be like definitively he's one way. I would say he's properly rated though because like he's Derek Fisher.
That's what we said.
But if you just had to pick one, like overrated or underrated, do you think Derek Fisher's career for having 5 NBA championships, being a role player for all around?
I would say slightly. If I had to choose one, I'd say slightly under.
Thank you
for that reason.
He asked. I think he asked me first. He's like, Riff, Derek Fisher, overrated, underrated. I was like, I think he's probably like properly rated. I've never. Who the fuck just randomly asked about Derek Fisher? That's why I was
like, am I bugging? I'm not a big fan of that NBA.
So then he looked at me. He's like, you don't think he's underrated? Like, I was just like, nah, not really. Like, I think he's.
That sparked a 45-minute conversation on Derek Fisher.
Come on, bro. And then he went on a 45-minute rant,
dead straight
he asked
middle.
John was like, I'm not talking about this Derek Fisher shit. And then he's just like, nah, I'm not. I don't like your answers. And then he just started going on a rant about Derek Fisher.
It was
all day, bro.
Bro, Derek Fisher, he had 2
big shots. Bro, we looked up Derek Fisher highlights. That's how much he was locked in, bro. They were 3
You got Kobe 4, you said?
Yeah.
I get why people do that with Kobe. I just like I don't know.
So my criteria.
Where do you have? If you had to
if I had to sit down, I'd probably say towards like the back of the top 10.
So the reason I have a number 4 is because I feel like I do have LeBron James number 1 all time.
Me too.
And I feel like the only way you can have LeBron number 1 all time is if you factor in longevity. Because if you're just factoring peak, I think Michael Jordan had a better peak than LeBron.
But it's
James.
arguable.
It's arguable, but Michael Jordan won MVP and DPOY in one whole season. He's had
so accolades and longevity are important parameters in your list.
Michael Jordan, he had 3 to 4 seasons where he won MVP and won NBA Finals MVP, won a championship in that same year. I mean, in a 10-year span, Jordan accomplished almost everything LeBron accomplished accolades-wise in his career.
I do want to agree. We were talking about this with Carson Logan in Vegas, and Carson made a great point that accolades are really someone else's objective opinion on something, and so when you're looking back in NBA history, you're not going to agree with every MVP. Or
no, you're not going to. But
I feel like my list has slightly altered since then. I've been factoring that thought more and more into the equation.
I think Carson made a great point, but also I'm not going to act like I'm pretentious enough to be like, well, I'm going to nitpick all these awards that these great players had, because I think for the most part, people that are voting on these are people that are credible. That they were voting on, like for example,
people that are voting, you're saying,
or like that the award that they won, like for example, Shea won an MVP this year.
Shouldn't have won.
He shouldn't have won in your opinion, right?
I don't think he should have won.
Okay, there are people that definitely disagree. They think it's Jokic's MVP. They think it's Shea's MVP. I think what we just said right now, Shea's probably over Luka all time because of that MVP. So I don't think that I could be like, I can't be like, oh, nah, he's not over. He's not over Luka.
Where you go back and nitpick every single one, and like Shea was an MVP caliber player, so that's why I don't think you take it away. But also like, it's to you said like it's kind of everyone to each their own type thing with legacy for the most part at least. But like, there's no one standard. You say like, oh, like if you prioritize longevity, but it's not that simple for every comparing 2 to 3 and 3 to 4 and 4 to 5, whatever it is. So it's tough, and that's why like it's fun. I actually enjoy the all-time conversations because everyone is always different for the most part.
And it's so like you're nitpicking. Like LeBron to me is greatest of all time because of longevity. I think, like you said, his peak was up there with Jordan's, and then he just did it for like 15 plus more years. So I think that's like that's a big thing. So for me, Kobe Bryant, I cannot just erase his longevity because like I think that Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, they peaked higher than Kobe, but I think Kobe had the longevity argument.
Longevity is also easier later in time.
Yes,
through medical advancements, like little things like that. But it's also like getting crazy.
Kobe Bryant's second all time with all NBA appearances. Only person that has more is LeBron James, but he's tied second all time. Like the players that they had above Kobe on that list were Shaq, Steph Curry, Magic, Bird, reasonable guys. I'm not gonna say that.
I'm about to say those are all. I think they're all even Shaq. I think is fine.
Over all those guys, Kobe has more All NBA teams, more All Stars, more defensive teams.
Steph
overall
is up there for peak purposes only.
Yes, peak and what he did for the game.
And I think there's a vibes of like transcending the game too, which
impacted
I'm okay with, to be honest. Like you have that much of an influence on the game is
like
crazy.
For me. Like think about this. Like Hakeem gets propped up for the 2 championships that he won.
I feel like his peak is the reason why it's propped up.
But exactly. That was his peak.
2 chips
ever.
Ever.
2 of the most difficult championships in NBA history, given his supporting cast. Those 2 chips, we used that to like elevate him, right?
Yep.
I think Kobe Bryant in 2009, 2010, he had 2 championships where he didn't have overwhelmingly favorite teams, and he was the reason why the Lakers won the championships.
You make a great point.
And then he won those 3 with Shaq. With 2 of them, he was an MVP level player.
But I'm about to say when they played, they won how many together?
They won 3
together?
3 in a row.
And Shaq won Finals MVP twice or
all 3 times?
All 3 times. So like
Kobe was just
that's a great piece for Shaq. Oh, it's little things like that.
It takes away that takes away from Kobe, but then Kobe without Shaq won 2 in a row, went to the finals 3 straight years, and won finals.
It's kind of like the Steph thing with KD also. Like, it's very similar.
Yeah, like for me, Riv and I even looked at these numbers because the Tim Duncan and Kobe conversation is a big one. And where I stand on it is I think Duncan, he had the better career. You know, he was better for longer. And you can argue he had the better peak as well. But we looked back at those NBA playoff series.
Deep dive.
You just go watch them too. Like,
no, we didn't do that shit.
No, we
I'm
didn't
just
watch
saying,
them.
like, it's pretty easy to be like Kobe's a better player too.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah,
You
but
have to.
like for me, at least when I was growing up, when I was conscious of basketball from like 2007 on, I just never thought Kobe and Duncan was a real conversation at that time. Maybe it's because Duncan was not peak Duncan at that time, but you know, from 2008 to 2010, I never thought that Kobe and Duncan was like a real convo. I just always thought it was Kobe and Bron at the top of the league, and that was a debate. It was never Duncan, but I feel like Duncan's longevity in his career is, and when you go back and look at it, you're like, oh my God, he's in the conversation.
Duncan was the model franchise
consistency
player. Everything that you would look for to get demerited in the point. Because in 2007, Tony Parker won that Finals MVP. He was amazing in that run. It was great. Yeah, he was not better than Duncan. He just had in that 4-game series with the Cavs, he was the most efficient, most productive scorer. It's tough. I've over the last couple of months been kind of creating my top 10 list, and there's 2 tiers to it to me.
Yeah.
My top 5 includes Bill Russell number 4. I can't have him out to the top 5. And Magic Johnson, and 6 through 12 for me has been fluctuating heavily, and I've been honestly just changing my criteria to find what is the most accurate.
It's fair.
Yeah,
but,
so, I mean,
who's 3? Kareem?
I have 3. Yeah,
I was picture right. Yeah,
I'll be completely transparent.
6-12 is tough. Yeah,
yeah, it's very tough.
Within my list. You know, Kobe Bryant being so high is just my personal preference. That's just what I value. I value all those intangibles with the winning that he provided. And all the players in the top 10 have that, but me and River going back and looking at Duncan and Kobe and their matchups in the playoffs. Kobe Bryant, when he was the man in 2008 in the playoffs, they played the Spurs in the conference finals and they beat them. They gentlemen swept them in the playoffs, and Kobe Bryant outplayed Duncan. But people only use the Duncan versus Shaq and Kobe era teams to measure Duncan versus Kobe and stuff and to talk about their playoff matchups. But me and Riv were looking at the Spurs and Lakers playoff matchups. Kobe Bryant in almost every single one of those series was the leading scorer over Shaq in those series and was the leading scorer in those series against the Spurs when the Lakers beat the Spurs. Now, the Lakers were definitely a better team than those Spurs teams. Those Spurs teams were pretty weak comparatively to what Duncan eventually had. But Kobe was the leading scorer in those series. He had more points than Shaq in those series, and he did it on incredible efficiency. Yet those series, like anything that Kobe did with Shaq, which I feel like is unfair, anything that he did with Shaq is kind of just erased. And that's what I don't feel like that's fair.
That's not fair.
That's a fair point because it doesn't get erased with Steph either as much, and with KD and like their super teams and stuff like that. But it's interesting. What do you guys? I talked to one of my friends about this. He thought I was joking at first. I was like, man, like especially with how like the MVPs have gone, like you said, if like oh this guy should have won or that SGA and Luka whatever. Like at some point when he retires, especially maybe he wins another one, like Jokic is gonna end up being a top 10 player all time as long as he won in the era where there was maximum parity in the decade, and he should have 5 MVPs. Like there's a legit case for him to have 5 MVPs in a row, and that would have put him top 10 without a doubt on its own with nothing else. And the fact that he misses one for Embiid, he misses one for SGA, even if he had 4 in the title, people would put him top 10 already. And I feel like he's already in that conversation.
You're right. He had arguably his most impressive season this year. I disagree in the sense that Shea was the key part of a historic team, despite Chet missing half the season, Ihar missing half the season. That I did have Shea as my MVP for this year, but I understand both sides of it. The Jokic thing is tricky because if you're valuing longevity, he still hasn't quite like kind of passed some of those guys.
His peak is up there for everybody.
But his peak is firmly entrenched in like the top.
And that's why it's like a hard conversation because give it another 2-3 years here to see where it ends up at. Because if he's he's first team All NBA again and he wins another MVP for 3 years, it's like okay. Come on.
Yeah, it's just the experience of me when I watched Kobe. Like I just felt like I looked forward to watching him play basketball. I feel like he had a certain mastery of the game that, you know, Shaq was more dominant than him. But I think in terms of like skill level, Kobe was more skilled than Shaq. Like I think the post game, the footwork, the mid range shooting, the ball handling, the arsenal of different moves that Kobe had, the defensive intensity that, you know, even though you can argue some of those defensive teams, when he wanted to play defense, he was one of the best defenders in the world. Like all those things. I just think the tenacity of it and just his skill level is up there for anybody ever.
There has to be that level too of like all-time talk. Like there has to be that level of like throw out when everyone great. They all have these set of awards and things outside of like Jordan and LeBron. Like then you go to the big group or you do them together, and then the next group, like there has to be an aspect of like, no, like he was just different. Like there's an aspect of just like eye test vibes and or like it's a real thing. Because like you're talking about Kobe. And if Kobe's 24 a game in a season is compared to SGA's 30 a game in a season now, 30, whatever it is, it's like you throw that out for a second and like who was better? Like my gut says Kobe.
That's what I kind of do with Akeem, because I feel like going back, I had a fascination with going back and just watching him play. And
how could he not?
Eye test just tells me he's the best big man in NBA history. Like in terms of just pound for pound, put the ball on the floor, put him up against any big you want. Bill Russell, you can go to Wilt, you could grab Shaq, you can grab Kareem, you can grab whoever. Like whoever you want to grab, you can grab now. You can grab the Joker, you can grab Joel Embiid. I feel like Hakeem up against any one of these bigs to show you like, nah, he's one of the best bigs we've ever seen.
I do agree with that. Kareem had the most decorated career for a big. And that's why I've got
from high school
3.
to the end.
Yeah, I'm not even including the UCLA tenure.
And it's just,
it's so wild.
There's something to be said.
They played though, and Akeem was giving him work. They played in the 80s in the playoffs, but that was like,
that was
there's something to be said for that level of dominance where you, in a season, win an NBA championship, you win MVP, you win Defensive Player of the Year, like when you accomplish all those things, and I think SGA had that kind of season this year where he won MVP, won Conference Finals MVP, won Finals MVP.
One of the best guards.
Yeah, like that level of dominance for a season and cementing yourself and stamping yourself in NBA history in that type of way to where when somebody goes back, everything, all the headlines are you. There's something to be said about that.
It doesn't feel like it in the moment either. Yeah. When it all happened, I'm like, you're talking, this is one of the greatest seasons ever of like LeBron and Jordan. I'm like, that makes no sense to me, but you're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah, like you go back and like, it was that dominant of a season. But to wrap this show up, I mean, what do you think about the Hawks? Conference Finals? Expectations?
I'm excited for them, like to be relevant with young guys and future draft capital, and the team is built well. I hope they stay healthy, especially with KP. Obviously, oh God. Mm-hmm. They got him for the cheap, so I can't even be mad if he's not even playing. If he plays 45, 50 games, like whatever, it's fine. I'm excited for them. I think Trae Young has been disgustingly underrated since he was in freaking college, and he still is. Yeah. And that's fine. People don't like the way he plays. They don't like his animosity about things and his like enemy style or whatever. And I think they'll realize this year because I don't even know how he wasn't an all-star the last few years. It actually blew my mind, the statistical production, and they push wins under the rugs for other guys. But for him,
on my all-star ballot this year, man.
I did too.
Dude,
I did.
Respect,
too.
brother.
Yeah.
I don't remember who did it. I think it was Drew. I'm gonna rat and possibly lie, but Drew didn't have it on his ballot.
He ain't here. He backing out, so that's
Lamelo.
fine. But it's just like I know he's criminally underrated. He's one of the best playmakers that the generation has seen, and I don't know. I hope he has his chance to shine. And if the team is good this year, they're a playoff team. They win a playoff series. They have a home playoff series, whatever that is. They're a top 4 seed and or win a playoff series. He'll get his respect for sure.
He has to.
I'm excited. Short answer. And Trae deserves some respect. So
it's tough because he had a very inefficient start to last year, and a lot of that was because of Achilles tendonitis, which was swept under the rug. And
I didn't even know.
That is really an important thing for any star player to kind of monitor in today's NBA. But I felt like the Hawks, we've had this conversation at the offseason. Is it Orlando or the Hawks in that second bracket at the top end of the East? And I felt that it all goes back to Trae Young playing at that level that he did in 2021. And if he does, the Hawks can go on a deep playoff run. But what I'm really excited to see is just the front court play of Jalen Johnson with Onyeka and Kristaps. I think that's what unlocks their potential. It's why they're better than that for as great as Clint Capella was. Best offense rebounder, great rim protector.
I hate him.
You may hate him, but that's
you're right. You're right. No, you're right.
So good.
Sorry.
So good.
You're right. You're watching his fucking hook shots were so annoying.
He can't fucking make a layup.
No, he couldn't. But he was the best offensive rebounder in the NBA for a time. He was a good rim protector. He was the anchor of a defense. But that's why comparing Clint Capella and a young Onyeka to this front court with a more developed version, that's why they're better than that team.
And it can't just be Trae. JJ needs to be like an on-ball threat, not just a lob threat and a secondary guy. And I think he needs to take a leap in KP and like in Dyson, even like Trae needs to give up the rock a little more. I said he's saying all these good things about him. There's a lot of fault on him. He didn't shoot the ball super well. He takes ridiculously stupid shots sometimes and some turnover issues. But if they can take the load off him a little bit to let his efficiency ride up a little bit, it'll be a beautiful thing. So
awesome.
Yeah. Now that's gonna do it for this podcast. This portion of it. Ryan, thank you for coming on. Anything you want to say where the people can find you?
Yeah, dude. Ryan Hammer on social media. We got a new podcast out. Blue Blooded, it's called. College hoops, if you're into that kind of. Hey, we were talking college hoops earlier. Count that. But no.
Real quick. Blue Bloods.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's find out.
Blue Blooded.
Blue Blooded.
There's like 2 posts now. But yeah, I appreciate y'all having me, of course. Jerseys, it's nice to come up here and stuff. So I'll have to get y'all down to Central Jersey also.
No, for sure. I like taking trips down there too.
Podcast.
Yeah, you all right with that?
Found it.
Look at that search engine optimization, baby. Let's go.
Let's hit the subscribe button. You got about 2 videos out.
Yeah, that's right.
My College Hoops origin story, I should say, that episode 0.5. I don't know what that's about.
Let's go watch it later and find out.
Maybe I will. 22 minutes.
We did an intro episode of 0.5. I'm going to Europe on Monday. What's today? Thursday. I'm going to Europe in a few days. When I get back, early August, every Monday for hopefully the rest of my life, I'll do a podcast.
So question, why did you make 2 different accounts? Because I see you have 2 accounts. You have the Ryan Hammer.
Oh, my own account and the podcast?
Yes.
I wanted the podcast to be its own thing. For strategic algorithm purposes, but also I just wanted to have it its own channel, its own kind of.
So why don't you tell the fans what's the difference between both? What type of what's
Real
on
Flex
the
hands asking the question?
Yeah, what's on
the podcast?
Yeah, what's on Ryan Hammer and what's on Blue Blooded? That's all.
A lot of the stuff that y'all have seen from me, a lot of the same things will be on my thing always, and like even YouTube, I'm gonna do a lot more like traveling videos. The podcast will be podcast. I've built a studio in my basement. I'm using it primarily just for that. I take some inspiration out of y'all here.
Thank you.
But podcast being the studio, long episodes. We'll cut up short stuff also. We'll still do stuff like little videos that are different here and there that are new. But everything that you see on my profile will be the exact same. So
that's what I like to hear, man.
Make sure you guys go subscribe and go show love to Ryan. It was great having you on the show.
Appreciate you, man.
And now we're transitioning into Drew and Dehls. We are back with the whole crew. Drew and Dehls are back from their vacation, fellas. How you guys doing? It's been a while since we've been in the studio together.
I love a good edit, and then you go from John and Ryan Hammer. Shout out to the GOATs.
Shout out to them.
Hope you guys enjoyed listening to them talk about Summer League, because I definitely did. But then you go and you blink your eyes, and then suddenly now you have 2 ethnic men right here in front of you guys. Like, that's got to be such an amazing feeling. Right?
We'll let shit fly.
That's not the word I would use.
We'll let shit fly.
Is Dehls ethnic? Is that the
Wait, let me ask you a genuine question.
Talk to me.
You aren't calling Dehls a white man of color?
I've been called Cuban before. I've been called Puerto Rican before. I've been called Dominican before.
You know what it is?
The reach is Dominican.
I know you, so it's different. Like I can't really, you know what I'm saying? I know you. Like I know you're a white man. You know what I'm saying? Like and the things you say give off white man. So I can't just.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like the shit you say to me is ridiculous.
What's the oh sure?
Oh, he's nuts. He actually.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, for sure. What do you mean? It's just that's how you identify.
I am a white man.
Yes.
I don't identify as anything else. That would be disingenuous.
Just Tom's here. Did you come and you're very prideful
about being white?
About being white. And you should
I'm not unprideful.
Yeah.
You aren't. You are very prideful.
I'll tell you what, bro. If this were high school, I really could back you up.
Yeah.
That being said, the fact that on your top 10 you have at least 9 Zach Bryan songs.
Oh, easily.
That's where I feel like
easily Zach Bryan, Luke Combs.
Nuts
For sure.
When did the country infatuation
Did you listen to Morgan Wallen?
develop?
Yeah, his album was tough.
Very fire.
Yeah.
I had some hell.
Probably recently, like the last 2-3 years. Last 2-3 years. Really, like.
So you're asking, is there a correlation between Chelsea and Joel?
There you go.
I really do wish I could blame it on Chelsea, but I can't.
Oh, it's just you.
I can't.
The country music, you got into the country music on your own.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because Chelsea doesn't really.
How does one? Well, I'm surprised you didn't do it before, but now 2-3 years ago,
I don't know. Honestly, on TikTok, a song came up. It was Jordan Davis song, actually, not the Eagles player. There's a country artist, Jordan Davis. I was like, oh, this is decent. I started listening to him. And then I really started listening to it when Zach Bryan dropped his self-titled album, Zach Bryan. And I saw some people posting on their stories like, whatever, I'll tune in. I listened to the first song, I was like, oh, yeah, he's got it.
I feel like maybe it's just a natural progression for white people to like
absolutely. You go from, because obviously in high school, it was G Herbo,
you got a nice tan, too,
it's like, you change your scenery with music a lot. You probably still listen to those guys,
because
right?
the thing, I do, but the thing is, like, when I'm in a car now, like, all due respect to them, I don't know if I need to listen to all of that like rah rah boom boom. It's like a lot of high stressful music.
Sometimes rah rah now.
Sometimes I just want to lay back and listen to some, you know.
Shit. I don't get you, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but I feel like there's some country music you like.
Yeah, for sure. I've definitely tapped into that country element. Try to keep myself versatile.
Did you like Morgan Wallen's album?
I do. I love Morgan Wallen a lot, actually.
He's very teetering on country and like pop, and like he has features with Dirk. Like I won't call him a rapper, but
no, I like the dynamic he does.
I need to listen to ignorant music.
Not
Classify.
What's happening right now?
Classify with
ignorant
music.
Because I'm still stuck on Dehls. The rah-rah, stressful shit, I'm not gonna lie.
Like, just throw me an ignorant rapper. Just who would you consider ignorant?
That I listen to?
Just in general. Like, who's ignorant?
Well, I think Travis Scott's an ignorant rapper.
Really?
That's
I think
Travis?
Playboy Cardi, yeah.
Okay.
You're not naming ignorant rappers.
SSG Kobe.
SSG Kobe.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's
Playboy
done
Cardi's
something.
An ignorant rapper.
Travis Scott's an ignorant rapper?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Are you saying his concerts
are you saying
ignorant?
like mumble rap is ignorant?
Yeah, for the most part they are. There's not a lot of substance.
Do you know what what is ignorant? Do you know what
ignorant
means?
All jokes aside, with all due respect, G Herbo's ignorant rapper.
My definition
if G Herbo's ignorant, Playboy Cardi is ignorant as fuck.
I've never said he wasn't. The Travis Scott one was the one that lost me.
Well, what's the difference?
I don't understand what. Can you define
got
what
some real soulful
he
shit?
He can't.
He'll be talking to you.
He can't.
Yes, I can.
No, he can't.
I can.
No, he shouldn't. He really shouldn't define what he means.
No, like genuinely, I'm confused. Like, if you would have said ignorant, but then the first name you said was like NBA Youngboy, then I've been like, do you mean like arrogant? Like you really
or just like all that gun, bang,
I think
bang,
you mean
violence.
arrogant music.
No, it's both. It's both ignorant and arrogant. You can classify it as.
But ignorant and arrogant are two different meanings.
Yeah, ignorant is the lack of knowledge of something. Arrogant is you are believing in your own qualities a little bit too much.
There you go.
Yeah. So I know the difference. It's just with ignorant music is when I listen to some music, I like to listen to it and not have much thought. So that's what I classify as ignorant music.
Hold on.
So Travis Scott, I listen to him and it's like there's not really much thought in there. Yeah, he has some songs that he has some really good lyrics in there, and I'm listening to it. But for the most part, when I'm driving in my car, I want to listen to music that makes me not think and I just feel.
I'm gonna be transparent with you. He cooked.
Yeah, but I wouldn't consider Travis Scott in that realm.
No. He's spot on. Travis Scott never rapped about no real shit.
Yeah, but he doesn't really rap about ignorant shit either.
No, but that's the thing. He's saying like mindless music. You put on
about.
Travis Scott to like this is a vibe. I'm listening for a vibe.
Okay.
Playboy Cardi is most definitely that too.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm thinking more like you just don't want to listen to that nonsense. Like you want to hear good substance.
I like nonsense.
I do love it.
I wouldn't hate if you was just like because I feel like vibe music is just different than nonsense music. Like vibe
there's a difference. Like for example, if I get into a car and I'm like I want to listen to something that's gonna
you was
motivate.
bumping Travis Scott in Vegas.
I was, and I liked it.
I
never said I didn't like it.
There's a time and a place for everything.
Like what is he rapping about on Astro Thunder? He's not really rapping about shit, but that beat is all time great.
I feel you.
Like if I want to think and I want to get motivated, I listen to J. Cole. I listen to like his Friday Night Lights tape. I listen to Sideline Story. I listen to Dollar in a Dream. I'll listen to those.
You gotta see those.
Nah, I feel that because I don't listen to G Herbo, still fucked up.
Like the two rappers,
you know what I mean?
the two go-to rappers I'll go
Kendrick
to
and J.
like.
Cole.
Nah, Kendrick is not so like motivational. It's just the sound selection that he uses. It's just very vibey for me. With Cole, it's like I let you act like you the shit, but boy, you can't out-fought me. It's some shit like
What?
that.
That's weak as shit.
That shit was garbage.
Oh my God.
That's the best you had.
That was actual shit from a butt. Oh my god.
That is so
That shit was awful,
It's
bro.
a good bar.
That
Nah, it's not. It's
sounds
not.
like an
Nah, it's
Ice
not.
Spice bar,
It was
bro.
dog shit. It was dead whack.
Think
That
you
shit was
the
whack.
shit, bitch. You not even a fuck.
That goes harder than whatever.
With all due
that
respect,
is.
Playboy Cardi could have made that up.
nah, God,
I could have made that up.
That's a
But
fact.
J.
You could've.
Cole, he has songs like Sideline Story is one of my favorite songs. It's like I pour my heart and soul into this game. I'm feeling drained. Some
on,
shit
bro.
like that.
That shit was weak.
No, it's
basic.
bro. You're crazy. You gotta listen to the song.
I don't want to listen to
Nah,
that.
Have you ever listened
I heard
to the
Logan
Sideline
Cameron
Story?
have better bars than that. On God.
Sideline Story is an amazing song. Like what you gotta listen to it.
It probably is, but you just giving us bad bars.
But you have to listen to it in the totality. That's a sentence. That's not a full bar.
Please don't.
It's not a.
I don't want to hear nothing else if that's just the preview you're giving me.
That's a weak ass.
Like you got to put out little snippets
you
sometimes.
giving
Or
us
put
bad
out a
trailers.
snippet. If you
giving us
put
bad
that on a
trailers.
snippet, I'm following you.
It's like you trying to show us a movie, but the trailer sucks.
The two rappers, J. Cole, especially Friday Night Lights is one of his, like, that's when he was still coming up. So rappers usually in the beginning of their career, they're hungrier, so they make more music that they actually like. You could feel it. Yeah. J. Cole is that way, and early Meek Mill is that way 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Like Big Dreams, Dream Chasers, all that shit. Like I'm not even talking about Dreams and Nightmares. Like that I know is a classic, but I'm talking about he has other hits on top of that are like, that's like real motivational music.
I mean, yeah, Meek like 2016 and before. Oh my God.
So that's why, like, if I want to listen to something that motivates me, I'll listen to that. If I want to listen to like vibey, just chill music, more so getting told the story, that is Cole in a way, but that's more Kendrick.
Yeah.
I feel like Kendrick does a good way. Like one of my favorite songs is off of Damn. It's called Feel. Yeah. Like I could listen to that song and I could get into a mode with that song. And then when I'm just feeling like I just want to hear like loud instruments, I listen to rock.
Oh, you listen to rock?
Yeah, I listen to Linkin Park a lot.
Okay.
Somewhere I Belong is one of my favorite songs ever.
After explaining yourself, it makes more sense because when I hear ignorant, I just think of the negative connotation that comes with it.
NBA YoungBoy,
it's ignorant music.
Yeah,
and I love his music. Too. I ain't even about to say
I listen to that too.
Adore his music.
Yeah,
you gotta have a wide range. You know, it depends on the day.
J. Cole, man.
I listen to the same shit every day. I ain't gonna front.
Like J. Cole on this song called "Return to December," he said,
"Don't say
just
some weak shit, bro."
He said, "Being good is good. That'll get you Drew Gooden. But me, I want Jordan numbers, LeBron footing, can't guard me, Vince Lombardi, John Wood."
Okay. That was good.
That's
you should have said that first.
Yeah, you should have definitely
started with that.
Yeah,
because that other shit.
You had that in the back
that
of
was
your head.
That right there was some pain.
That's because I remember
that shit you said before was garbage.
No, the first one it's a running joke about his. That's one of the bars that's a running joke from him.
Okay.
But it's on a good song. I think it's called. It's on either Rise and Shine or Dollar in a Dream. I think it's on Rise and Shine.
Mm-hmm.
It's with Hove. It's on his first
running
album.
joke like Lil TJ's is she knows she a virgin, it's hurting.
Yeah,
or A Boogie songs. Metro Boomin, make it boom. I don't care, bro. That shit's hard to me. I don't care. I never got why people did that.
Yeah, it's because A Boogie fell off.
No, whoa.
I feel like, bro. I feel like I compare music, specifically rapping, to like running back careers in the NFL. The peak is in the beginning.
Absolutely.
A rapper's first projects are always the best in the beginning. Very rarely where you get an artist that their best projects are later in their careers. They just run out of things to talk about.
Dirk is the opposite.
Yeah.
Dirk's best part.
I mean, I love A Boogie and her, but I feel the same way about them. I don't know if anyone's gonna be able to top artists.
Now I'm gonna be honest with you. A Boogie is legitimately Ezekiel Elliott.
He's still good though. Like,
is he?
Because
you know who said that? Me about Zeke.
I guess. But the thing is, I get it. A Boogie, he's not gonna have a good. I don't think he's gonna have a good season. I don't know if he's really gonna put up a good album anymore. But on that album, he's gonna have some good games. He's gonna have some.
You gonna get them week 2s, week 5, week 7s.
Where he have 100 yards and a touchdown, and be like, bang, there he is.
You go like, he's still somewhere.
Who's Peyton Hillis?
A one-year wonder.
Dave East.
What a name! What a name!
Lil Tecca.
Dave East got a couple projects though that like.
Lil Tecca's a good
Lil
one.
Tecca, it's probably Lil Tecca.
But it would be like a Lil Pump kind of guy, right? Peyton Hillis like a one-year wonder.
Lil Pump like a one-song wonder. I don't know if it's one hit.
Well, he had Tekashi 6ix9ine 1 year, I guess. Wonder.
Yeah.
Honestly, TJ. After TJ, like the first album, or like 2017, 2018, I did not like anything he put out.
I like some stuff. Sometimes.
How would you classify Juice WRLD?
I love Juice WRLD.
Is that I don't know if it's.
He's like Andrew Luck.
It's like in between.
What a fucking cook right there.
It's like ignorant but emotional.
No. I wouldn't.
There's nothing ignorant about nothing he says.
I was gonna say he really was spitting the real sometimes.
It's just sometimes he's either singing it or he's rapping it, but there's nothing like everything he says is with substance. Like, everything he says,
like sniffing codeine with my white friends.
It's substance.
Hard.
It's substance.
Sniffing.
He's saying like his real story, like the shit he's saying. He really been through all that. He really done all that. I can relate.
You heard the song White and Black, right? Or Black and White?
Yeah.
I think so.
It was on his first project.
Yeah, I think so.
Black Benz.
I have most of his albums. Yeah, he's shout out to Juice WRLD.
No, Juice WRLD is one of the best. I still listen to him to this day.
Who's Lil Bibby? Is he Peyton Willis?
Then he's out of the game. You know who it is? I'm blanking on his name. The running back for the Cardinals. But he's
David Johnson?
No. The one that unfortunately passed away in war.
Pat
Tillman.
Tillman?
Pat Tillman.
Is Pat Tillman a coach now?
No, Pat Tillman passed away due to friendly fire.
Lil Billy. Lil Bibby is whoever was a player, was nice, but then turned into like a trainer or a coach and is even nicer because he's a great producer.
No, Pat
now.
Tillman, he went to
I don't even know if
war.
he's a running back actually, but he died to friendly fire,
DB,
which
yeah.
is terrible.
Unfortunate.
I know that Pat Tillman, he went to war and he was like very patriotic about it when he went at first. And then after seeing what was going on there, he like wrote in his notebook like how much he hated the war. Yeah. So he was like very against it. So there's some conspiracies out there. People think it was like an inside friendly fire job because like he was very vocal and anti-war and he was still in the war. So yeah, rest in peace to him. He was a safety though.
Safety, excuse me.
Yeah, he was a defensive
Didn't feel
player.
right when I said it.
Yeah.
Were you talking about Charles Tillman or no?
Pat Tillman.
Okay.
No relation.
I'm thinking
Pat
Chicago.
Charles
That I know
Tillman's
of,
the
at least.
peanut punch.
Yeah, yes.
It'd be nuts if they were related.
Okay.
Both DBs though.
Yeah. I heard Tillman. First thing I
So
went to.
we got
Xavier Tillman, maybe.
some
no
NBA
relation.
news to talk about. But first of all, we have something that needs to be addressed with your tweet with Kobe Bryant. I mean, what was the exact tweet exactly? Do you have
said a lot
Riv?
of things, man.
Do you want to read it?
I would read it because I feel like
You don't want to twist his words.
I feel like I would never. I'm not the type of guy who wants to twist his words because I feel like my brother gets misunderstood a lot of times.
I appreciate that.
And I want to just start by saying he feels like, and this is just me knowing who my brother is. He feels like people have been disrespecting LeBron in this conversation where it doesn't need to be disrespected.
No, you should read the tweet first.
I say, see, you want to attack him so fast.
No, I want
don't
him
wanna
to.
do
I
that,
want
you know?
like no. We're gonna
But
get to the bottom of that.
Andrew Velez, 7 hours ago, decided to tweet, genuinely speaking, what does Kobe do better than LeBron? Space. He's not a better scorer, passer, defender, or rebounder than Bron. Space. I'm tired of the fake love for Kobe that's not based on anything tangible. It's a big word for people. Tangible. Then Drew went on a spiel of just responding to people.
Some comments were genuinely terrible.
And then he just was going on a spiel. He brought up Bill Russell. He asked for Lord to give him the strength. You know, he wants to be honest.
Kobe versus LeBron though. So where did this stem from? Like, what made you tweet it?
Genuinely, what made me tweet it was Shaquille O'Neal. And like I wish that wasn't why it sparked it. Like obviously I've been seeing a bunch of people talk about Kobe Bryant. The recent list that just came out for BR's top. What was
he was
it? Top
11th.
100. He was 11th.
Yeah.
Which me personally, I think he's top 10 player for sure. But back end top 10. Added top 10's pretty rude. That being said, a lot of people have Kobe Bryant in the GOAT conversation. To me, that's strong. That's very strong. I can't hear that.
You would be one of them.
Is that what Shaq said?
Shaq has Kobe number 2 over LeBron James.
A lot of those guys mix up their lists every 4 or 5 years.
It's true, but that's the one thing about this conversation that I don't like either. Like, Kobe's career is not going on still. There's only two players that have either entered or been in the top 10 conversation for the last few years, and it's LeBron James and it's Steph Curry. There's only 2 players active right now that are in that conversation. There's a couple that could potentially one day enter, but in terms of the top 10 conversation, there's only 2. But I don't understand why or where it gets lost when you look at the broad skills of what I mentioned.
Yeah.
LeBron is better than Kobe at all of those skills. When you go into the nuances of all those individual skills, I would be ignorant to say that there aren't certain aspects of the game that Kobe isn't better at. The mid-range shooting, obviously, is one of them that I point to. The post work, like you alluded to as well, I will 100% agree with you there. But scoring the basketball, playmaking, being a passer, defender, the versatility of the defense as well. Because obviously everybody goes to the amount of all-NBA defensive teams that he has, which I'm not. Nuts. It's amazing. Amazing. 12 is an insane amount of them.
Which is a lot. It's a lot.
Half of them,
It's still a lot.
See, but if you say that, you're a hater. But again, the Kobe Bryant conversations to me feel a little bit disingenuous because if you didn't love Kobe when he was playing basketball or the post-Kobe career from that 2016 to 2020, if you weren't giving him the respect where I know for a fact there were a good amount of fans that definitely did have that feeling towards him.
Appreciate you when you're gone, man.
when you're gone, they start to show you way more love than when you were around. And it's sad. But again, that's where I say the fake love part. And it gives me goosebumps because it genuinely, it confuses me because where is it coming from? Like, is it because you felt bad because you weren't there when he was around, and now you start to compensate by now putting him in conversations that you didn't have him when he was around, and that's where it gets muddy for me personally. And I feel like that's kind of what got misconstrued in what I was saying. But at the core of what I'm saying, I still wholeheartedly mean it. LeBron James is better than Kobe Bryant. It's point blank, period.
That's a hot take.
Well, no,
It's not. It shouldn't be. But what people are upset at me for was going that extra mile of saying,
because you didn't just say he's better.
Exactly. I didn't say that.
You said there's nothing. I said there's nothing.
But like on the broad scale of each category, you would not take Kobe over LeBron in a majority of them. To me, none.
You can't have it both ways where you say like, this is what I meant, but the tweet reads one way.
No.
Well, I said
both.
doing.
I did both.
Yeah.
I'm clarifying the last part because people. Shout out to Mo. He wasn't happy with what I was saying about on the Mavs Outsider podcast. He wasn't happy with what I said about the fake love part, which genuinely I feel like a lot of people started to put Kobe Bryant in these conversations, and it doesn't feel genuine to me.
I think.
But what
wrong.
I was saying was strong and true in the beginning, though. I do feel that and mean that.
I think that's wrong. I think the part I'll touch on first is the fake love part. Kobe Bryant was in a LeBron conversation 2008 to 2010 when he went back to back.
Of course.
And he went to three straight
before
NBA
LeBron
finals.
won anything, yes.
Yeah, before LeBron won, but still, like, LeBron was still very much, like, his first stint with the Cavs, especially 2010, you could argue is one of the best versions of LeBron James. With just athleticism, what he was able to do, the force that he was, and especially the teams that he carried at that point. I think
definitely one of his best carry jobs.
The problem with measuring LeBron James is that, like, people like to take every single season of LeBron and combine them instead of just singling them out, because LeBron James took a while to become a complete basketball player. And once he became a complete basketball player, the athleticism, although he's still at a peak athletic shape, that was declining. Like, for example, this version of LeBron is the best 3-point shooter
easily
that we've seen.
By far.
But LeBron, when he was at his athletic peak, he wasn't as good of a 3-point shooter.
What would you say his athletic peak was? 2010?
2013.
Okay, so 2013, he shot 40%.
Yeah, 2013
I don't know
was
about that, though. I feel like it was 08 to like 11-ish. Like,
I'm fine with 13, though.
I'm
fine with because 13 was 28-year-old
How many
Bron.
attempts was he taking, though, compared to what he
It
just
was like
did?
3-4.
Yeah.
I feel like that was his
LeBron
best,
James-
like, physical strength while also being a single. Like, because before, like, towards the back end in Cleveland, he wasn't the same physique, but he was
like his first stint in
demon.
Cleveland. The mid-range shot was a problem. The jump shot in general was a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
The post game wasn't there until he lost to the Mavericks in 2011
Boy, that boy at the
finals.
rim, man. That rim
So
pressure was
I think like the best
nuts.
version of LeBron's is like 2013 Bron or 2016, 2018 Bron is between that.
That's a great
But
answer.
LeBron, I think
What about 2020 Bron?
He was pretty good.
2020
Yeah.
Bron was a pretty perfect player, too.
I don't think that's peak Bron though. I think that is insane Bron though. But I think LeBron's a better player all time than Kobe. I think that Kobe has some skills that are better than LeBron's. I don't think that he clears Kobe and all those things. I think scoring is a very arguable thing.
I agree.
Especially when you look at the shot chart, and Kobe used the entirety of the floor versus LeBron was very left side centric with his scoring
I don't
for the
disagree.
majority of his career. So I think Kobe from the mid range was a better scorer. LeBron's best mid range season was 45% on above 400 attempts. Kobe Bryant had multiple seasons 45% or better on almost 1,000 attempts in that season. So
It is an inefficient shot, but he did take it a lot.
But it was an efficient shot for him.
It's
and
true.
That's a dead ball era. The dead ball era was always different
I agree.
than what this era is going to be, because this era, they implore you to take more threes and jump shots, especially after 2015. So Kobe didn't play in that type of era. So I think scoring-wise is the debate. The perimeter defense, I mean, Kobe Bryant has the most all-defensive teams of any guard ever. And
one stop, I'm taking Bron.
well, one stop, like, who has LeBron locked up on the perimeter in his career? I can think of one series with Derrick Rose versus the Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Lock up, I will never say he locked up Steph Curry. I would never say that. But LeBron definitely can guard Steph Curry.
LeBron James is a help side defender.
What?
He can't guard Steph for a possession or two?
Oh,
Let's not lie.
I thought you said like a series.
Yeah,
Oh, no, absolutely not.
I saw-
well, if LeBron didn't have to focus on offense the way he did, yeah, I could argue that he
But
could play
Kobe had to
defense
focus on offense too, and he played two
but
ways.
the thing, so LeBron. I'm not saying that you're not saying
I
that.
don't think you could use all defense to be like one guy was better defending than the other.
But no, Kobe Bryant, he locked up Allen Iverson in the NBA Finals after that game 1. He locked up Dwayne Wade. He even locked up LeBron in the All-Star game. He blocked him from behind.
Oh my God.
He did.
He's so
told me that
serious.
shit in Vegas. I cackled so hard.
He locked up LeBron in the All-Star game.
What do you mean? It was the game winning shot. He blocked him.
You're reaching, bro. You're
No,
reaching.
that's a great. They used to play and try in the All-Star game. You know that, right? You know that, right?
It's the All-Star game.
They used to try.
It's the All-Star game.
Do you think they didn't try back then?
It's the All-Star
They
game.
used to try.
Joel,
I don't care.
I'm hearing you. Let's not
A
do
big,
this.
no, but I'm saying the All-Star game back then, especially when Kobe Bryant was there, he set
There's
the
a lot
tone
more
for it.
passion for it, but bro.
And especially the closing possessions, they took that very seriously. You don't
What's
think
the
they took
record
it
between
seriously?
the two?
Absolutely.
Kobe and LeBron all time,
Head-to-head.
like head to head? I'm not sure.
I think Braun has more wins.
Bron does.
Okay, I'm not sure. They play like what, twice every year. But no, perimeter defense, Kobe Bryant was just able to move his feet laterally better. He had just better instincts reaching for the ball and just getting in shooters' pockets and dribble pockets too.
So when you break it down into my category, again, if you want to go into the nuances of each category, like I said, I agree with what you're saying.
You should.
But what I said was scoring.
What classifies somebody as a better scorer?
That's a good question.
Putting the ball in the basket for a majority of it.
So,
Totality
Also,
or career?
how easy you do
Well,
it as well.
Sorry, totality or season?
I think peak.
A little
and,
both.
And,
Peak.
And
Peak. I
longevity.
think
Okay,
I'd
well,
argue-
peak LeBron doesn't have a season as good as peak scoring Kobe 2005 and 06.
I understand where you're coming from, yes, but the thing to me that always holds back LeBron's points per game is that he's a top 3 passer in the history of this
so
game.
can I ask you a question? Because you said it's for you, it's as simple as putting the ball in the basket.
Well, on top of other things, but like, yes, end of the day, putting the ball in the basket, how easy you put the ball in the basket, how efficient you put the ball in the basket, and
So
when it comes
no
to
versatility?
So you've never, but I don't.
so no for versatility as well, no doubt.
but you,
No,
I
this is
feel
a
like
collective
you've never
things.
classified Kareem as like one of the greatest scorers.
Well,
ever.
he is one of the greatest scorers.
But I
ever.
feel like you've never had him at 1, and he
No,
has all
to
the
me,
numbers and the way he did it easily.
I
Like,
wouldn't put him 1 because, again, that was very one-dimensional.
So who's the best scorer ever?
In my opinion, I still stay consistent. It's either KD, Jordan, or Bron.
I just feel like if we're talking about efficiency, versatility,
Correct.
and
That's
especially
why
scoring,
KD is in my
I know
top 3.
I think KD's one of the best scorers ever. I think you could argue him number 1. But and then when we talk about efficiency
Steph's
and then
up
peak, I mean, there's no
Probably not top
argument.
3.
There's
I'm
no
not-
argument.
not
for,
top 3.
There's no argument for Bron over MJ scoring peak. There's
Why is
not.
that?
Because MJ scoring peak was like 37 a night.
Again, LeBron is one of the greatest passers, arguably the
But we're
greatest
not
passer.
talking about
Scoring,
passing.
scoring.
No, I
We're just talking
understand,
about
but that's limited his scoring output, and he's still the all-time leading scorer.
I mean, no,
Longevity,
I don't know if it's
22 years.
limited his
But he
output.
also passed Jordan on how many less shots?
I don't know
Well,
if
he
it's
takes
limited
more
his.
threes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
But
think
he's
it's
a better
limited
three-point
his scoring
shooter.
output.
Sure. 3-point
Because LeBron James in a dead ball era averaged 32 a night. You know, there was seasons where he averaged 30 and
Yeah, Bron
he
could
was
put that
he was
ball in the
awesome.
basket.
You know,
Of
so
course.
but I'm just saying the peak scoring seasons that Jordan had, that Kobe had, they were better than LeBron.
Because even in the
scoring
playoffs,
seasons.
LeBron ups it up. He just doesn't up
Again,
it up at
also-
And then
but-
if we're talking about
No,
efficiency,
again, that's why
he's not a KD.
I think MJ and KD, I'm fine with that being 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I think KD, he's a perfect offensive player. Jordan's efficiency was just flat out dumb, and he just was constantly going to the basket. The mid-range was money. I look at LeBron, he's the best driver of the basketball, and the fact that from 2013 to where we are right now, his jump shot has tremendously improved. Unbelievable. I look at those seasons in 2016, 2018 specifically offensively. I think that's just the peak of an offensive player.
I look at the skill
hate
sets
it.
of the player. Like, I think scoring peak is a big part of it because I'm not measuring just total points. I don't think Karl Malone is one of the 3 best scorers ever.
He's pretty great, though.
I like top 15.
I think he's more one dimensional than anything
I agree.
as a scorer.
I-
So
but
like
his,
I don't- I
his
don't-
midi wasn't bad.
It's unfair to call big men one-dimensional.
like I don't think Karl Malone is on the level of Kobe as a scorer or Michael Jordan or Kevin Durant.
No.
I think they're different.
He's
tiers of
rated
scorers.
properly, though.
I think Kobe Bryant, the mid-range arsenal, especially when he played with Shaq, the ability to get to the basket and get over the
1000%.
defense and finish. The 3-point shooting was always average. He didn't really take that much in volume. And just the post game, the footwork. I think his footwork is the best ever for a guard. Michael Jordan and him, they're probably up there for guards in terms of footwork. The way that Kobe Bryant could score, I think, was just much more difficult of a cover. I think LeBron's difficulty of a cover is more due to his natural size and athleticism. Where
could you argue Steph in this conversation because of the things you're saying?
That's why I have Steph top 5,
yes,
6.
I think
off ball, 3-point shooting, get into the rim.
I think what makes Steph such a hard cover is that he could pull up from 50 feet.
Yeah,
that's what I think so.
You look at the all-time true shooting percentages: big man, Steph Curry. He has 3 of those seasons.
That's why I think Steph is in it, especially for peak. Like the MVP season, he didn't play fourth quarters and still averaged 30.
Yo, that 17-18 season, he was locked.
Underrated.
But so I do think there are categories that Kobe Bryant's better than LeBron at.
I do too.
And I think playing off the ball too, he's better than LeBron at playing off the ball.
That one's hard for me to sit with.
They play in the triangle.
And that's where people will go to, and I kind of have to put my hands up because the triangle offense is literally meant to play off ball. But does that mean that Michael Jordan's an elite off ball player solely because he played?
No, he was.
Yes, he was an elite off ball player.
In the 90s, he was. He was.
Okay, because Scottie Pippen was like the point forward of the team.
It's not that LeBron in no offensive system that he's ever played in
ever
I would say ever. Really.
I mean, this season with Luka, last season, 2 seasons
he
ago
still
when we went
has
to the WCF.
the ball in his hands a lot. The offense.
Of course, so does Kobe.
But Kobe wasn't the offense in the same way. The triangle offense was meant to spread the sugar all around. Everybody got touches and everybody touched the ball in every possession. With LeBron James, dating back to his whole career, it's been he has the ball in his hands, he makes the decisions, and he's LeBron.
Honestly,
it works.
I'd do it too.
But when he was on the Heat, it wasn't always like that either.
First 2 years now.
Especially when it comes to LeBron slashing, I mean, second to none.
But with LeBron James, I think what's not happening with him off the ball is you get the cuts, you get the alley-oops, you get the transition buckets. But in terms of a half-court setting, you're not really running pin downs or stagger screens for LeBron to come off of shots.
It's not his game.
It wasn't his game. Like, he is best with the ball in his hands and other players running those sets. Where Kobe Bryant was that. He was coming off the screens. He was coming off the staggers.
Because LeBron always felt the most unstoppable getting downhill. Like, LeBron for a decade plus, if he's getting downhill, it felt like you cannot stop him. You know, Kobe in the mid-range, sure, I felt was obviously kind of in that realm, but LeBron getting downhill, the efficiency that he was able to get in that shot compared to Kobe in the mid-range.
You would rather what LeBron would do.
LeBron getting downhill,
MJ can do both of them shit.
And then on top of it,
that's the scary part.
LeBron's 3-point shooting.
It's electric.
Oh my
now.
God.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Recently. That's why it's like LeBron, he's progressed throughout his career, different facets of his game.
Like if you take the best version, I'm willing to do this, which is why you say the off ball for Kobe Bryant, where you're running with Shaq, that's the prime of the Lakers. I'm fine with that. So you take that peak of Kobe Bryant's off ball, but you take LeBron's peak of versatility on defense. You take LeBron's peak of driving downhill and getting to the basket. You take LeBron's peak of 3-point shooting. You can take Kobe Bryant's peak of volume scoring, difficult shots. You take all of those. I still think you take more of what LeBron has to offer.
It's because LeBron's a better player.
Absolutely.
I mean, LeBron is a better player, but
again, when it comes to my tweet, which is what I'm trying to make clear, I'm talking very broadly.
Yeah, but I think the scoring thing is not like a clear thing.
And I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I think that and even defense, it's like the defense in a vacuum, the help side off-ball defense versus the on-ball defense. Like on-ball defense, I would favor Kobe.
Like on the perimeter?
Yes, on-ball defense, I would favor
But
Kobe.
then that's the thing, when it comes to the versatility of being on ball as well, that's where I would still lean LeBron James.
Kobe Bryant from 2006 to 2010 was the only player in the league that was first-team All-NBA, first-team All-Defense. And then from 2008 to 2010, he won 2 NBA championships and went to the NBA Finals when he lost to the Celtics in 2008. So for me, like, I don't think LeBron clears Kobe in these categories. And I also think the fake love thing, I don't think that's true. Like, I think Kobe, Kobe Bryant, before he passed away, he
was loved.
No, he was loved by Lakers fans.
I don't know how many people are putting him in LeBron.
That's what I'm saying.
But
there
were people. Because people who love Kobe were putting him in those talks to be fair.
But did I not start my statement by saying that if you were a Kobe fan, you made it known. Yeah. It was evident. But Kobe, once he passed away, it just seemed like some people were forcing it.
But Kobe, after he won a 5th championship, wasn't MJ talks.
Yeah,
absolutely he was. That's how people talked about him. People talked about if he could get the 6th ring,
maybe
and
right
catch
after.
MJ. Yeah, they talked about if he could get the 6th ring. That's why.
But once he retired, I don't think he was.
No, because he never got the 6th championship. He needed the 6th championship to kind of have a stronger case for it.
Okay.
But he never got that 6th championship.
Was
but
he ever in MJ talks?
After that 5th NBA championship, yes, he was. Like, there was a realistic conversation of whether or not he could get there. And then after he won, he three-peated with the Lakers. After those first 2 championships, Charles Barkley was on camera in an interview caught saying with Kobe at that time in 2003 that he doesn't think he's Pippen. He thinks he's the next Jordan. So, like, Kobe Bryant for his entirety of the career.
That part, yeah,
Kobe was always compared to Jordan for the entirety of his career.
Of course, because the games are also so similar.
I don't know if he was ever going to get to MJ conversations.
He never got the 6
because they were putting Braun in
Yes.
MJ conversations in 09 and 10. I don't think they was putting both of them.
No, they were definitely putting. It depended if Kobe got the 6th ring or not. He never got the 6th ring.
To me, that one didn't. It doesn't make sense to me because again, you won your first 3 finals, and you weren't the Finals MVP, and not that you were poor in a majority of those. You were actually pretty great, especially in those WCFs, but the best player was known to be Shaquille O'Neal.
Best player in the world was Shaq.
No, it was Shaq. No,
but that's why, for me, Jordan undeniably, 91, 92, 93, 96, 97, 98, undeniably was not only the best player on his team, but the best player in the league.
MJ
but we're
the best
not
in the world in 88.
Yeah, but we're not arguing whether or not Kobe has a case to be MJ. It's the conversation that they had. The conversation back then, he was put into that group. And I think when he retired in 2016, he wrote a book called Dear Basketball. He won an Academy Award for that.
He's a legend.
About his basketball career. So I can't say that love is fake. When he was living, he won an award for an animation book that he wrote. And every player...
we're not even talking about...
But we're talking about love. I just don't think that... I don't think that a person could get fake love and garner the type of reaction that Kobe garnered when he passed away. When he passed away, the whole world stopped. That's because he was universally loved.
I think Drew means fake love in the sense of people didn't have him in these talks when he was alive, retired.
We always had him in the talks of one of the greatest players ever played.
I'm talking about top 3.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's not a top 10 player. If I were to ever come up here and say top 10, no way, he doesn't deserve to be in there, then call me ignorant, say I don't know basketball.
If you polled most NBA players today, they would have Kobe in their top 5, like in their personal top 5.
Most NBA players have MJ.
I think a lot of people just love Kobe. I think a lot of people.
But that goes back to the point of the fake love thing, where I think he didn't get fake love. I think when he was alive, I think there was a point in time where he was hated after the rape case. He was a villain, and I don't care about getting into a touchy subject because that's part of his career, and it was a thing that he dealt with that was a big deal for him. He was hated when that case happened, but from 2007 to 2010, when the Lakers got Paul Gasol and he made the NBA Finals and beat the Spurs on the way to the NBA Finals and the Conference Finals, and gentlemen swept them and outplayed Tim Duncan. They lost to the Celtics. Then the next year, he ran through the West again. They won a championship against the Magic. Then the next year, they swept through the West again, and they won the NBA championship against one of the best semblance of talent with the Celtics at that time. That was a super team. And he beat them in 7 games down 3-2. That Game 7, Kobe Bryant went in 2010, one of the greatest NBA moments in NBA history.
Yeah, I just think the fake love part, I think we do that for a lot of players too, because I feel the same way about Tom Brady as I did Kobe. When they were playing, first of all, they're all going against my teams a lot, so I always hated them. And a lot of fans I felt were very extreme about Kobe, where you either loved him and this was your favorite player in the world, or you hated him and he was your biggest villain in the NBA. So once he retires, and of course everything he did after the fact, when he wasn't playing basketball, the way he was impacting so many other people, around the world, he's naturally going to gain more people who were maybe in the middle there to go from, I don't have a strong opinion on Kobe to, I'm a Kobe Bryant fan. And then a lot of people who hated Kobe Bryant, especially after he passed, I think a lot of those emotions go away. And you start to see what he did throughout his career. So I think naturally over time, especially once you get out, I feel the same about LeBron too. I hated LeBron for the first 15 years that I was alive. But now it's like, oh, I like LeBron. He's a good guy. He's a good father. It naturally over time, I think your hatred goes away because you're not in your peak anymore. You're not hurting people's emotions because you're beating their favorite team every single night. So I feel like most players are going to get that, but Kobe's was just exemplified because unfortunately, he died in such a horrific and surprising way.
But Kobe from 2007 to when his career ended, he wasn't hated though.
Say it again?
Kobe wasn't a hated player when he played in the league, especially from 2007 on. He wasn't hated.
Are we talking about
I think there's
media
plenty of people. I hated
player hate? Because I feel like media
you hated
hate
Kobe
is
because
different.
of Celtics fan or because of what? No, but like, I mean, people hate the Celtics more than the Lakers. So
Sure, I mean,
everybody was rooting for the Lakers to win the NBA Finals for sure.
I most definitely wasn't at the time.
I was rooting for Lakers to win that Finals.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
that
I believe you.
I think there was more people who loved Kobe than Paul Pierce or KG or you know what I mean.
They just love the Lakers more than the Celtics.
That's true.
I think.
I'll be honest, I don't remember who I was rooting for.
Like I think.
I know who I was rooting for. The guy that got eliminated by the Celtics.
Kobe, especially during that time, and even after he retired, before he passed away, there's clips of all-time legends speaking highly of him, like one of the greatest players ever.
I mean,
like,
yes, he is
Michael,
one of the
Michael
greatest
Jordan
players
back
ever.
in 2011 said that he's taking Kobe Bryant over LeBron James. Like those are things that have happened. If you go back and you look at the digital footprint of how they talked about Kobe,
he said 5 was greater than 3. That's what he said.
Yeah,
he said 5's greater than 3.
And
that's conversation that I'm not having.
If you
because 11's greater than 6.
So even when Kobe was alive, he was getting talked about in a high leeway.
He was.
So that's why I think it's not the fake love.
Let me look at a list from a minute ago.
Yeah,
there
I don't
are
think it's fake
people
love.
who have definitely shown Kobe Bryant genuine love. Absolutely. There are some who have shown him fake.
I just think once you get out of your prime, you gain more.
Yeah,
people
but you said that
bro.
you don't know where all this fake love for Kobe came. But I don't think it's fake. I
didn't say I don't know where all that came from.
But you said
I know where it comes from.
So, but you think he's getting a lot of fake love?
There is a lot of it to me that feels
This
distant.
is a list
I don't
in
think it's fake
2020.
love.
They had Kobe at 9. This is just 2020.
And there's nothing that changed.
Is that Bleacher Report?
This is ESPN. So they dropped him, actually.
There's nothing about his career that changed.
Shaq at 10, Kobe at 9.
They
Well,
drop these shits every year.
Well,
don't
the Bleacher Report list is different
Dropped
than the ESPN
him.
list.
Yeah, facts.
I thought ESPN made that
Yeah,
list.
no, it was
But yeah,
Bleacher Report.
this is like literally 2020. So when did he die?
2020.
So he just died, or I don't know if it was before he died or after he died. But the
When
same
was it
year.
published? He died like early 2020.
Died in January.
Yeah.
This is May 13th. So
Oh,
this is
after
after he
that,
died.
yeah.
They have him 9.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just one.
But
So
the
from
thing
the
is,
media's
these
perspective
lists drop all the time.
so from the media's perspective, I mean, he dropped in the list. He didn't go up.
Yeah, because they just dropped one and he was. What,
But
11?
I think even in
Yeah.
2020, there was going to be people who were going to put Kobe in their top 3, who think Kobe was the best player ever. I think a lot of that is just if you grew up on Kobe Bryant, you grew up a Laker fan,
Correct.
you saw 5 championships. Yeah, I don't blame you for saying
Well,
he's the best player in the world.
If you started watching basketball 2000 after, I mean, you grew up on MJ, Kobe, LeBron, and Tim Duncan has gotten the recognition. If you want to talk about fake love, I think Tim Duncan is actually the poster child of that.
You think?
Because I think Tim Duncan, when he was actually playing, especially from 2007 to 2010,
Yeah.
nobody thought
You're right.
Duncan was better than Kobe.
You're right.
I think Duncan, looking back at his career, because nobody really
Took the time.
nobody was like, yeah, let me watch a Duncan game.
Yeah.
He wasn't the most entertaining. I feel like now looking
Good
back at his
opinion.
career, we're like he actually has a case for top 5.
Hell yeah.
With Kobe Bryant though, I feel like he's always been enamored and highly regarded in the space. And if you watched basketball from 2000 over, I think the top 3 is like MJ, Kobe, LeBron. That's the Mount Rushmore. I remember getting into arguments in a barbershop about Kobe being better than LeBron, like back in 2019.
Yeah, but Tim Duncan was always
And I
known
think-
as the greatest power forward by far.
Yeah, and I
Ever
think
since he
I think
stopped lacing him up.
I think those conversations about LeBron versus Kobe are like, they're not. I think LeBron's better, so obviously I think it's wrong. But I think Kobe Bryant, people generally argue that, like, because that was the debate, especially in 2009, 2010. The debate was LeBron versus Kobe.
But that's why
I feel like they stopped arguing at like 2016,
but
2017.
that's what I'm saying. Again, it really was the boiling point for me in that regard. It's like we haven't had these conversations in almost 10 years.
Ever since he came back from 3-1, it was LeBron and MJ.
In almost 10 years, it's been a done deal. Let it go.
I think the reason why Kobe fans have brought it to light again is because just of this is not how I feel, but the only argument for Kobe, which I think is not a strong argument, but the only argument for Kobe after winning those championships with Shaq is just the integrity of the championships won. Because LeBron James won his championships with Miami when he had Bosh and Dwayne Wade. Then he formed another big 3 with the Cavs with Kevin Love and Kyrie. And then with the Lakers, he had Anthony Davis. And I think that if I were to measure all the integrity of the championships, like in terms of like just like talent, maybe the Lakers one like holds the most weight. Even though 2016, the comeback was so remarkable that I think that holds the most weight. Kobe in 2009, 2010, those are great rosters, but they weren't overwhelming rosters in the fact that they had 3 all-star caliber players on those teams. They were just well-built teams, and Kobe was the one that took them over the top, even beating a Celtics team in 2010. So I think the argument from them is basically like LeBron won these championships by forming a team, and Kobe won his championships by sticking with his team and going through some real tumultuous seasons then eventually winning.
With all the respect to Kobe, what are you gonna trust? The Los Angeles Lakers franchise that has shown in basically every decade to put a win together, or the Cleveland Cavaliers?
I mean, they just kind of just made up. They just made up an argument for why Tim Duncan's over Kobe
Yes, because he did it in San Antonio.
for 20 years.
The Spurs organization is better than the Lakers, though.
In what form?
What?
They're, especially at that time, they had
No,
more continuity.
you just made that up.
They drafted better, for sure they did.
In the 90s?
But pre-2000, like pre-Tim Duncan?
What?
I'm saying, no, from Kobe's entering the league and Duncan entering the league, the Spurs were a better organization. They
Like
ran
from that
better.
moment forward, you're saying?
Yeah.
Because they had Tim Duncan.
No, historically, I mean, also because they had great scouting too. Tim Duncan played a huge part, but having the best coach in NBA history helps. So did the Lakers with Phil Jackson.
That's what I was about to say. Like,
but the drafting
also having
helps.
Shaq.
The drafting helps is the biggest one. I mean, finding Tony Parker, finding Manu Ginobili.
For sure.
With the Lakers, the Lakers build their teams. They don't. I should say better. They buy their teams.
I know what you mean.
They buy their teams. Shaq was a free agent acquisition. Kobe Bryant was drafted. And I think the reason why the Lakers fans, they think Kobe's the best Laker of all time is because he was drafted by the team, homegrown, a teenager going into there. But after Shaq left, there were 2 to 3 seasons where the Lakers were complete dog shit. Like the rosters were complete trash to a level that I don't think Duncan ever played with when he was with the Spurs, that level of roster being that bad.
Well, yeah, their championships are more spread out.
And
Not
when you look at the Pau Gasol trade,
bad.
When?
Like, not as bad as Kobe, but he didn't play with, like, his early years. Those weren't championship rosters.
You're right.
No, those weren't overwhelming rosters. No.
Like, Tim, the stability he had was the reason why they were able to win 50-plus games for 20 years.
But then I think after, like, 06, when Ginobili and Parker came into their own.
For sure.
That success, which Duncan was a part of still, it was able to continue to flourish because of the talent, Hall of Fame talent around him as well. And then when they drafted Kawhi as a rookie, like they traded George Hill to go get him. Like the Lakers, when they got Pau Gasol, was very lucky. Like we talk about the Lakers' luck all the time. Like
is drafting Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker not lucky?
Drafting
it's more
Kawhi,
so
not lucky.
scouting.
But I mean, that's still being luck though. Like you got those are second round picks.
Luck conversation.
Is Jokic getting drafted in the second round luck or no?
Yeah, I mean,
okay, so I'm going to say Ginobili and Parker being that good as luck.
But
like just assuming a dude in a gym in France is going to be this nice is luck.
But the conversation about luck is different than where I'm trying to stem from because when the Lakers got Pau Gasol, Greg Popovich came out at the time when Pau Gasol was traded and said, we have to start holding a committee to start videoing trades because this shit is dumb as fuck. When Pau Gasol got traded to the Lakers. Because the Lakers traded Kwame Brown and a second round pick that became Marc Gasol. But at the time, nobody knew Marc Gasol was going to be good. So at the time, it was very much Kwame Brown and a second round pick for an all-star big man. And the league was like, how the hell did the Lakers pull this off? Because it's just ridiculous.
Sounds like the Lakers got lucky.
So but once Kobe got Pau Gasol, all he needed was an all-star teammate. And then he was able to go to 3 straight NBA finals.
Well, to be fair, Andrew Bynum was also good at that time.
No, Andrew Bynum was an all-star in 2011, 2012.
I can't say Pau Gasol wasn't an all-star player just because he didn't make an all-star game. I feel like you said he went to the finals. What did you say?
No, I said Kobe Bryant. Once Kobe Bryant got an all-star teammate, he went to 3 straight NBA finals. Andrew Bynum wasn't Bynum until the 2011-2012 season. He was a good serviceable big, but he was all right.
Ron Artest?
Ron Artest 2010, yeah. Derek Fisher was good. He's a solid role player.
Don't sleep about Derek Fisher.
Underrated
career. He was the vet.
Career.
He was the vet that Kobe Bryant needed.
Yes, I like Derek Fisher a lot.
I hated that.
You almost forgot about him.
Fisher went to the conference finals with the Utah Jazz in 2007. People forget about that.
Trevor Ariza was on that team, right?
Ariza, he didn't shoot that well, but he was a good defender.
He was there in 10, I think.
No, Ariza was there in 2008.
That was 8?
And 2009. Ron Artest got there in 2010.
Hey, man, I'm not going to knock San Antonio because the Lakers drafted Kwame Brown. He wasn't shit. And
so the Wizards drafted him.
Oh, so when they picked up these players and they wasn't shit. Like, you got to get a better scouting team. I apologize.
No, but I'm saying that's why, like, the Lakers, after Shaq, they were garbage. Then they had those 3 years.
Interesting.
They made the NBA Finals because the rosters, they were terrible. And then after 2011, the Lakers had the failed super team experiment with Dwight Howard on the back injury.
That's the thing. Like,
and then after that, I mean, the rosters got really
LeBron
grim.
was a part about some dog shit teams too.
A lot of dog shit teams.
most outside of like Magic and Bird and probably Reem, most players are.
I was gonna say Jordan played with some poop.
Yeah, it's early on. He plays with some shit.
Early
teams.
season Jordan, there was some poop
Hakeem
in there.
didn't play with the greatest
Yep.
teams. Like it happens to most, except like Magic and Bird.
But it's a lot easier to sit through that when you're
happened
just
to
coming
Wemby
off
now.
fucking 3 championships. You know what I mean? Like, because he's be like,
Usually
you know what?
it's in the beginning
Oh,
of the
it's all right,
career.
yeah.
That's a fact.
Like, once you're in the middle of your prime and then you have garbage around you, that's a little bit more unacceptable.
It's also a different time in the NBA. Like in the NBA, if this was today, where it's kind of like a Devin Booker situation, where like you did have a team that showed they can compete. You went to one finals, obviously not compared to a three-peat, but now it's like, all right, request trade. In the early 2000s,
there was less good players back then. This is what it
Yeah,
was.
oh, yeah,
like the
yeah.
depth now is insane. That's why in every Big Three era, I would say outside of the Celtics team, post 2000s, top heavy teams didn't have that much depth.
Where
bro.
was Zach LaVine rank in 2004?
Like,
Be Tracy McGrady.
They be seeing ghosts. Like, who the fuck is this
like
guy?
I don't even know if the Lakers 3P teams, their depth behind Kobe and Shaq was very minimal.
Depends on how you view the players.
Yeah, I mean Rick Fox and
He
like
was solid.
Derek Fisher, Robert Horry.
Like for that time, those were solid.
Yeah, for
players.
that time. That's why everything needs to be measured in that time. Like the Big Three Heat, the first year they were together, Mario Chalmers was like their fourth best player, bro. They were
It took them
garbage.
some years
It
to
was
get
just,
depth.
it was just D Wade was still like a dude.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like you're like fuck.
But then over the
this.
years, they were able to get their
Yeah.
Shane Batties and Ray
like you
Allen.
still had
Allen.
top 5
Yeah.
player in the world D Wade,
Shout out
top
to
2
Bird,
player in
man.
the world LeBron. You're
So,
like,
yeah,
oh,
Chris
yeah.
And mind you though,
Anderson,
those
Joel
years when
Anthony.
Kobe's rosters were
Downs
dog
has him
shit,
when he was good.
it's not like he wasn't in the picture. He made the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
He
for
blew
sure,
a 3-1 lead against the Suns, but that was a great Suns team. But he made the playoffs with those garbage teams.
did.
The only other competent player on the team was Lamar Odom
Shout out
and
to fucking Lamar
Vladimir Radmanovic. He was a good role player
Odom was a
mention
dog.
Kobe blew a 3-1 lead.
What's on crack?
Yes.
Tell you who didn't.
against the Suns. Yeah, no, but
I'll tell you
the
who also
depth
did it.
behind those top heavy teams were bad. Like I even think those early Cavs teams, they weren't that terrible. Like as we look at them now, like for the time at the time, they were defensive first.
I'll say 09 team was okay.
Yeah.
The 10 team was cool.
Like Mo
Like, they were
Williams,
fun. I wouldn't say, like,
Mo Williams was an
otherworldly.
all-star that year.
yeah, they were fun. They were
But
fun.
the thing is, people will tell you that 07 team was really good because they were the best defense in the
Nah, they were
league
just
that
they
year.
were like the
They
Sixers
were a
with AI.
defensive
It's
team.
Great defense.
Yes, and that's why I feel like we look at that roster now and we're like, oh, it's complete dog shit.
That East run
And
was shitty.
That's
Just
just
Pistons.
that's kind of how the rosters were back then. The
about the
rosters
Wizards?
were your star player,
He broke
then
arenas.
just a ton of defensive talent and personnel behind that player, and then that's
People
it.
weren't skilled enough. Yeah, if you don't play defense, what?
But like
no one's
I
getting
think in
bucket out there.
2009, 2010,
Talk to me.
the Cavaliers at the trade deadline, they traded for Anton Jameson, who came off
Imagine
averaging
that.
21.
That was their power move.
Hey man,
he was
Antoine.
averaging 21 a night
Orlando
before
just
then.
butt fucked them. I just like just call it what it is. Orlando just butt fucked.
Caught them with their pants down, and we weren't ready for
they
it.
just buffed.
We weren't, and I give endless credit to the Magic.
Yeah,
the
like, they
Magic
played-
got it.
They had
They
Jameer
got it.
Nelson, Rashard Lewis,
They're just a
Hedo
better
Turkoglu, Dwight Howard. I think
Head of
was
their
JJ on that
time.
team.
Who?
They were
James
better.
Reddick? I don't know.
He was.
He was. Was Mikal Petrus there?
Yes.
Yes.
That team was nice. I think Glenn Davis was there.
Courtney Lee, Glenn Davis was
Sam
on the
Ball,
Not
Celtics.
yet, not yet. Oh, look, bro.
Glenn
like,
Davis went to
Orlando's
Boston in
nice.
2011.
So he was on that team.
Is he still
The
in jail?
Magic 09 team?
Big Baby?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
He was on the
Some
Celtics.
Vegas.
Is he still in jail?
Big Baby was in
I
Vegas?
don't know.
Oh, he's
No,
not
I
in
thought
jail
Glenn
then.
Davis was in jail.
That's what
I
I
don't know.
asked.
We saw him in
wa-
2023.
He was in jail.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, you're saying not this past year.
No.
So what do you guys think about Bradley Beal joining the Clippers?
Here we go. Are we seeing if Big Baby's in jail first?
Couldn't find that out.
I know that he got caught for like health insurance
Yeah,
fraud.
some weird shit. I don't know.
Glenn Davis in jail.
I don't really care enough about Glenn Davis.
Yes,
Bradley-
he was sentenced to 40 months in prison for his role in the scheme to defraud the NBA's healthcare plan.
3 years? When he sent?
This was May 9th, 2024.
Yeah, I knew
Okay,
it. We
got
saw
a
him
couple,
in Vegas.
couple years left. Bradley Beal,
40
Clippers.
months. Bradley Beal, Clippers.
John dropped an all-timer.
I saw that
say?
pick. It was fire.
Bradley Beal making $60 million with a
Oh.
no trade clause. No thanks. Call the what is it?
Human resources.
Human resources. Bradley Beal on a team friendly. That's nice.
It's good.
That moves
They traded
me.
Norman
the
Powell.
Clippers are like one of the deepest teams in the league.
They always are.
I forgot who tweeted
Not
it.
always.
It might have been Carson.
For the most part, yeah.
But it was basically like, I think moving off Norman Powell, you get John Collins and Bradley Beal. Or maybe it was Yostar. Regardless, one of them, it's like, it's an upgrade.
plus.
Like, it's a plus.
It's a plus.
But, like, does it matter? Does it really move the needle in the grand scheme of things?
If Kawhi's healthy, which is every single season
Why
statement.
can't we just be happy that a team made a move,
Enjoy
a good
basketball.
move, enjoy basketball?
This was a good move,
It was
genuinely.
a good move.
Yeah.
No,
Dehls,
they've had a
everybody
good
came with a fucking
offseason.
championship,
I
Dehls.
think
what are the Clippers trying to do?
they're
compete.
trying to win a championship.
Compete.
I think all
They're
in all,
close.
they're closer to winning a championship than they
Yeah.
were last year.
Yeah.
You
Yo,
have it, John.
yesterday,
You
first
have
time
John
next year.
Collins. You have a legitimate 4 now.
Big move. John Collins.
You're an
But-
asshole. That's
No,
what it is.
that it is a big move in the grand scheme of things. When you have an upgraded power forward, you may not have a legitimate upgrade
A great lob threat
at
for
shooting
Harden.
guard, but. I mean, is Bradley Beal not better than Norman Powell?
Yeah, he is. I think it's. I mean, the Clippers have to be judged on a curve because
Why?
Must be
Okay,
nice.
this is where they're losing me.
they have to be judged on a curve.
They have
Because
James
Harden's there. Oh
They have,
my
to get-
God.
they have to be judged differently because this is not a Chicago Bulls situation where
That was rude.
they have picks and they're choosing to continue to be middle of the pack every year. The Clippers don't have any picks.
Yeah,
to their
no,
right.
They have to
Honestly.
remain.
The Clippers have to literally remain competitive because they will not get rewarded for being bad.
That's a fact.
not at all.
Think about that, Dehls. For you being
No,
an asshole.
I was just trolling, but Bradley Beal and John Collins we see what the roster is. You're not gonna be able to go out there and make this
Brad
huge
Beal,
swing.
John Collins, and Brooke Lopez over what they
And
had
Brooke
last
Facts.
year.
You know, it's a huge upgrade. They are probably the deepest
Backup.
team. I mean, they could go
Brooke is a
what?
backup?
They go 10 deep at this point, and you
Yeah.
feel really
I'll
strong.
die for that right
Zubac's
now.
getting like 30.
Plus, you have
Come
I mean, I think the fact that you have a real backup big in Brooke Lopez, especially a backup big that complements Zoo, since he is a 3-point shooter. It's just a different look they can give, but he could also be someone that can guard the rim too. So it's not like you're losing. Obviously, Zoo's a better defender, but you're not losing like all of this defense when he comes out. I mean, the Clippers definitely got better this offseason. I think Bradley Beal will be looked at differently too, because like John tweeting, everyone's saying when he's in Phoenix, he's the butt of the joke. You know what I
$53
mean?
million,
You're making
man.
60 mil. You're being the third option. And even though you're putting up, with 17, 18, 9 on good efficiency, your team is losing. You've been injured the last couple of years. So you've just been the butt of the joke for the last few seasons. But now you go into a place where you're only making, $6.5 million a year, whatever it is. I think that's a firm deal for Bradley Beal, what he brings. Like you said, Norman Powell is going to get a lot more than what he just got. And it's like, yeah, that's not much of a drop off if there is one at all. So it's a good one for the Clippers.
Norman Powell had a good season. I
Great
think he
season,
should get praise for the season he had last year. But like I mentioned before, when Kawhi and Harden were fully loaded, he kind of took a step back for sure. And I think Bradley Beal can come in and give you exactly what Norman Powell's giving you, but a little bit more than that. John
He can
Collins,
create more
I
think
said
that's
that.
the biggest
You know what
one.
I'm saying?
because he can dribble and he can get by defenses. Norman Powell cannot do that.
Norman Powell's a fucking flamethrower for that.
He's
Yeah,
an
no,
elite off-ball player.
Yeah, Norman Powell is
flamethrower.
more so he's gonna just shoot
That shit
in your
going up
face.
too. You know that. That shit going up. John Collins is a good little dynamic, athletic big for James Harden.
Him and James Harden are
Lot
going
of
to be
oops.
box office.
A lot of oops for sure. Him and Zubac was already box office, so him and John Collins are gonna be dope. Brooke Lopez is a good backup. Like you mentioned, they have no picks. Got to remain competitive.
Yeah.
They're gonna remain competitive as long as Kawhi and James Harden play 60 games. They'll be fine. They'll be in the West competing for a playoff spot, and hopefully they can win a series or two.
They're coming off to 2 straight 50-win seasons.
There we
And
go.
I think they got better.
And they took Denver to 7.
There we go.
Yeah,
They could have won if somebody didn't fuck up. Oh,
I mean,
Kawhi.
also,
Kawhi.
if Kawhi didn't give you more than
I
one
agree.
elite game, and Harden gave you anything.
Do y'all think Harden was bad in that series?
He always does that. You joke at Harden in that. He was good.
no,
You
he
were
was.
shitting on Harden during the series.
He
Like
was.
seriously.
But
Nah,
you
he was good
But
overall.
Joel, you were looking at us like, I don't trust Harden. Like, I know he's gonna fuck up.
You
Like
did
you were
say
telling
something
us
like
that during the
You
But
did.
series.
that's
to
the
say
difference. I don't trust Harden, but he played well in that series.
He was
Game 7
Well
he was
for his
awful.
standards.
terrible. Oh my
But
god.
what do you
he
mean
was so
well
bad.
for his standards?
Well, we
He
know he's
averaged
gonna
18
play
and
like
9.
shit in the playoffs. You know, so
No, he plays amazing in the playoffs.
amazing might be
Amazing.
strong.
He averaged 30 multiple times in the
How many?
postseason.
Fucking
2 or
decade
3.
ago, bro.
2 3? How long ago?
Was not a decade ago.
Damn, half a decade. More than half a decade.
I mean, Game 7. Where the fuck is the criticism for Kawhi Leonard? He didn't do
I think
shit.
we all
for
should-
sure.
we
We
collectively
just said
shit on
if we
him.
got more
Yeah.
than one elite Kawhi game, they could have won that series.
Yeah, they got one elite Kawhi game.
And that game was nuts.
Harden, the
game
offensive
was
efficiency was
electric.
actually better when Harden had the ball.
That I am curious though, because Bradley Beal is still the third option. Like how it's not the team.
He'll run with the bench unit.
Better than Phoenix.
He'll run with the bench unit.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not going to take Kawhi and Harden off.
It's a 7-game sample size, but you love to use those sample sizes to tell me how much better Paolo was than Franz in the playoffs.
He's still got to show the court.
I've never spoken about that.
Didn't just do it once, but twice though.
I've never spoken about that.
No. That's not 4. It's 13 games because you guys went 6.
So they went 5.
It was 6 games.
You guys went 6 with
6
Orlando?
with Magic. You went 6 with the Magic.
No, 5
this year.
5.
6. It was 6. It was 6. It was 6.
So outside of Game 7, Harden averaged 21 and 9. Outside of Game 7,
it's mid.
Okay.
Outside of Game 7, that's nice.
45%.
Sounds like his averages for the
45% from the field and 37% from 3.
That's the most Harden in 2025 I ever heard.
32 and 11 Game 1.
5.
Great. 20 and 9 Game 3.
1-6 with New York.
That I know.
28 and 8 in Game 6. And
is Bradley Beal going to close with them? You think? Is he in the closing lineup?
It depends on what
I
Tyler
think
wants
they
to
have
do.
a lot of lineup
They have
versatility.
a shit ton.
I think that
You go small with John.
it just
Fine,
depends on what they want to do. Because if they need defense, you can always have Chris Dunn out there, Derrick Jones Jr. They have a lot of options, which I think is cool for the
They
Clippers.
just need to.
They need to have a bunch of good players because of the injury concerns with Bradley Beal and Kawhi.
I also think like some of them lineups Ty Lue was throwing out there in the playoffs made it harder for Kawhi and Harden on a non-trolling basis. Like
I can literally argue that the lineups is what cost them the series.
I agree because they was throwing out Derrick Jones Jr., Ben Simmons. It was like Chris Dunn and then like Kawhi.
Simmons still free agent?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
But they didn't have nobody to throw out there.
I agree. Like they really were throwing out 4 non-shooters and then telling Kawhi and Harden, "Hey, figure the shit out.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are great. I pay you. Figure it out." So I think bringing in Beal, bringing in John Collins, bringing in Lopez gives you a lot more flexibility, a lot more offensive help to throw out different type of lineups. Because I feel like in that Denver series, those lineups, a lot of those really cost them some games. Because they could have won that series. Like they could have legitimately won that series.
It was close. Even though the games that they lost, it was just by this much. That's how.
Except Game 7. Woo.
Yeah, Game 7 they really got smacked. But no, the Aaron Gordon buzzer beater, the lob,
the putback. That shit was crazy. Hate to see it.
They lost by March.
Hate to see it. Got to be better.
I mean, James Harden is another All-NBA season loading.
Is he the greatest player to not win a ring? Because he's not going to win a ring. Right? We can cut that out.
Well, Karl Malone's up there.
Right.
Allen
we don't
Iverson,
really like
James
count
Harden.
him in NBA history though. That's what I'm
Charles Barkley, Derrick Rose.
Unfortunately.
Jerry West? Or
He has
Baylor?
a ring, dude.
No, Elgin Baylor.
Elgin has a ring.
Elgin does.
What the fuck?
Is it a real ring though?
Yeah.
Because Elgin didn't really play much when he got the ring.
No, he
I know one of them didn't really get a
You
ring.
can't say real ring. It's a ring.
No, but I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
He didn't play.
No, he played when he won a ring, bro.
Elgin Baylor never won a championship.
Say fucking word.
Yeah. You over here want to act like a smartass tonight.
Well, you said Jerry West.
Jerry West
Baylor.
definitely has a
Jerry
championship.
Yeah, it was one of the West or Baylor. I know West won one after he lost like fucking 9.
That's what I mean.
I think they won in 72.
I really thought Elgin Baylor won that ring.
Elgin Baylor retired the year they won.
I hate that for him. Truly, I really do hate that for him.
Yeah.
Elgin Baylor's easily the best.
He was
player
getting
in the
minutes?
Championship. What the numbers he were going crazy.
Who?
Elgin Baylor.
He didn't play. He never won it. He didn't win the championship.
Oh, my bad.
How you a Laker, all-time Laker, no ring?
Yeah.
That's fake. That fake looks crazy. No ring?
It's really unlucky.
I think it was a 71-72 season was his last year. And then the very next year, they didn't win the championship. They lost to the Knicks in the finals.
That's Walt Frazier.
73. Facts.
Yeah, Walt Frazier, Willis Reed, Dick Barnett.
Some of the all-time greats.
Big Dick.
Big Dick for sure.
That's what they called him.
Lakers team, no ring. Hate to see it. Hate to see it.
Couldn't be Anthony Davis.
Thank God LeBron and AD won that shit for real. Because if you want a Laker and you're like a Laker great and you don't win a ring, it looks bad.
How many years
LeBron was not winning a
Championship? Needed that.
Elgin?
Needed that.
It says 14.
14 what?
Years.
14 years. Okay, so this
14-year Lake career, no chip is crazy.
Yeah.
So this is the
Celtics,
caveat.
how many of them were against the Celtics that they lost?
This is the caveat with Elgin Baylor. The 72 season Lakers won the championship.
Mm-hmm.
He averaged 12 points, but he played 9 games that year.
Oh.
Elgin Baylor was awarded an NBA championship ring by the LA Lakers in 1972, despite retiring before the end of the season and not playing in the championship series.
We're not giving him that.
Basketball reference?
It's not.
Championship?
No,
We're not giving him that. We don't give pity.
So he was awarded it, but he retired and then they won.
So Harden's the greatest player to not win a ring?
Yeah, he's one of,
Okay.
He deserves to.
Someone's got to be it.
Somebody's got to have the title.
Harden or Chris Paul? Be so serious.
Chris Paul.
Greatest player to never win a ring?
Chris Paul.
Harden.
Chris Paul.
Probably Chris Paul.
Did you say Carden?
Harden.
Trying to combine the two?
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul didn't get to the conference finals until he joined James Harden.
I don't care.
Until he joined James Harden.
I don't,
And then
like, I don't
ironically
care.
enough, CP3 gets hurt.
Yeah, and they go against a fucking super team.
Bro, I don't care about that.
He made the conference finals in 2015.
Who is better?
as well. Harden's a better player.
How?
What do you mean how?
Who's a better passer? Chris Paul?
They're similar passers. They really are.
No, I really think Chris Paul's a better passer.
I'm taking Chris Paul by ball.
I mean, the leveraging.
Listen, we're talking about all-time greats. We got to nitpick.
The leveraging of the playmaking, you can argue Harden because of his scoring as well.
I don't even know what you just said. What?
Harden is just
the
as
leveraging
gifted.
of the.
Harden is just as gifted as a passer as Chris Paul.
I
But
don't agree
He
with
can
that.
leverage his scoring to up his playmaking because he's so elite as a scorer.
He's cooking.
I'm not agreeing with that. 6-foot guard that can play make and make every pass.
Why does
in the
height
book?
matter about skill?
Well, because
level?
it's much more difficult. Well, they're both skilled, so I'm not saying that. It's
talking
much more
about.
difficult.
Well, you're talking about
for
the
a guy
degree of
that
difficulty,
feat.
not the actual.
I
Skill
mean, you
of
talk
being
about
able to
degree
do
of
it.
difficulty. We talk about shot making, so I can't do it with passing.
Well, with passing,
It's-
just because
it's
somebody's
difficult.
shorter and it's more impressive doesn't mean they're better. I think LeBron's a better passer than Chris Paul, despite Chris Paul
LeBron's a
being
better
6
passer
foot.
than both of them, so
Yeah.
that defeats the purpose.
So, but do you think it's more impressive for LeBron to pass at his size or Chris Paul to pass at his size?
LeBron
Name
to
five
pass at his size.
name 5 6'9" guys that can pass like LeBron, and I'll wait.
Magic
That makes it more
Johnson.
impressive.
Tatum.
What?
Shut up. Like I
You gotta get
hate
the
him
5. You're
so
gonna need
much.
Tatum. You're gonna watch. You're gonna get the 4 and be like, fuck, I need
Magic.
Even if they are the
No,
same
what
level
am
of
I
passing, James Harden's a
Right,
better
you should
scorer.
have got the 2.
Yes.
Who's a better defensive player?
Chris Paul.
By far.
Yes.
So we're even.
So
Because I don't feel like going
how
down the
many,
nuances
How
of the
many
game.
players that are 6'5" like Harden can pass the way he can pass?
It's a good ass question. It's a good ass rebuttal.
There's not a lot of dudes that could pass like these guys.
No, there's not.
You're fucking cooking. You caught me. You got me.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Here we go.
Was he 6'5"? Oh,
6'5".
He is
yo.
6'5", yeah.
But I don't even think he can pass like Harden for real.
He just jumps.
He does jump really high there.
I mean, who's a better playmaker?
Harden.
Chris Paul. Oh wait, we're talking about Chris Paul or Holly?
No, Halliburton or Harden.
You talking about Halliburton?
Harden at his peak.
I mean, come on, what the fuck?
Comfortably.
I love
Well,
Halliburton.
no. Who's a better passer? Because then playmaking and passing are two different things, apparently.
I think Harden's a better
Harden
passer.
still, yeah.
Harden can make more difficult passes,
I agree.
But Hallie's more impressive because he can't score.
but who has the MVP?
Huh?
Who has the MVP?
Who's better, Chris Paul or Steve Nash?
Who has more?
Who's better, Chris Paul or
Mickey
Steve
Mouse.
Nash?
Yeah, that's close. Offensive engine wise, you can really argue.
No, I
Steve
didn't
Nash.
ask you that. Who's
I think Chris
better?
Paul, but Chris
no,
Paul
no,
is
you
better
but
longer.
MVP, right? 2-time MVP.
But Chris Paul is better longer.
No, but Chris Paul, I feel like is better longer than Harden too.
They're similar, actually.
Chris Paul,
The longevity
how you
that they
figure?
have is pretty similar.
Think so?
Nah,
Yeah.
Chris Paul came into the league and was dominant off the ripper.
Yeah, but James Harden just won an All-NBA team at 34.
Check Harden's. I'll check Chris Paul.
What are you checking?
All right.
Their
And
careers.
then you guys might force my hand because we've talked about nonsense and I might have to leave. So
yeah,
lock
it's
in.
damn near 10:30, man.
Okay,
Here we go,
Got work.
here we go.
He's got work.
Harden
tomorrow,
played
bro.
16 years.
I got work.
Chris
tomorrow.
Paul
Riv's got
played
work
20.
tomorrow.
Harden for
Last 3 years of Chris Paul's career has been dog shit.
13 of Harden's careers, he was an All-Star, All-NBA player.
15 for Chris Paul.
They have similar longevities.
So, yeah.
They do.
And the truth comes out.
15.
Who do you think
Paul.
has more MVP level seasons? Chris Paul or James Harden, though?
We probably think they have the same amount.
We can also be honest. James Harden making the All-Star game this year was...
Pity.
That he made All-NBA.
He shouldn't have.
Yes, he should have. Why
Shouldn't
shouldn't he?
Why
Like, you're
shouldn't
the
it
only
be?
one that discredits the season he just had.
You really do.
I'll
That's-
I'm the
discredit
only
it.
one?
I'll discredit it.
I mean, you're the only
I'll
one loud
discredit
about it. We just sit in silence.
I listen. I don't mind hating on James Harden.
They literally stayed afloat in the playoff picture because of him.
No. No.
Yes.
Him and Zoo.
Shout out to
Yes.
Zoo. Shout out to
Him
Zoo.
and Zoo.
No,
Yeah.
Norman Powell, too.
not the top 5 defense. No. It's the top 21 offense in the league.
If they didn't have him, they would be fucking 33rd.
Easy.
So what, is Paulo the reason the Magic winner now?
He plays a part in it.
Is he the main reason?
Roberto Apollo.
No.
What was the question?
What's the main reason?
Their defense.
Is Paulo the main reason for the defense?
Fuck no.
No.
Okay.
Honestly, it's a collective because they don't have outside of Jalen Suggs, they don't have a stopper.
See, I just stayed consistent.
Yeah, but Russell Westbrook when Russell Westbrook won MVP, the OKC Thunder had the 17th ranked offense.
Look at the roster.
He still won
He averaged a
MVP.
triple-double.
Look at the Clippers spacing before Kawhi.
I'm not the one. I'm just talking about Westbrook. Like, don't bring up Westbrook. That team
yeah,
is
I'm
dog
just
shit.
saying, like, yeah, you
They
need
were
somebody.
starting
To,
Andre
That team was
Roberson.
poopy.
you need somebody to be an offensive.
That team was worse than this Clippers team by far.
I mean, but at
without Kawhi.
Yes.
I
That
don't know about
OKC team?
what was
Oh, that team's awful.
what was Russ's efficiency that year?
Probably not good. He had to take all the shots. He averaged 30.
If you guys had to guess,
42% from the field.
EFG, like what?
Maybe 41.
True shooting?
Nah.
I'll go
No,
56.
from the field. What do you think it was?
44%.
40. Yeah, it's like low.
He won MVP. I feel like he's got to be decent.
Nah, brother. Did you see what he was
I guess he
doing?
get triple-double.
EFG, not bad. 47.6 from 3. 34
Okay.
from the field. 43.
I was close. I went over, though.
Yeah, he couldn't shoot.
Yeah.
24 attempts a game.
Never could.
Jesus Christ.
He deserves MVP.
Yeah, go get a fucking bucket, Russ.
Go get a
Yeah,
bucket,
go get a
Russ.
fucking bucket.
Fuck what they talking about.
I wish we got to talk about the Joel Embiid article. Did you guys read it at all or no?
I didn't read the whole thing, but I saw it.
It felt like a biography.
Yeah. Where'd they post that? I
ESPN.
ESPN. Okay. Is it ESPN Plus?
It might be, yeah.
Well,
Yo,
where's your thoughts before we
Someone's
leave
gonna
here?
log in.
On who?
Bless you.
The Embiid biography.
It was an article basically about
Bless you.
Sorry.
about how this is the most important offseason of his career and how he's going to return back on the court when he feels like he's ready. Because for the majority of his career, he's felt like he's rushed back his return. And it also described the mess of an organization the 76ers have been. Like when he was injured his first 2 seasons, they had an intern oversee his injury.
Intern
And
crazy.
Joel
Top 3
Embiid
pick.
had a foot injury that never healed after a surgery. And the Sixers organization didn't believe that he was actually still hurt. And then when they brought in an expert, they actually revealed that his foot was still very fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he missed his whole second season. And then they just talked about the story of like, you know, who Embiid is as a person, how he's misunderstood, how, you know, he hasn't gotten a chance to really prove himself in the playoffs because he hasn't been healthy, and that he's fought back through a lot of injuries, and he still continues to triumph and try to continue to play. That's basically what it was about.
I've always rooted for Joel Embiid.
I can't say I have.
I mean, we've always wanted him to be healthy.
Yeah.
That's always been, because we want to see him at his best.
Dude had Bell's palsy and dropped 50 in the Garden.
Yeah,
It was
Torched you guys.
nuts.
Fucking, like, destroyed you.
Yeah.
Shit was crazy.
I will say some of the article definitely paints Embiid as somebody that is a little bit, he's distant for sure. You know, he takes months to answer his texts. He doesn't look at his phone. He doesn't answer calls. He doesn't answer texts.
Damn.
All of his assistants do it for him. And there was this personal trainer that worked closely with him for 9 years. And she basically was going with him everywhere, making sure that he was good. He had treatment and stuff. And recently she had stopped because, you know, she wanted to, I guess, move on with her life and do something else. And taking care of Joel Embiid was a very big job for her. Like it took a lot of her time. They even joked in an article saying that Joel Embiid was like her third son because of how much attention she was putting to Joel Embiid. And in the article, it kind of signaled that Embiid kind of felt backstabbed when she stopped like taking care of him, and she opted to go in a different direction with her career and be more involved with her own family and stuff. So I think Embiid has a tough time like accepting change. And that was one example in the article that I kind of feel like, okay, maybe he's just kind of just always feeling sorry for himself in that way. Cause I don't think it's, you can't get mad at somebody for wanting to move on with their life, especially when they have, you know,
9 years too?
they've taken care of you for 9 years. Like they joked about it in the article. Like the lady, his personal trainer was like, I don't even know if I'm going to be invited to like, you know, Embiid's son's birthday party next year because like we're not doing that anymore. Like I'm not working with him anymore. So it definitely feels like he takes those things very personally. So yeah, but it was a very good article overall. It was a long read. It was like it definitely like a 20-minute read. It was a long read
for sure.
Probably
Yeah.
take Dehls an hour.
Whoa.
Maybe 2.
I'm a good reader.
Because you have glasses.
Zing!
Got him. Idiot.
And that's going to do it for episode 497 of the Pick a Side Podcast. You guys can follow us on Twitter at Pick a Side Pod, on Instagram and TikTok at Pick a Side Podcast. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.